Today, we are watching two amazing teams compete in a best-of-5 lower bracket. It is going to be RRQ Indonesia up against Falcon Esports. Now, I don't know which way this is going to go, but I know I'm super excited to see both of these teams compete. This is a lower bracket best-of-5. The winner of this series will be going up against the winner of the Valley versus Indonesia. So this is going to be a very funny time for MLBB. Speaking of Onik, man, I can't wait to see that match as well. I got to go back and rewatch the one with Carl Teasy versus Kyrie. I didn't get to see it yet, so we may be watching that in the distant future, and hopefully you guys can tag along and watch that with us. And like I said, I appreciate everybody being here today. Excited to see what these teams bring to the table going forward.
Analytic perspective, the way that he handles the map as well as he outplays his opponents in the laning stage is amazing to look at. Hero pull out 6.
Yeah, this is gonna be mad good.
Not impressive, but maybe because of the fact that they have not been playing as much matches as compared to other players.
Well, on the other side, Dave, we do have Yellow Flash.
Got Dave on the desk, okay.
I gotta say, Yellow Flash just actually trumps the R7 a little bit on the team fight participation, right? To show you that Falcon's a team that like to play the numbers game, right? Like to play the number advantage, but when they out-rotate their opponents, and also Yellow Flash play a nasty...
Well, Falcons is one of those teams a lot of people put a lot of praise on, so I'm excited to see how they hang in there. A lot of people kind of predicted them being one of the teams to kind of sneak the trophy away for the finals.
I mean, that's all going to be on the table today.
We'll see, though.
For sure. You know, both of the teams have been super dynamic.
Also, like I said, I appreciate everybody today. We are live on YouTube. Every single match at M4 we will be watching on YouTube as well. So thank you for spending your time with us, man. Definitely shout out your guys' teams as well. I see Charlie in the building. Ozan, Eugene, how you doing? Israel, God bless. Appreciate you being here.
Out here to win it.
Casters, take it away.
Here we go, Casters, take it away.
Fend off the Falcons here. Welcome to the triple header.
Got Trex on the desk.
M4 day number 7. It's me, Nice, joined here on the desk with Trex and Arashi. Boys, how we feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, we're coming down to the ending here, very close to the ending of the story, and now the stakes are high.
Well,
Arashi, how you doing, man?
It's an intense time. It's a very intense time for the Indonesians, so I'm no exception. I am very feel.
You're very feel well. To get this day started, we do want to mention to all our viewers out there, the M4 is powered by Moonton, presented by TikTok, the official content partner, supported by Secret Lab, the official gaming chair,
there you go.
Sports Charts, our analytical partner, Gank, our official merchandise partner, MeWatch, our media partner, and last but not
So RRQ Indonesia versus Falcon Esports. Still got both teams from Indonesia in the building. We'll see how Falcon does. Oh, this is going to be a good one, man. I can feel it.
You'll reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now, exclusive rewards.
Let me know what you guys think, though. If you guys have a bet on who you think will take this one, definitely shout them out. Falcon Esports took out Turkey to get here. RRQ HOSHI lost to Blacklist to get here. Blacklist kind of beat them out. It was like, what, 3-1, right?
I mean, if you're not level 75,
some impressive gameplay, too. I want to say RRQ HOSHI wasn't too bad. They just made too many mistakes. And sometimes it was their draft that kind of got them as well. But overall, they were still very solid, in my opinion.
We talked about it on the analyst stand here specifically, and it's about tempo, right? I mean, if you're talking about previous matchup, let's talk about RRQ HOSHI first. The matchup they had against Blacklist International, I believe, you know, still a
What's up, Charlie?
Game, but it came down to that last game. There was even a moment Albert looked like he was going to turn the tides, secure that Lord, but unfortunately by the time it was too late. The tempo is there for RRQ HOSHI. I think the biggest thing is, can they start it here? Because if we know something about Falcon...
Supposedly, that's the game I didn't get to catch. I didn't get to see their game versus Blacklist. I wish I could have seen it, but I heard Albert was getting zoned very well by Blacklist on his Fanny.
And I have a feeling that if RQ can have a game 1 like what they had,
they do have a good assassin player, though. Albert's pretty good jungler.
Fire with the Fanny or something of that nature, it could definitely put a dent.
I gotta rewatch that game too.
Well, we're gonna take a look at the starting lineups for both teams here, and like you said, I feel like that jungle matchup's going to be crucial, but let's take a look at RRQ. It's Clay, R7, Skylar.
R7, one of the best XP lanes in M4.
This roster is just infamous at this point. And as you mentioned, Isu, they had such a good time when they actually get that tempo rolling. They are a very aggressive team, but on the other side, as we mentioned, equally aggressive is Falcon.
Most definitely, we have Justin, Yellow Flash.
Yeah, Yellow Flash pretty dominant too.
And Naomi now. Naomi.
R7 though, you gotta watch out for that, man. That Yuzong's pretty nasty.
It's gonna be huge. Vin was so crucial to getting some of those picks when they did win the games, when he had that.
I remember
concept.
R7 back in the day used to always take builds from him.
As well is going to be pivotal in this matchup.
I mean, they're leading here with ZipX leading the Falcons to the stage. And I gotta say, you know, that matchup of the Rome is gonna be crucial here, as well as
they got some nice Lettermans too, man. I need one.
On how things unfold here for that first series of the day.
I like Echo's Letterman's the best though.
Stage. Let's make some noise for them for Falcon Esports.
This is a team, as you mentioned, very aggressive, and we've seen the pattern. Whenever they are able to get a lead in the early game, they can hang on to it, and it's very difficult to mount a comeback against them because they're just so good at denying any opportunity. Falcon, coming into the stage right now, is definitely here to make a big statement.
Yeah, I feel like they had
They're
a
ready
little
to
bit of
sit
a
down.
rough stage in the knockout bracket, but then once they went to the lower bracket,
You getting
it's like
Ling?
they picked
Okay,
up the
nice.
pieces,
You gonna
and
get
they
some
took knocking
Ling
out
practicing? I've been trying to practice
teams
Fanny myself.
left and right, but now they are
That
going up
assassin
against
meta, man. He got to
monsters
adapt, trying to
themselves, the
pull some
King of
C server
Kings,
into the NA side of
RRQ.
things, you know?
Well, as we see them line up here, I gotta say,
Why Steph Weezy not going to Indo? I'll be there next year. I'm prepping this year. I'm gonna manifest it into reality, and you'll definitely see me in M5. I promise you.
Exactly what that's done for them. You know,
What's up, Musafir? Got Coach Deku in the building. It's time. Joshin in the house. How you doing over there on Facebook? Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you sneaking up on us.
Crucial matchup in the roamer position.
You know something cool about this? M4 started early today. Way early, like 2 hours earlier. I wish it would have started like this every single day. I think it's because they only have, what, 2 matches? 2 best of 5s today? Maybe that's why as we're getting closer and closer to the grand finals.
RRQ HOSHI.
What a team at that, and with so much on the line here, I think RRQ really wants to make a statement.
The dude in the middle cracking me up. Looks mad young, bro. Holy cow.
So much better in
These be
M4.
Mobile Legends
And right
gods,
now,
though.
They're carrying
born
the
for
weight
it.
of Indonesia. The crowd loves them, and I got a feeling they're gonna give us.
What can you
a
say about?
great
I didn't get to
show.
watch it yet, man. I didn't get to watch it yet, so I am gonna do a live reaction to Echo versus Ona tomorrow. In the morning time, possibly. Or we might actually do it tonight. We'll probably. It just depends on how long these best of 5s go.
I mean, the last matchup with Blacklist International, you've seen that refinement of our.
Nah, we'll have to do it tomorrow. I didn't get to see Echo versus Onik though. I did see the results though, but I didn't get to watch the matches, and so tomorrow I'm gonna watch those. I thought Echo was gonna win though, man. I didn't like. I guess I can't say like I predicted they were a better team than them. I just wanted Echo to win because I'm an Echo fan. But they're both really good.
RRQ HOSHI here. That's gonna be a huge statement.
It's a big statement for sure.
Yeah, it was early and I agree. It should have been. Yeah, I'm in love with how early it is now. We can actually keep our eyes open while we're watching it.
Falcon does have a bit of an edge.
Like if they would have, bro, imagine if M4 started like 7 p.m. Central for us. Oh man, I wouldn't miss a single game. But like when they put a 70-minute timer after a best of 5, that's been about 2 or 3 hours. You know, it's very hard at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
That's very important on the enemy team behind, like the mage, the jungle, the gold laner. Then you can kind of capitalize towards that mid-game phase.
The crazy thing here is
RRQ got a better win rates.
The tempo, you see it in different forms.
2 more kills for
I mean, you know that it's
or
gonna
2
be
more
a
average
scrappy
kills.
matchup. You know, objective
Both pretty
control,
even on
Falcon will be
Turtles.
looking for that. And again,
Better
a lot
KDA
of
on the
that
side of Falcon.
is on the hands of what does the Rome hero pick for.
They're not too far off from each other, though.
We're gonna see the Franco go in his hands,
turtle
especially
control
right
rate,
now.
though, it
I'm
looks
sure
like they got a
lot of
little bit
people have
better.
seen those highlights, you know, previously.
Neutral objective
But still,
stats
even
for
as we
Falcon.
look at the most picked and banned heroes here for RRQ HOSHI. Look at it, right?
Let's look at this.
Eve, Yuzhong,
Hilda,
Hilda,
Beatrix, Ling,
we see a lot
Yuzhong,
of
and
this.
Eve.
And going even back to a specifically
Carrie's gonna be banned out a lot here.
He has had
Okay.
amazing performances even with a
This
Ling,
is from-
but
this is from,
unfortunately, he just
RRQ.
plays for them in that last matchup.
If you look at the heroes right
They
here,
got a
it
nasty
shows
Fanny
that RRQ, they wanna go
over
all
there
in.
on,
And they don't really wanna play the game
Albert.
that slow and play a
Take
front
out the
to
1-1.
back. They wanna
So
always
they've
dive
got a
in,
really
and
good 1-1
maybe
too.
The only long-range distance
Joy
hero
kind of
would be
expected.
played on the Eve. So with the Eve just suffering defeats yesterday,
They do play
let's
glue.
see if they have made the
I wonder if it'll be banned out.
against Falcon, it's gonna be, as you mentioned, Isu, just a huge scrap fest to see who can
We'll see what
actually grab
happens.
that dominance early on. And I think the key difference here is the fact that RRQ, They were once known as
It's gonna be a battle
comeback
over
kings,
Ling from both
so
sides.
they
Ooh,
have
Marta's
no
player,
issue
Harith.
playing from behind,
Promising,
but
Lapu Lapu
usually,
XP.
especially against a team like Falcon, that is a dangerous
They got a
strat.
nasty Faramis,
Now,
Valentina,
if you look at
Fanny. Oh,
Falcon,
both sides got a
though,
nasty
also
Fanny
a
player.
few similarities, both teams wanting that Ling. But here's the thing with Falcon, they can also get a little bit of
They take the 1-1 out, so 1-1 won't walk. They take the glue out. They're gonna ban. They're gonna respect ban the glue.
Both teams banning out a lot of similar things. I feel like, you know, the Kaja, the glue. These are kind of usual.
Yeah, I don't see
bans here.
1-1. I don't see
Something that
glue
think will
walking.
be
I mean, that's
contested
not
with
anything out of the
Kaja, so
ordinary, though.
It's either going to be Vin picking it up, and I think he did such
We'll
a
see how
great
the draft
performance
goes.
on it the other night. I think that's something we need to keep our eyes on here.
Kaja
R7.
seems to be crucial now, right? I mean, we've seen so many plays just off Kaja hero alone, and at one point, you know, there was a lot of that priority on carry. Now, carry's still a great marksman, but I feel like even more so now, it's that Kaja pick. And even the playmaking potential alone is the reason why teams go for it. And as we take a look at the keys to victory here for RRQ, recalibrate the mindset against Falcon's aggression, because there's a contrast there from their previous match
Naomi's the
with Black
playmaker.
International, more towards that control type. Also beware and contain Naomi's playmaking. That's what we talked about earlier, especially on that Franco. Don't think he's going to get it. Albert must win jungler showdown and retribution battles. Very important here. And hunt the Falcon's nest when they're least expected.
I think that's a big statement there. It
Kinda
makes
your
sense, right?
standard-
They can catch Falcon off
standard
guard,
keys to victory.
and, you know, they can get a
Nothing
huge
too out of the
advantage.
ordinary,
We
like,
saw that Falcon
RRQ
struggled
Akira would be
to
like,
get
take out
behind.
Takashi.
They can get a bit of a lead, which they are known to do, right? This is the team that has done all these crazy plays, this insane messy team fight.
Let's see what they're gonna
Speaking
prep
of
for
Falcon
RRQ,
here,
Hoshi,
keys to
though.
Victory to help Yellow Flash to control R7 if possible.
Yeah, R7's a
So
godly
Rocket Sky
XP.
and Constrict Skylar never stop that tempo, as Nicey was mentioning. Turn down for what? And just since Valentina undefeated right now, 4-4, so don't change that.
Definitely going to be.
So they wanna
a
pick Val.
important Pick for Falcon.
Well, bro, it's been so long. What's up, Roy? Is
Decides
that
to let
Bron
go.
Roy?
I really love what you mentioned.
Where'd you come from? How you been?
They're gonna have to switch their tempo in this game compared to how they play.
Man,
against
oh
Black
man.
because they are
M4
two
breaking records,
very,
bro.
very
Highest
different
views
teams.
ever
Now, honestly,
in history for
Falcon
Mobile Legends.
has
Insane.
been
Millions,
very
bro.
Versatile, and I think
like
how they're gonna
4.5
test
mil.
RRQ here is how versatile can Albert get? How versatile can some of these picks become? Because I got a feeling in this best of 5, RRQ is gonna have to dig very, very deep here.
I think RRQ would rather play that aggressive game, you know?
It must be the
and
coach.
just go
Coach
head-to-head
Zaya? Oh, it's the
basically with
analyst.
Falcon's aggression. If you remember, I'm not exactly sure on the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's Falcon that still has that first blood rate, highest in M4 so far. It's like
Hey, that analyst looked mad young, bro. He looked like 16.
So you know that Falcon's gonna be looking for that first pick off, get the momentum going, and honestly, RRQ Hoshi, they like to play that game. You know, it's better if they can get that, especially in the hands of Albert.
It does seem like RRQ likes gambling a lot more, though. You see that
That's the
Falcon,
coach, Dale.
more of a calculated approach. They always go for these very strong
Okay.
early game heroes, and they capitalize on it. That's why they're able to get such an advantage. For RRQ, sometimes they'll draft a late game composition, but they have no issue just scrapping it out, duking it out in skirmishes by level 2 or level 3. So that's something that Falcon needs to keep in mind, right? When you least expect it, that can be where RRQ can just...
You see the playmaking book?
So what you guys are saying
That,
is we're
the
gonna
coach
have a
has?
big battle just at the Litho Wander. Like I'm
Yeah,
talking like
probably.
first blood for both teams, just huge skirmish right in the very
I wanna get
beginning,
into the
both
draft.
teams just butting
One of my
heads.
favorite
That-
parts is
that's
trying
what
to
I like.
guess
I
what
mean,
they're
not
gonna
only
pick.
that, but I mean, the key to victory was there, and I'm assuming that's what that meant by invading the nest. Is like you're gonna.
All right,
survive
Indonesia.
invading of the jungle
Y'all
by
better
looking for that
represent.
Control, looking for that priority, and if these two junglers decide to opt for assassins, are they even gonna get it? Their purple buffs, right? I guess that's a
We go.
big thing here. But we are gonna load up
Into the
for
draft.
the first match of today's triple header. RRQ Hoshi and Falcon Esports. Again, that first game is crucial for momentum.
This is such an important situation here because, as you mentioned, are they going to go for an assassin? Because that can be
Fairness taken out.
Pick. But if they go for
They want
a
the
roam
carry.
pick like a Hilda, for example, that counters an assassin,
Adida.
on the flip side, they'll have a very lackluster engage. So
Interesting.
everything needs to come in together here. It cannot be just the signature heroes from each player because if there's no synergy in the team composition, it's going to be a very tough situation.
Glue.
At this
They're gonna have to
level
take
of
out Glue.
Mobile Legends.
It's also really interesting
Blue and
how
Joy.
the bans have kind of evolved throughout this knockout stage. You know, in the group stages, the fairness
Oh, Glue and
was
Carry, my bad.
extremely contested.
Yeah, it's gotta be
again,
Glue and
who
Carry.
we're going against, but now we're seeing it a
But you
lot
let Benny walk, though.
more here, especially
Solid
'cause some
pickup.
Teams have kind of mastered it.
There goes the carry.
Very, very typical. So it seems like Falcon does not want to give that over. I mean, she's just been shredding through teams, so very understandable.
Maybe the Eve?
And now with the 1-1 band out as well, it kind of, we're already seeing some limits on the gold lane here.
I'm surprised too, you know.
Eve or Harith,
I mean,
possibly?
Especially after yesterday where we just saw at one point all those assassins being banned out here. But I feel like both these two
Or
junglers
Joy,
are
if they
very
really wanna
versatile
take out
enough
Joy, if they don't wanna
that
pick it
if
up.
they don't wanna start
It's gonna be
on
Eve,
the assassin junglers, we
Harith,
have
or
seen
Joy.
Pretty much everybody in the M4 tournament
We'll see, though.
do pretty well on those tanky jungler picks, right? You've got
Make the
Barrett,
resolution
you've
higher?
got
Is it
the
not that high
Marcus
for you
who
guys?
isn't banned out just yet. So you can go that route, build around a multifaceted.
It's the highest and go. Oh, Kaja.
The trend
They're trying to
here,
go Ling.
Teams that are, you know, let's say, have the all-star.
They're trying to lock in
junglers,
Ling.
right? If they're shut down, things kind of fall apart, right?
This is a
So,
battle who can get
at
Ling
this point in
first.
The stage of the knockouts, you need everybody in their lanes, in their roles, to play the part, right? And you start that.
Blue walks,
4-2
that's a
draft.
solid pickup.
Kaja being taken out as well. This is another hero.
But that'll open up the
that
Ling
has
being
constantly
picked up.
popped like we just mentioned. Big
Possibly the
playstyle
Eve.
potential, big playmaker potential. And last ban
They got
for
Fanny
Falcon,
players on both sides
it's gonna
too,
be
so
a
you
roamer,
can't
it's
you
gonna
can't
be another marksman here.
you know, take that off the
Or
board
even-
either. So
even
it's
possibly
definitely gonna be a
the
mobile
because Eve
assassin.
is- Okay, never mind. Eve is taken out. I was gonna say Eve was open.
Fanny's open though as well. Same thing with
Fanny.
the Blue. A lot of things are
Blue.
open right now for the
It's gonna be
side
Glue.
of the team, but Falcon set themselves up for a possible, you know, swap. Like I can.
Oh, Joy.
Exactly. Having the flexibility is
They're gonna
insane,
take
but
Glue on
this
the
is gonna be
opposing
Joy,
side then.
Still be able to be flexed around, but we've seen it in the hands of R7. It just wreaks havoc in the back line, basically denies any
That's
kind
now.
of
This is
follow-up,
something I want to see. I want to see
and
R7 play
engaging
Joy.
engage.
If there's any XP laner that can pull it off, it's definitely
a
him.
strong pick, but the Glue comes in almost instantly, so this is something
Possibly
we
Ling.
definitely want to abuse in this game.
At this point,
Kaja's
you can pretty
out,
much
so
leave
it's not the worst option.
Because any team that
The
does
only- what are they gonna pick,
chance
Franco?
fight that goes for that Fanny pick, you know that you're going to have to protect the Fanny's
Oh,
resources
Fredrin.
the whole time, right?
Okay.
That purple buff. And that's why you see no one take
Fred's
it
in
just
jungle.
yet. Like you guys mentioned, Joy has been doing wonders, especially in the XP lane with that vengeance, causing havoc.
They
like
didn't
you
pick the
mentioned,
marksman.
Hiroshi. And on the flip side, Falcon able to pick
Claude?
up the Glue and the
You're gonna go up against Harith though.
How utility Fredrin can be
If they
and
pick the
tanky,
Claude.
but also Bonchan with
They'll
the
still
cloak
probably
here.
pick it.
It's already difficult this time against RRQ. It's already a different strategy because of the addition of Coach
We'll see.
Media. They drastically improve their macro, and I think it helps a lot. What do you expect from a Filipino coach?
All right, so at the end, he's still showing some Filipino pride, even though
It's gonna be an interesting draft.
Fair play. But now with the two more
Eric
picks for
Likely,
RRQ,
Zipex plays it.
we'll have to see
Ken
if it's gonna be
Fanny
the mid
kinda
lane, it's gonna be
underperforms,
the
Chicken
rover,
did.
will be
Back to back, actually?
Glue
Okay.
and the Grok, and right now, this is the confusing
Well, they picked the
part.
Grok, and
These
ooh, and then
heroes
Lunox.
can very much still be flexed around, and that is the very confusing factor.
That's
That is
different.
why flex picks are really good against teams.
The
that
Grok's
are
not too out of the ordinary.
one-dimensional.
The
But
Lunox
see,
is
though,
interesting,
because
though.
Falcon has shown themselves that they
I mean,
just
Lunox
come
can
out
burst
with
down the
some really
Fredrin and the Glue, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, literally all three of those heroes.
Yo, how does it work when Fredrin uses, or not Fredrin, when Glue uses split on a Lunox and then Lunox uses Brilliance? I wonder how that works. That'll be interesting to see.
Start in the group stage. He had like a
They got good burst
69%
potential,
hit
though.
rate, but a 39%
Yeah, it was like
win
30.
rate. But now that we're getting to the top tier of these teams, we are starting to see how important.
There
it
goes
is
that
to hold on.
Valentina.
There's the Valentina, and what?
4 for 4.
4 for 4. 4 for 4.
Yeah, they gotta watch
So
out.
will this be
The
the
man's
thing
on
that
fire
carries
with the
them game
Val.
one?
I mean, it might just be. It's a very solid hero.
I'm good,
And I think
Roy.
a big
Appreciate you
portion, a
asking.
big Part of a lot of these early game teams.
Yeah,
they
Lunox good on
require
Fredrin and
some
Glue.
wave control, because if they
The
can't
heal
quick
is
push
huge with
and get
Brilliance
priority
on
to
the
start
split.
rolling around, the team really starts to slow down.
He still stays
So
on her though,
that
right? That's what I was wondering, like the
right now,
animation wise, like 'cause she's on the,
it's a bit of an
technically
issue
like
that
on the ground, you know?
We'll have to see though, because again, it all depends on where
That'll be
exactly
funny to see.
these heroes go to.
The biggest thing for me when I'm looking at Falcon already is you have so much CC, right? You've got the CC from the Fredrin, the knock-up, the taunt, plus the Terrify, and again, depending what we see Valentina take for an ultimate here.
Claude and
probably
Harith are
right
definitely
now,
getting picked
wild
up.
Charge, but still, the fact that you have a lot of that layered CC, it's going to work in your favor, but you need to be able to follow up on that, right? So you can see how many marksman bans are coming out, but we had some
Yeah, this is,
surprises yesterday in terms of marksman picks.
We might see a Martis here.
Come out,
Maybe.
Moskov, you know, what else is in store here? And does Falcon want to
Or does
opt
Albert
for
go
a
for the
traditional
assassin?
marksman, because with them banning
They're
throughout
very
so
beefy,
far,
though.
there's
I don't
the
know.
fraud as well in return from RRQ. There's not a lot of options left, at least from what we've seen so far in the knockout stage.
I don't think they would have went higher. Not with that draft. I don't think they would have went higher. Oh, Faramis. No, they can't Faramis. Oh, yeah, they can. They're going to go Faramis. Right? Yeah, they're going to go Faramis and Claude. Faramis and Claude.
A bit of a different priority for both these teams, but it does
Oh, no, they can't go Faramis and Claude.
setting up for a very strong front line.
'Cause they- oh, yeah.
Ban out
Unless they-
long distance,
no, they can't.
long, DPS
Oh, this would be
like
interesting.
Matrix. They can just burst through. They just want something more kitey, you know, something that can maintain distance.
Yeah, never mind. It's
You know,
Grok Rome.
with
I'm
the way
tripping.
Falcon was banning, even in
It's R7
second
is going to
phase,
run that
they
joy in the
had
XP.
I'm thinking, oh, they're probably going to pick up a Harris for the gold lane or something very out of the ordinary.
Claude's out
But
too.
RRQ
Dude, this is
right there, and they're like, yeah,
this
I
is a
think we know what they're
interesting
for here.
draft,
So
man. I
they
want to see
ban
what they
out
pick
the
up.
Harris, they ban out the
They
Claude.
took out the Harris.
Now, Zipex, kind of, you know, he's really got to think about this. Is that
I wonder what they're going to pick.
He was hovering over
Clint?
Moskov.
Well, kind of a bit of a sneak peek here. It's a bit unfair.
He just goes for it. He's like, I'm going to
Clint.
full send it. I'm going with it. Now, it doesn't have the best win rate here, but this, again, could just be that comfort pick for Zipex. Goes and rather goes for the Clint there than something spicy that we've seen so far, like that Moskov. It was selected, but this is probably the better choice.
Still got
right?
Irrit,
Again,
though.
You have a lot of
Good
CC
mobility.
You need to be able to follow up, and now that's the thing, Arashi. Is Clint the best option here? Does he have enough burst? How long does it take for this Clint hero to get to that point? Is it
Yeah, this is
3-item, 4-item?
This is a different type of draft than what I'm used to seeing.
Has a very strong advantage
I think it's the
in early
bans that
game,
kind of threw
right?
me off. The
That
Kadita
trade
ban.
potential is massive, and the wave clear as well with the passive. So I think Clint has a lot of potential. In the mid game, though, I feel like he falters quite a bit before being yet another huge presence.
Oh,
in the late
Melissa.
game.
There goes the
Speaking
Martis.
of late
I
game,
did think Martis was
Melissa
going to be
has been
picked
selected
up.
by RRQ.
Melissa?
Along with that is the Martis.
It's not the
So
worst. I
again, the
mean,
mind game's really
you
paying
can keep
off
them at
right
bay,
there.
I guess.
Didn't
It's
really
really
know
not that
what
bad.
Exactly was the final pick going to be.
It's not that
But
bad,
obviously
honestly.
the
That's actually
lineup
pretty
is
solid.
coming through, a lot of crowd control immunity and a lot of outplay potential, right? The movement.
I like
everything that RRQ is
RRQ's.
very fond of, but that
Yeah, oh, there
signature
goes the
Franco pick
Franco.
coming in for Falcon.
We've been
That's the first
waiting
Franco
for
I've
that
personally
Franco
seen.
pick. Quick notice though onto the gold lanes. You mentioned how Clint.
I didn't get to see them go up. I didn't get to see RRQ go up against Blacklist though, so I gotta rewatch that game or those games.
Give Clint a little bit of a hard
Franco pick up
time.
though. This
Now,
would be fun to see.
Clint, not a whole lot of mobility in those team fights in the mid game, but he can.
What draft are you guys going for? I feel like I like RRQ. Their draft a little bit better.
Can output a lot of damage plus some nice true
But they do got that
damage
nasty
from passive,
Valentina, perfect win rate, so
possibilities
we'll see, man.
builds with the endless battle, but it's gonna come down to really big. How well can Naomi peel for
Is
him?
Franco's
How well
crazy?
can they stack that CC,
No, I don't remember
protect
it.
him throughout that mid
I don't think I watched all the
Wondering,
Falcons
with this-
games.
That last pick from Falcon, if we're gonna take a trip to Hook
I gotta.
City
I'm
again,
playing
because,
catch up, man.
the
But it's a godly
highlights, man,
Franco?
that the guy
Okay.
had, it just
He's
seemed
gotta be. He
unreal.
last picked it,
And
so.
I know RRQ is probably prepared for that. And I like the Melissa pick as well.
He's like a
because
Dabuki,
we actually
huh?
saw this yesterday. The interaction
Dabuki
that,
Franco.
that Ultimate provides, that
You seen this
micro
nasty
decision.
Franco from the
So a lot of
Philippines
times,
when we
the
were
times
casting
those
for
team fights, especially when we're
the
talking
Mobile
about
Legends
lately,
Discord
we've seen
server
so
for the
many
Philippines grand finals and
undercurrent plays,
semifinals.
whether they're looking
It's
for the
insane.
sandwich angle or they're just trying to collapse down on a tier 1 turret even, and that's crucial. You know, if you have
Marvin Marin back at it again. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Frickin'.
Melissa is that great pick, but still, I was talking about CCs from Falcon. RRQ Hoshi
He was the
has
one that
great
played
CCs as
Franco
well, but
and
we are
Natalia.
loading up into
He didn't do
the
too hot on
land of
Natalia,
Thunder
right?
for the
That was that
first
Natalia.
series of the day.
Yeah. I think I
RRQ
seen that
Hoshi
one.
versus
Okay.
Falcon.
Off the bat, Zipex with a very aggressive emblem choice here. The killing
They
spree
lost
being
that
used
Natalia
to
game,
ensure
if I'm
I guess
correct.
he can go a bit more aggressive.
That might have not been
Chase
them, but I
those
think that was them.
Very valuable kills in the early game. R7 with the mystery shop, with the vengeance, as we mentioned, very dangerous.
There
but
goes the hook already.
when he gets hooked in, the sustain will be enough, but Falcon already showing dominance in this early game.
Yeah, already a big hook, already a lot of aggression from the side of Falcon, and this is exactly
Well,
what
he
we
can
wanted to
technically
see. This is
hook
exactly what we thought
Skylar out of the go away.
To
out of his
Pretty stalemate
bubble.
right now.
Ooh, my
Oh.
God.
Pick on Albert. He will be able to get away with
Man, it's
these,
quick with
though,
it.
But it does look like they want to keep on bringing some aggression. Justin gonna come up, trying to get Terrify on Vin. Ken moving in as well, bringing Vin down to about half health. He's gonna try to get away with this. Gets a nice defense.
Oh, Vin's dead.
Will he get the dash? Ken trying
Oh.
to catch him, just can't though.
Close.
Also, it's a very close situation, and this is why you can't really just go aggressive against Falcon, because they will punish you. And look at these hooks, man.
And Naomi already starting strong. I like it. Aggressive.
Clay,
Aggressive
but
with the hooks.
Of course, that is so dangerous, and that is something that is going to be at the back of their minds right now.
93% first blood rate. Golly.
Falcon is ranked first in terms of blood rate with 93.33%.
Oh, that's nuts.
14 out of 15 games. No one's claimed it just yet, but both teams going to work on the first turtle.
Most definitely Ken trying to get a nice position here, but in comes Albert. The appraisal's wrapped double hands down.
Ooh, the retro gap.
Nice pick, but the battle does still pursue.
Oh, it's because Franco bloody hunted him. That was clutch.
That is another kill for Ken, putting him at 1.
They got first blood again.
First blood
Raising them
plus
stats.
Another to the side of Falcon.
So they maintain that.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one, Deku.
Let's take
I might
a
have to
look
watch
how
it.
that worked out for the Marashi.
They're getting 3 more.
What's up, Marcus? How you doing?
Has some more,
You got to learn about these other teams, you know? We got to spread our knowledge. We got to adapt and evolve.
Revenge is fought, but it won't be enough.
That is huge, but Albert wants to keep on pushing it. Ken gonna switch positions.
Dang, Falcon on
Taken out by
freaking
Clay.
fire right now.
This could be bad for Albert, though. No, they find Naomi. Albert
Oh,
goes down
yeah.
Justin,
Oh.
Now Justin trying to escape. Can't quite make it. The Brilliance comes out. They're on the chase. Wild charge.
Ooh.
Yellow Flash goes down, and so does Justin. Yellow Flash actually
Bro, they're
ends
dropping
up
left and right. It's like
Clay
staggered
there.
kills.
Overall, a 2-for-1 trade.
Who will win? I'm not
fight
sure.
back.
On paper, RRQ has a lot more late game heroes. That's what we've been talking about, right? Falcon trying to aggress, but RRQ is not backing
That
down
Franco's
at
a
all.
game changer,
They keep
man.
catching these plays, and they keep getting a
It's going to
bit of
be
an
interesting to see him try and catch Melissa.
But like I said, it's a bit dangerous.
That's what I'm really looking
especially
for.
if they start losing the tempo and letting Falcon get control of the game. Right now, for both teams, the presence and the
Valentina can take Groxel, or she can take,
are not happening, but if it's stalemate, I think
yeah,
Naomi
probably
with
just
the hooks
Groxel.
has a bit more advantage, but the card control
Get a little bit of
really
that
does
wild
come
charge on their
solid.
side as well.
The other thing that, I mean, just in the last couple minutes here, again, this is going back to that tempo, right? Pace, set.
Mystery
by
shop on the
Falcon,
Joy,
but RRQ
XP
is doing
lane.
a good job at pretty much matching it, but at the same time, look at Justin, right? He has those 3 kills already. He's running the mystery shop here. He's going to be able to scale up really well on this Valentina early on. And how will that play a part? You're going to have to see it as Falcon Esports adjust into, especially the mid-game. But right now, this minor advantage that Falcon has is going to play out, especially in the objectives. Now, because Albert is playing that Martez, you're able to kind of bob and weave out of these situations the best you can. And if they get whittled down,
Chantal's been picked up by Justin already, getting some CDR.
Is huge, but the fight breaks out.
Yeah, we got to keep eyes on Naomi here, waiting for that hook to come in. Yellow Flash into the backside. R7 trying to do the same thing here.
He's trying to grab
Turtle does
Albert.
reset,
He didn't get it, though.
Ken gonna try to push forward. Naomi
Blue
just
doesn't have
holding down
split
the
foot
bush. A nice
now.
hook does land onto Vin
Oh
there.
my God.
Comes the suppression, but Vin able to get out.
Wrong
This falls
person,
to the wild
Naomi.
card. Down goes Naomi. Ken will be next.
He tried to grab,
2-0 trade, and
Martis.
kill going to the side of Clay.
After a solid turtle pit
That
dance,
Franco
RRQ
idea is not
somehow
bad, though.
finally engaged,
Trying
and
to
despite
get
having the
guaranteed
less
bloody
dynamic,
hunts right before
fast engage,
Martis
Vin
tries
had-
to take the turtle, but Albert,
Vin was able to
if he
find
has a
an
little bit of
amazing
protection, it makes it a little bit
wild
harder.
charge. I think that was just what set the deal for RRQ. Falcon needs to make sure that they maintain distance, because otherwise RRQ have a lot more potential to burst them down and also go for those big engages. And
Cursed
take my
helmet,
12
Martis.
right here. R7 has the genius
Take
one.
Martis.
He's going for early DPS, trying to make sure that he can keep the game rolling long enough for Skylar to try and scale into that late game.
Not only that, but, you know, having that R7, having the Genius Wand already is going to scale really well, or complement really well.
Interesting.
Especially as he's already
Mana
played
shoes on
first
Lunox?
and has that
I thought it would have been
penetration,
Arcane.
But paired with that item,
You already got Clock of
Falcon's
Destiny,
gotta
right?
be
Is it?
Careful how they approach it.
I don't
but
know.
Finn,
Yeah, Vin's gonna try.
Wonder
to
what
come
he's
in,
gonna go
some
next.
Steal play. Justin though here to help. Nice suppression onto Clay. Will get wild charged up. Justin using one of his own.
Nice.
Now Zipex gonna try to catch some distance.
Ooh, did they
Now
take
we'll
it?
have to bop
Oh,
out.
they
Move
took
it
the
on
turret.
Justin
Oh.
here. Decimation locks in, and down
Martis
goes
broken, bro. He
Justin.
can get Naomi too.
Tyler and the rest of
What you
them are
doing?
gonna try to take
Go!
the tower. I mean, it's just one tap away.
Yo,
as
he's
Zipex
asleep.
and Naomi
That was an
are
easy
pushed back
take.
to base.
It's just such a tough situation.
He still had decimation. He could have ran in there and took him.
But yet again, even though Justin was able to secure counter engage using the stolen wall.
At least they took the
It's
turret.
just not enough. There's not enough combo coming in, and Falcon really seems to be the one on the back foot here. They're losing to RRQ in terms of speed, and as nice to mention, and this kind of matchup, speed will kill you. Tempo is of utmost importance.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't think much is going to happen here. R7's just too fast.
R7 is way, way too fast for sure. And this is why that Joy Tech is just so annoying, right? Again and again, he's just been able to dash towards the back line of Falcon.
Joy's so
and he can pretty
freaking
much,
nuts.
they can't really do anything to try and stop him. And in this early game, this is why it's so dangerous, because you don't have enough crowd control, you don't have enough burst damage, and this is why that Vengeance spell as well is just so annoying on a mobile hero like this Joy.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we've seen Joy pop up so many times now, and I feel like that success rate is really apparent.
I really want to start using Joy more too.
Will bite the bullet there. Yellow Flash trying to move on to Clay there. Will use Brilliance to get out. Falcon now taking cover over the turtle pivot. Albert trying to make it in. Will take the turtle. A beautiful retribution. Hook does land on to Skylar. Skylar trying to get away here.
R7 nuts.
Zipex goes down. Clay in a very bad situation. The top
Going
comes
one.
in. He finds him, but the battle still pursues under the purple buff. R7 trying to get them down. Albert will fall.
Oh, he picked up going one on Clay
Nice
too.
pick overall, a 3-for-1 trade, but RQ does take the turtle.
Ooh, it seems like Yellow Flash still wants to go for a bit more though, but R7, look at it, just denying Justin any kind of presence, but he might just a bit of more than he can chew. But no, he is able to escape with the mobility, and despite getting the turtle, RRQ got punished heavily in that fight.
That's the best thing they can do, right? I mean, if they're able to get those objectives here for RRQ, at least you have that going for you into the mid-late game transition. So, but what we're seeing again is the pretty much
Vengeance
the
on Joy?
pendulum of
Okay.
tempo between both these teams. First, it was Falcon, RRQ got it back, and now it's Falcon once again.
Oh, but a nice hook does come in. Wild charge coming down from Vin. Brilliance comes out. Naomi taking a little bit of damage. Yellow Flash does secure a tower, though, on the top side. Albert now coming to help out the team.
Albert
RQ
built that radiant
will
armor.
Engage. Falcon taking a little bit of revenue, though, in the mid and the top lane.
So they hold on to it. It's one hit away there on the bottom side, tier 1. Still looking for a map advantage here. Naomi!
Ooh, R7 should be able to get away from this, but it is a lot of damage from Zipex. He's going to need to be careful because Falcon is hovering down this bot lane.
Every time Falcon gets an engage, RRQ, it seems like their go-to response is to fight fire with fire and aggress.
It's not too
back.
bad of a game
And this
from
is
either
making it very
side.
difficult for Naomi to get a lot of value with these iron hooks, because even if someone gets hooked, they don't back away. They all go in at the same time, and with Clay, for example, having the immunity with the Brilliance order is just going to allow him to just buy so much more time, and Falcon is definitely struggling to deal with this, but they still are sitting at a 2K gold lead, and that is significant, especially with how they play.
Well, this is big, right? Zipex finally getting that BOD. A first lord of the game is going to be up here. Justin holding on to that wild charge. Everybody, not sure if they want to commit to this just yet. It is going to be Ken and Albert dancing around it. But you see everybody managing the waves the best they can before they get in position for the fight here. Ken and Albert still at a stalemate. And also Naomi waiting patiently there. I think he did spot out R7. But still looking for the best advantage point for both teams. Yellow Flash getting vision as well. Who goes for it first?
Yeah, I mean, Falcon loves to start these lords first, try to push them in. But wait a second, Naomi locks on. Vin takes a lot of damage.
Valentina
charge.
too.
Vin goes down. Albert now trying to lock in the back line. Naomi goes down. Albert on the run though as Ken and Justin try to chase. Yellow Flash on the bot side trying to lock on to Clay here. Clay does get stunned. Will get stunned again.
Martis got a
Yellow
kill.
Flash is just here to delay. Albert finds the backside though and locks down Justin. Zipex taking a lot of
Clay's
damage.
dead.
R7 finds him. This could be bad. Ken now moving on to R7. It's a bloodbath, boys. Clay goes down. Overall 3 for 2 still, but a fight still pursues. RQ on the backside. Ken back onto the Lord.
Falcon with a very intelligent approach right here. Every time Naomi is able to get an engage, Vin counters.
What's up,
with the
Andre?
wild
How you
card.
doing, my man?
So
Sneaking up
there,
on me.
he
Appreciate you
used
being here.
everything to ensure that Vin
Hopefully
gets
life's
taken
treating you
out
well.
before he's able to do anything. And in retaliation, in the beginning of the fight at least, RRQ was only able to secure the kill onto Naomi, but I think Falcon needs to be careful when the fight drags on like that, because Zipex, if he is getting jumped on by R7 with no protection,
And they just
that
lost
is
to
game
tier
over for him.
2 on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm thinking the exact same thing, man. You know, we saw that there. R7 just unleashing on the backside, especially in those extended fights. And once again, we find ourselves in the Lord dance. Both teams still looking for positioning. Pretty much more or less the same thing. Is it going to be Naomi that lands the hook here first? As everybody gets situated, ZipX trying to get that orange buff. Lord's going to go ahead and reset. No one pushing the go just yet.
Yeah, nobody pulling that trigger just yet. Skylar is going to kind of dance around. We got to keep our eyes on Naomi. He seems to be the initiator. The
Most core, pick core, and M4 was Fredrin? Yeah, no, this man's picked all the freaking time.
Online in this mid game, the Clint just doesn't seem as fearsome, and without him, they just can't.
Ben's waiting for a perfect wild charge.
You can see tanky items are being built by a set of Falcon, so the damage, the burst potential from RRQ is slowly but surely dissipating. And as you mentioned, ZipX is only going to get stronger and stronger. So I think for the most part, it's going to be in the hands of R7. You see that once he pops his ultimate, the electrifying beats, that's where Falcon just gets a bit more bold and they make a play onto him.
Nice play too. R7 going to finally go down. You're fast, but not fast enough. Ken now. Here comes the concealed play. Watch for Naomi.
That was a good pickup by Falcon.
RQ forced to back off. ZipX holding the back line, getting some nice shots off. A lot of damage on the Vin. ZipX finds it. Skylar using the go.
That was an outplay by. Oh my God!
Damage, but he's taken out by Justin. Clay will fall next.
Oh.
For 0 trade.
Skylar almost came online.
RRQ, man, they just don't know when to back down. They lost the initial engage. They got their members picked off. They still went for the 4v5, for the 3v5.
That was good prioritization too. It was a good shot call. Focus over there on R7 in the mid lane. Use the bloody hunt, keep him in place, get the kill. Not too far from the lords. That really didn't cost him anything.
Big disaster there, and at the same time, ZipX just picked up the Malefic Roar, so now this damage for that Clint's going to be even more online at this point. And it's crucial, right? RRQ is going to have to defend against this one. Yes, they were down a member earlier on. They still decided to fight it. Look at the gold lead already for Falcon as they press the issue into the base here. Yeah, but with Skylar, they should be able to melt down this Lord. It is just Lord 1, Yellow Flash with the split, keeping them at bay. One minion still stands. ZipX getting a couple passive shots, trying to make them onto this base. Can't quite.
I always like to look at builds. One of the most interesting things about the World Series.
Going to come into the backside. Vin uses a conceal play, trying to find someone, or maybe just trying to create some space, but Falcon doesn't want to give it up. A nice hook does come down. Vin tries to survive, but ZipX takes him out. R7 forced to retreat. Justin falls, though. Clay able to capitalize. This could be bad. Skylar moving in. Yellow Flash goes down next. Albert finds it, but Naomi then finds him. This is what we call pushing the tempo. Another hook, but R7's still going to press it on. He wants to keep pushing. ZipX can't get away from it. R7! Man, this joy is online. Ken and Naomi forced to retreat. Clay with his back, but R7 keeps on pushing under 2 towers. But the hook comes in. Falcons trying to climb something, but just can't.
They just keep fighting and fighting, and eventually they will come out on top. This is the RRQ playstyle.
Yeah, they messed up big time.
It's so nerve-wracking because you have no idea what's going to happen. What is for sure, though, is that the marksman right here is just playing such a key role in these big team fights, man. Whenever Skylar is able to
yeah, Justin's Valentina is pretty nuts. 8-4 and 8.
But if you can see, if
Blue
ZipX is the one left
pretty
alone,
solid.
he's
R7, he's doing okay.
So it just seems like for both
but those
teams,
picks, those strong picks that I walk through, are having a heavy impact. That glue is hurting them. Justin's hurting them.
But if RRQ can get to the back line, that is where Falcon.
That man Scarlet's hitting like a truck now, even though he doesn't have the best KDA.
They want to lose ZipX or Justin.
I just think it's so perfect that basically this matchup comes down to tempo, and you have the joy here with the beats, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's how we saw it unfold. But, I mean, you make good points here, Arashi, and at the same time, you have to take note, RRQ with that play, that defense and initiation, they whittled down that goal lead, what, 5K at one point here for Falcon. So now they put themselves in a position again where they can be very confident in this next Lord coming up in about 10 seconds. And really, if they can find a pickoff early on, that's going to be the best case for them. R7 already picking up a Divine Glaive here. Vin with the Immortality. Those are crucial for this next Lord fight.
It's just how they play, man. They go for a solid late game picks, but they just keep going at and trade kills, and they're going for a fight again.
Well, that is a big resource wasted. Vin trying to get the wild charge down. Suppression does lock onto R7, but he may be able to escape this. Has the shield. He's not trying to escape. He wants to find a kill, and he finds it, but he pays the price. Yellow Flash.
Two Immortality's picked up by Ken and Yellow Flash. Watch this.
Right now, Ken goes down to the backside.
Immortality's proc.
Beautiful angle. And now they're going to disengage.
Oh, dang. What happened to Ken's Immortality? Oh, he sold it.
man.
Never mind.
The DPS coming from RRQ is just so
I think he
lethal
sold
right
it.
now. Melissa
Tried to buy that
and
winter
Ingrid
truncheon.
in the late game is the worst of both worlds for the members of Falcon. But Naomi
Ooh.
still finds that hook, man. It's insane.
Definitely insane, but the hooks just don't seem to be enough right now. Play will take the Lord. Yellow Flash will get knocked up. Vin gonna go down to the Immortality. Won't survive that one. Yellow Flash, though, is on top of Albert here. He's gonna try to back off, but Skylar found him. Locked on. Yellow Flash forced to flash away. This is looking a little grim for Falcon.
So as you're seeing these fights break out here, Skylar is just able to unleash, right? A lot of the times it's R7 doing what Joy does best. It's a distraction. You distract the enemy team here, you whittle them down, Clay is that burst, and Skylar is just kind of in the back, you know, unleashing here. Now, Falcon Esports, if they want to turn the tide here, first, they need a successful defense against this Lord in the mid lane, do their best there, and then from at that point, they've got to get past the R7 issue, and it's honestly going to come down to that lockdown. That's what we've been seeing with the Bloody Hunt combination or the hooks here, but now here's the Lord in the mid side.
Yeah, I like
They should have pushed the top.
Tried to get it down as much as possible before it connects onto the
I don't know why.
inhibitor.
Yeah, there you go.
RQ
So
gonna
cut the
play
top
a very
off. Good push
disciplined
by Albert.
here. They know their advantage isn't so
At least
great
get something
just
out of
yet,
that.
and that, I think, is where Falcon messed up
Nice.
in their last push. They stayed a little bit too long.
And look at the waves here being manipulated by RRQ. They're making sure that it all comes at the same time.
They're about to ruin Valentina's perfect record.
But RRQ, they won't be able to get a pick off unless they want to go under the turret. That is a bit too bold from them. They will show discipline and back away.
It's neck and
I
neck,
think
man.
that's what's very
It's gonna be
important,
down
Nigel.
to the
Like
wire,
you said,
down to the final
ratcheting your
clash.
card control to ensure
Who
that
has
the
the better
right
synergy,
targets
better
don't
shot
get
calling
a
in these
role the big
engagements?
fight. It's so critical for Falcon.
Well, you can
Franco
chalk
just
that
needs
up
to
as
get a godly,
successful defense
set.
now that both teams have had. But look at Falcon. They're going to go ahead and look for a pick. They know that
They could
Albert's
kill
there,
R7 right there.
But they still have to be very
Oh.
cautious on how they
You gotta-
approach
ooh.
it. That's going to be an Iron Hook missing. Albert knows where they are. The purple buff fight's going to ensue. But it looks like it was taken by
Ken.
Ken.
But then he gets knocked out.
Golly, Skylar's hitting hard.
Starting out, put a lot of damage, melting down Yellow Flash as well.
He's got Demon Hunter
Justin
sword.
Trying to escape here, the rest of the team on the wall. Maybe want to try to re-engage this. Naomi uses the conceal play, another material down. RQ possibly going for the re-engage. Here comes the conceal play. R7 hook pushing the front side. Wall does come down. This will secure the first inhibitor for RRQ.
It's such a tough situation. The tankiest members from the side of Falcon, Glue as well as at Fredrin, they have a mix, very good mix of defensive, physical and magical defense. But at this point, with the Divine Glaives coming in, with a full slot, a full item Melissa, it's just not enough. The longer the fight goes, the more the DPS of RRQ is going to show out to just make that difference. So Falcon needs to find the right targets at this point. If they want to trade members, it might just benefit them because at the end of the day, if the DPS members from both teams are taken out, the members with the tankier, the more sustainable heroes, like the Fredrin, like the Glue, can absolutely take control of that later stage of the fight.
Yeah, and this is the biggest thing, right? You see how much, you pointed out the Divine Glaives, Arashi, how much magic damage and burst is there from RRQ. That's why Falcon's forced to take, you know what, they had 3 Athena shields across the board, couple Radiant armors here, but still they're finding it hard to even contest in a lot of these fights just because they can't.
What's up, Rylos? How you doing? Sneaking up on us. Appreciate you being here. Catching up on some M4. Actually, this is currently live, so RRQ versus Falcon in the lower brackets. Oh, down goes Fredrin. That's going to be an easy take for the Lord, possibly. Oh, 2 members down. Hold on, wait a minute. 3. Oh.
Yellow Flash looking for Clay, but the Brilliance comes out and starts goes down R7 all the way in enemy territory.
They messed up. That's game.
Is the problem. The lack of mobility from that Clint just can't go against R7 now. They are going to focus on Yellow Flash. That is a 5-man wipe. The Immortality does pop. Tries to use the Winter Truncheon. Don't think he's going to get away from this one. RQ will move on to the base, and that is it for game 1 in a best of 5.
You can hear the crowd as RRQ takes first blood in the series. It was a back and forth between these 2 teams setting the tempo. But
They choked that,
RRQ
honestly.
HOSHI comes
They had
out
such a
on
good
top.
early advantage.
What a wild playstyle, man. Every
Yeah.
time you think that...
That was a good game, though. In my opinion, I feel like they kind of choked it.
Just come in and wipe the whole opposing team
Yeah,
instead.
out of nowhere, it's a
Just
light
such-
just
such
flipped and they just
random
turned the
situation,
script
Falcon
and maintained the
can
tempo
tell
for the rest of the game. But in the beginning, the Falcon wasn't doing too
I
bad.
mean, R7 on the Joy though, definitely a big thorn in their sides.
R7 was deep.
That's R7? That's what he looks like? I didn't know who he looked like.
R7 was everywhere.
He looks mad young, though.
I feel like that's the thing about Joy and why it works so well, especially you park it in the side lane like that. It just causes havoc. I mean, Arashi, you called it. You know, you called it in the draft. And just like there's the pendulum, right? The pendulum is swinging between these two teams. And I also got to say, RRQ HOSHI, this is the play style I feel like that they favor the most. You know, they can just, again, go head-to-head against a team, that aggression, and it shows. A lot of the times, it might look messy, but a lot of it is calculated, right? So, I mean, we're going to have that game broken down further, but also, again, the M4 Battle Night goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in-game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like most from the chest, and aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get Team Star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day, so save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the match, and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including with our friends.
I always love
Falcon.
With friends.
With friends.
And now we are friends as well. Now we're friends.
Left hand, right hand?
There you go.
I don't know.
Right?
However that works.
It's all good. Well, again, we're going to have this even broken down further. The aggression here from both these teams. Boys on the analyst stand, take it away.
Thank you so much, Naisu, and everybody on the caster desk. Welcome back.
Oh, he
to
looking
Analyst
fresh.
Panel with Mirko, Assassin Dave, and Ulf. We're gonna break down
Mirko got the
game
best
number
suits.
1 that was back and forth early on and even in the later stages.
We saw that there was a lot of control from Falcon already. They're doing their game, they're playing their game, I mean. With Naomi just landing the hooks, they have the burst damage in the early stages with the Clint. But then again, Clay and Skylar happened in that game. That's how they turned it around.
It's all about the power spikes hitting, right? And RRQ really waited for that Lunox and Melissa to hit those late game power spikes.
Yeah,
to
Melissa
finally
just came
take
online
control
like
of the game.
crazy.
Dave, we actually had a discussion here, right? What could a Falcon actually picked up earlier on if they wanted to really control that early game?
Yeah, absolutely. There were a lot of problems with Falcon's draft. Early phases seems okay.
Dave
but
always has the no cards out.
they're lacking damage. Every time Naomi land a hook, land the ultimate, the target doesn't die. And then when you have a pick-home like that, it's going to be a lot of problem. We're talking about maybe you can take out a Brody or even a Bruno, right, for some damage.
Yeah.
But, and especially the last team fight, you saw how Franco with the ultimate on the Grok, and he just stayed alive.
Yeah. I think it's more about the order of the picks, right? They fourth picked the Clint, knowing that there's already a Lunox. The side of RRQ can flex that Lunox, knowing that the Clint is not gonna be a problem anymore. They picked out the Melissa instead. Surely they.
I like the Melissa pick. She had a harder time early. I think the Franco was nice, but man, did that Melissa come online, bro.
Order of picks.
Mirko, yeah, he's super fresh,
That's why I
man.
think it's about understanding the assignment, right? That's my favorite word here on the analyst panel is because early on.
What's up, Neil?
Remember, Falcon Esports, they kind
Why
of
you're not live on yesterday's stream? I wanted to see your live reaction in the comments. It was Onik. Oh no, we're gonna watch it. I have to watch it tomorrow. It's because it was at like 6 in the morning my time, man. I had to get 4 in the morning. I had to get some rest. I tried to stay up as long as I could, but I didn't spoil it, so I'm still gonna watch it live. I mean, I seen the results, man. Echo, man, how you feel about it? How you feel about it, Neil? I wanted Echo to win, bro. I really did.
On top of that, Naomi was targeting the Grok.
Of course I'm supporting Zane.
Kind of missing damage.
I want Zane. I want the Valley to win. I want to be able to like hop in streams from the Philippines and be like, try that in North America, bro. You know, that's what I'm rooting for. But the Valley's been a very big shocker so far in M4, bro. They took out Todak. You know, they took out RQ Akira. Malaysia got sent home. There goes Brazil. Who would have thought that? You know, I thought Todak would have given them a run for their money, bro. Then yet again, just like BTK, shocking the world and making everybody bite their words.
Comparing his performance in M3.
Now I'm kind of scared to doubt the Valley. You know what I mean? If that wasn't enough for them to have proven themselves, I don't know what is. Even if they don't beat Onik, I still think that's a huge win for them. You know?
They're a team that really likes team fighting, very heavily mechanical based. So if that's the way they like to play, complete the drafts in this style of play almost every single time. Because if not, then you'll see what happened yesterday up against Blacklist International, right? Up against Blacklist, it felt like in these drafts when they didn't get that team fight or skirmish heavy composition.
Oh yeah, he
things
built
fell
Immortality
flat.
last.
Now we are gonna take
Yeah,
a look
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
item
yeah.
builds.
Cool.
And honestly, for me,
I'm gonna start playing Joy a little bit more.
eyes are set on Skylar. Like, look at that. Winter Truncheon, that's the only defense.
Valley last team standing from Group D. Oh, that's a good point, man. That's a great point, actually. I didn't even think about that. They're the only ones standing now.
Am I seeing this correctly? I am seeing this correctly, right?
Mask, yeah.
Like a roller coaster of emotion, bro, and happy that Kyrie made that insane play with Hayabusa. I didn't get to see it yet. Don't spoil it. But I heard he made like the best play ever seen in a World Series, so I definitely want to take a look at it tomorrow, watch it, and see how well of a player it was.
Back to Skylar's build again. He didn't have boost in the late game. I saw it for the Winter Truncheon. This guy has
No, you good, bro. You good.
I mean, and also
They eliminated RRQ Akira. That was the only other team besides the Valley.
Glue cannot
Yeah.
reach him, and Frederick cannot reach her. Like, I don't think
'Cause
there's
S11
any
got
character
taken
who
down.
can actually get a hold of Melissa. And if he just stay in the back.
And it was Team Hack got taken out.
Let's take a look
So,
at the
yeah, you're right.
comparison here for the team fight participation.
Yep, you just said this.
Simply enough, you're honestly,
Yeah.
Skylar, right?
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
But take a look at the sandbag and
Yeah, I didn't think about it, man. That's a very valid point, though. The last one's a Group D.
It's a pick that really excels here up against these kind of compositions, but in the later stage, like we mentioned, very easy to burst down, to melt down on that Lunox.
So this means what? Let me look at what's currently going on. And this means that if you look at the brackets,
Seen a resurgence in the upper brackets, and
on the
even
upper side,
playoffs here. I'm not
we're
gonna
seeing
say this
Echo
before.
versus Blacklist. Oh, Lord!
Dave, who mentioned in his one of
That's
his
about to be
casts,
good.
Probably the Explain Joy is
That is
better.
about to be
I
good,
totally
bro.
agree with it. I think that this is the better,
If Echo beats Blacklist,
utilization of the hero.
oh,
You can see how
man.
much space he can do. And even in the
And then there's a chance Blacklist plays either the Valley or Onyx.
But you have sustained damage.
Yeah,
I think the Valley would be RQ, Hoshi, or Falcon.
Joy, the thing
I
about
think
it is
that if the Valley can beat Onyx, I think they're pretty solid at beating RQ, Hoshi, or Falcon.
and the ult, and then when you get to the backline,
They've beat Blacklist in the past. I think they can beat Blacklist again. There's if they beat Onyx, right? There's a very good chance that they can make it all the way to the finals. A very good chance. A very good chance.
I wonder who it is. The Joy that really.
And it's not like Blacklist plays too differently than what they played in M3 either. Anyway, so like I'm sure they're pretty prepared for that, man. Out of any team, they're probably prepared for Blacklist. So do I think that the Valley has a chance against Onyx? I don't want to doubt him, man. Honestly, I want to give them my good graces. I want them to win.
To this Joy. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't do enough damage to kill
I
him.
want them to win. If they Onyx, and this even came from Chicken's mouth. This is when M4 actually officially starts for them, right? The rest of them weren't really that much of a worry. Yeah, they had a little bit of a struggle in the group phase, but after groups, like, they've been on fire, bro. And Onyx is how we're gonna gauge. If they beat Onyx, there's a slight, not even a slight chance, a good chance that we see them in the final because they're gonna beat RRQ Hoshi or Falcon Esports. I have a feeling they're gonna beat one of those two teams, especially if they beat Onyx, because I feel like Onyx better than both of those teams. But if they beat Onyx, I think there's a good chance for them to beat one of these two teams, whoever wins. And when they go up against, if Blacklist loses, that's going to increase the chances even more, in my opinion, because they're more prepared to go up against a team like Blacklist than I think they are a team like Echo. Echo more that assassin style. I mean, I just feel like I don't know, man. They've beaten Blacklist before. You know what I'm saying? So there's a really good chance that they can actually take it to the finals.
Do not be surprised if some of the first.
If they knock down Onyx, means they can compete with the rest for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
This opening finds his groove, pun intended, as now the punishments coming out from R7.
They gotta ban all of Kyrie's heroes.
At this point, because of the fact that R7 is
Hayabusa, Ling, Fanny, Brethren.
better amount of time bought by this R7 Joy, look at him go. Like, he goes to the back lines and he makes both Skylar and Clay freely hit onto the front lines
Yeah, Falcon
Esports.
choked that, man. They had a good advantage in the beginning. They kind of choked.
It felt like in the early stages when Falcon had
I'm not complaining though. I got a good build from R7 on Joy, so that's pretty lit.
able to fully capitalize on a lot of these team fight wins because R7 was
I didn't
so
have,
good. Because he
glowing
had that
one.
shielding, the sustainability, the DPS, and even the vengeance that really started to put a huge obstacle onto Falcon's mid-game power spike.
And because Falcon didn't have a lot of
Wolf's
bottom
suit's
support,
pretty lit too, though.
come from the
They got some nice
Franco
suits, man.
Ultimate. So like the ultimate was frequently used not on Joy. I mean, sometimes you would think, okay, if I pick a Franco, that's to target the Joy, right? But unfortunately, R7 is so good at his engage timer, when to cut in, when to flank the backline. It makes Naomi's job really, really difficult in the last match.
How are you supposed to lock him down, right? At this point, it's just the Kaja.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the only one.
So maybe the way to go for Falcon is just go for damage. Let's go. Falcon needs damage in game number 2.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully Mobazane decides to play in the Philippines, so at least he'll know what it feels like to have a good, solid. I think Mobazane can really play against the best of the best. Yeah, he's a nasty jungler. I mean, he's doing it with the full team from America, so I mean, this might not even be necessary. If he can do it just sitting in America, do you know how nasty this man would be if he played in the Philippines full time?
There's matches on TikTok. Participate and cheer
You know what kind of
up.
super
Put
team
M4
he'd be on? He's been
activity
invited
matches
to
on TikTok
teams.
And using M4 exclusive customized gifts to cheer for the teams. There will be a chance to be on TV.
Onyx's
and
problem
win
is the
abundant
roamer.
gifts.
You think the roamer's the issue?
Also, take a sneak peek at M4 events and be the first to receive info about all the rewards you can get. The M4 pass again is live.
I gotta watch
now.
it. I gotta watch Onyx versus Echo.
It offers the exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, the M4 Beatrix figurine like you see on our desk, the emote, the sacred statue, spawn event recall effect, and the avatar border, and the trail effect. They all
And the trail
Get
effect.
Alice's special skin, the War Lion.
I finished my battle pass. I can't wait to get that figurine.
Actually, it's already started on December 24th. The M4 support chest will also be available in game.
Who else we got today, fellas? Who else is on the bracket?
Receive a mysterious gift.
Let's see.
Not sure what that's going to be, but it's mysterious. On the day of M4 Finals, happening on the 15th of January, expect to get an avatar border for free. And in the M4 Battle Night,
It's not the
event,
Valley
unlock
today,
a
right?
skin chest by completing task and pick a skin of your choice.
Is it Onyx in the Valley
Check.
today?
Don't forget the hashtags as
Oh,
well.
it is Onyx in the Valley today.
Hashtag MLBBM4 and hashtag
Oh, snap, okay.
Great. Now with that being
Boys
said,
is playing
I'm gonna
today.
ask you guys, we're only a couple minutes away here from the draft.
This'll be good.
Arashi, you're the big mind here. What does Falcon need to do adjusting into game number 2?
Well, first of
Looks
all,
like it's gonna be a long night.
We did mention that when the marksman was able to actually output that damage.
Benny Cutie is the best gold laner in my opinion.
He can output some damage as
CW
well.
ain't too bad.
They were excelling when they were going for the pick-off gameplay, and when they can make sure that the dive.
I think Benny Cutie's been pretty solid though, man. Panda was pretty nuts. I think he got recognized a lot.
Be careful with the trading, man, because when you're against a
Yeah,
team
I
with
would go
someone
Benny
with
Cutie
a
first, though.
Lunox, with a Melissa, the last thing you want to do
Benny
is keep
Cutie,
hitting those back and
CW.
forth. And of course, against RRQ, that's easier said than done.
I don't know if I put
but
Panda third, but I don't know. Panda, I was
Calvin,
impressed by Panda's
Like
marksman.
you mentioned, man, we've seen it happen. When they can get a clean game and not leave any
The work's
opportunities,
staying
they
up.
just steamroll.
Well, we're gonna have to see
You
if
say
they
that
steamroll,
until
but we are gonna
until it's
take a
like
short break here.
4 hours later, and they put on that
We'll
70-minute timer for the Valley to play.
be back after
But
the short break.
actually, it's really cool that they started M4 earlier. Short break. Oh, here we go. We was just talking about this, fellas, right? We was just talking about these breaks. No. Well, maybe while I'm watching. Oh no, it depends on how long the break is. Let me see how long the break is. It's only 9 minutes. I was gonna say I could watch a quick Onyx game, but Onyx and Echo, but those aren't quick. Those are probably some long. Were they long games at least? How long did the games go? Were they like all above 20 minutes, or were they like? Was there any fast finishes? Maybe I shouldn't ask, huh? I shouldn't spoil it. Kartzizi got to go up against his idol. Well, while I wait, I guess we can get in some Fanny practice. 20 minutes average, not bad, not bad. I'm just gonna run some practice Fanny and like hero training. I've been doing a Fanny what do you call it? A road to Master Fanny, bro.
Explore the natural wilderness.
It's super hard, but I've been trying to increase my hero pool, and my overall gameplay. So I guess right now is a good time to practice Fanny. Oh, I got 60 MS. Oh my god, I'm not on the Wi-Fi. That's gonna suck. Oh, I didn't put no CD on. I was like, dang, how'd I run out of energy? Wow. I gotta close Mobile Legends now because I gotta fix my MS. That's crazy. I wish the MS would just reset when I put my Wi-Fi on, but you gotta literally close out of the whole freaking game, bro.
Crucial error that allowed Echo to gain momentum and ultimately secure the win.
1v1 top 17 Dairoth in the Philippines. You top 17? Impressive. You've been running Haya and Lance? Yeah, I love Haya. I need to. I think I got Haya down. I need to practice Lance though. Lance is one of those heroes I definitely need to polish up for sure. Look at Chicken. Man was beating them down. Sent Brazil home. Yeah, so we got Onik in the Valley, and then we got Echo and Blacklist today. Yo, today's about to be lit. Oh, today's about to be lit. Oh my god, I didn't know they were doing all three. That's why they started so early. It's a lot of best of fives. 15 games. Who is my main hero? Dang, that's a tough one, man. I know a lot. I guess I used to be an Esme main before Esme got nerfed. I mean, I don't really have a main, but I try to stick toward like Yuzong. Oh, Martis, I guess. I don't even know why I didn't. Martis, I'm a really good Martis player, I guess. I didn't think about that. I was a Martis fan before Martis was meta, though. But I know how to play like a lot of heroes, man. I'm not just locked down in like a one-trick pony, you know. I play Martis. I've got Martis down. I've got Benny down. I've got Fredrin down for the most part. I'm still a little newer on the Fredrin side, I guess. Yuzong. I'm an XP main though. I guess I should say that. My Dairoth's okay. I think my Dairoth can be a little bit better, if I'm being honest with myself. I've got Paquito down. Who else XP? I mean, I know how to play Glue, I guess, if I really needed to. I could be a little bit better on my Grok. That's one of the heroes I'm trying to kind of dive better into for the XP side of things. Esme, Uranus, I know how to play them both pretty well. Starting to learn Joy a little bit better, I guess. I just got the good build for Mars 7, so I'm gonna start trying to practice that. Marcus, quit trolling me! My Ruby's pretty nice. Marcus be 1v1ing me and cheating. You a little cheater. I still want that rematch with my Julian and your Edith. Aside of that, though, I mean, I just started playing Bedang recently. I wouldn't say I haven't mastered. I understand his combos, though. But maybe just kind of trying to polish that up. I want to get him mastered, too. Even though you don't really see him that much. Dairoth's new meta in XP lane, King of XP. Think so?
The first series was all incendiary in the Sanayan Tennis Indoor Stadium as both incendiary supremacy and
I feel like King of the XP lane is Benedetta and Yuzong right now. And Lapu.
The Turkish squad was playing
and Glue.
with fire on the field, and it looked like Falcon's wings were smoldered as they were behind 1-2.
Don't you feel like Dairoth kind of gets beat
Rise from the ashes
a lot with the meta right now?
Falcon Esports soared high through the game and won 2 consecutive games.
Basic didn't even play bad. They ignored his side of the map.
From the tournament.
Yeah, he's been doing better. Once they helped him in his lane, he popped off. Yeah. Yeah, they picked it up, man. I don't know what kind of spiritual gathering that they had after group. But there's no complaints from me so far. Like I said, even if they lose now, like, I'm still impressed on what they've done. But I want them to take one of the powerhouses out. Like, if they take out Onyx, bro. They take out Indonesia. That's a huge dub for North America. Anything they do from here is a huge dub. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot that beat Star out right now. I don't know. Just depends on the draft, bro. Depends on the draft. Akito beats Daira too, technically, right? Alright, we can practice this fanning while we got some time. 3 minutes. Alright, let's see what we get. No CD. Gonna upgrade ourselves 4 times. And God mode. Alright, we should be good to go. So I've been practicing my cabling a little bit with fanning. And a couple things. So one of my friends, he does a really cool way of getting out of the base. Like he'll like go here, then cut here, and then go like that way. I don't know how he does it. I don't do it that way though, and I don't know if this is the best way to do it. Maybe y'all could tell me. But I will kind of go here, and I'll grab the turret, bro. I'll grab the turret, and then I'll move like this, and then, you know, I'll go here to the blue. I don't know if that's the most efficient way, though. I have no idea. Another thing that I've been kind of practicing is getting to the blue buff. I messed that up. But getting to the blue buff. Dang, why can I not cut to it? What am I messing up? Cutting it too early? There we go. Ah! Almost.
Welcome back to Triple Header Day.
The more you do it, like, the more you understand it, man.
If you're just joining us,
I'm getting there, though.
RRQ and
I'm getting there.
Are already off to the start, and it's RRQ that draws first blood in the series. It's up 1-0 for them. Again,
Yeah,
I'm
RRQ's
Icy,
on
joined
fire
by
right now.
with Trex and Arashi. And before we took that break, Arashi, you gave the thoughts on
AJ.
what can Falcon do.
Oh man, you got a fast hand. Now I see why.
Trex, I'm gonna ask you, right?
Now I see why I play Bellark, Angela, and Valier. Spam that over and over.
Specifically from ZipX.
You know Philippines is the powerhouse in Mobile Legends for the 3 feet champion. That's that what y'all call her? 3 feet champion. That's the first time I've heard that.
Hey, Naomi was landing some hooks.
Your brother's Chaknu? Okay.
Just couldn't get the kills.
Well, there was definitely a few.
Now that's a name I've heard before.
I don't think only in the draft, but in the game itself.
Carries the meta gold laner? Yeah, carries pretty nuts.
How it would fare.
Really nuts.
I think it could be viable, but definitely not while a Joy is on the field. And the analysis said it. How do we take down Joy? I think right now the best way to take down Joy, just ban it.
Yeah.
It's definitely an issue, especially with a lack of mobility hero like Clint. I think honestly the Melissa could have been better for Falcon, because at least then you have the go away. Right now, another big issue, Naomi. Every time he got the hook on Vin, they were just using so many utilities, and if they don't get rid of Vin, the wild charge comes in, and they literally have a huge death threat in the midst of their territory. So it's just kind of an issue.
The shades. In-game name to coach Deku / Wheezy. Fusion.
Switch up the draft almost completely.
Honestly, I'm so glad I'm practicing like these higher tier heroes. Like, it's crazy when people be like, oh, you gotta play like 700 games with Fanny. Like, bro, like when you start playing a lot of games, you start seeing that improvement, and nothing feels better than that. I think RQ won that match. They did. Yeah, RQ won. Falcon choked, man. They had the early phase and it was looking good, and then out of nowhere, RQ just came online and they didn't let go of that tempo and washed them out.
They play it to just bring the fight to you instead.
I mean, these numbers here just paint that picture of how much of a better time Sky have to
I see what you're saying.
Right?
I gotta keep my stream name.
Game to game,
I've already got so many people that know me for that name, you know?
Can be in that position, that mindset throughout the game. You're gonna profit. You're gonna see it there, and a lot of that.
Plus, it helps when people look me up on social media.
Tempo. It started from Falcon. Yes,
maybe if it was back in the day, it would have been good for me. Yours would be perfect because you can stick with that your entire journey.
They know how to adjust from it. They made the right changes. They got the tempo in their favor, and then things
one-on-one Gushin.
And yes, R7 being.
I haven't really played Gushin like that. That's a hero I need to try out.
Either it's
Amon too. I don't really play Amon like that.
Joy's gonna be taken out because
my weakest role right now is definitely gold lane. I stopped playing marksmans like a few seasons ago, so I'm so behind in gold.
Player head to head, right? Clay and Justin. Take note of the numbers as well. Now Justin having a little bit more in his face.
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying our IG is like make my in-game name Coach Wheezy.
I feel like Justin is a little more proactive in terms of.
Must be 570 1 me. Dang, Marcus.
Being that
I would say I can't because everybody knows me for Steph Wheezy. Like if they look me up on Facebook, that's what they'll find.
In the jungle, Clay is usually that follow-up for him, especially.
You know, somebody made a video of me going against Gosu Hoon. Oh no, Gosu General, and it wasn't even me. It was like some dude named Steph from the Philippines, bro. The man's was running I want to say he's running Gushin. That's like, dang, bro, what? Wheezy, what does high and dry mean? High and dry is killing spree on the assassin emblem that you use when somebody's solo in the lane, you do more damage to them. It's good on Fanny. That's what I swapped. I swapped from Festival of Blood on Fanny to high and dry now. I mean, everybody's running it now. Yeah, for me, it's just being transparent all across the board. Same name on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, in game. You know what I'm saying? Or I would change it. It's too late now. That's why I haven't changed my logo either. Shout out to Mark Anthony sneaking up on us. How you doing, my man?
When the things are not working in your favor, they need to know when to back up, and when things are working for them, they have to know when.
Shout out to Ryan Mark, sneaking up on us from the Philippines as well.
And on the note, by the way,
you going for your boy Kyrie? Think Kyrie's gonna take out our team?
Clay has always been a lot more reactive.
Onik versus the Valley, bro. You forgetting about Blacklist versus Echo?
Because he was playing defensively.
Lazy.
But on that Lunox, he wasn't.
Bro, there's some bangers today, bro. It is some bangers. This is like the pregame, you know.
Good chunk of burst damage coming in, both physical and magical.
But what's interesting on this is if the Valley can beat Onik, they'll be going against one of these two. So.
And deny that backline damage. So something like that can be actually applied by Falcon as well in game number 2.
Well, great points here from both of you, and you know we're already here. Few bans out for both teams. There's the third one for the first phase from Falcon. They're going to take out the Joy. Great choice here. The Eve and the Carry. Pretty much 3 picks that are better taken
Blue still
out,
walks.
right? Especially if you have this play style. And now you don't have to worry about the Joy just kind of causing havoc in the backside. And RRQ, they take out the Wanwan, they take out the Faramis. I feel like even Faramis is still kind of one of those picks that if you leave it open, you're forced to play against that Colt Altar, so better to take out the Wanwan. I'm wondering if it's going to be another marksman choice here. It's not. It's the Kadita for their last ban.
Kaj is open.
Yeah, Kaja is open.
Right now, and that is something that both teams either always ban or always pick. And Falcon is going to lock that in immediately. And I think this could definitely be huge. But you could tell they were taking a while with that third ban. And I'm guessing
that's a big pick,
debate, right? It's like, if we really want to ban this Kadita, do we give them the Kaja? What do we
Valentina. They're going to take Val. Valentina and Glue, possibly.
But yes, a lot on the line.
They take Kaja off of this. Watch.
Kaja lock in here, and from what we
Oh,
saw
Lunox?
from RRQ, and I feel
Yo,
like
Val's still open.
When I say refinement of RRQ, their playstyle, I'm talking about their macro playstyle.
Okay, we'll see how this goes.
Earlier,
They don't need to rush the Val now.
Falcon
I mean,
goes
it'd probably
in
be
that
banned.
aggression,
Nah, I
but
don't
if
think. Maybe not.
Can be said about RRQ, the fact that they've learned to deal with that push and pull.
I think Echo and
playstyle,
Blacklist will be for the
especially on
championship.
macro level, it's
I see some
apparent
stars,
from the
Weezy.
way that these games go. And
Why didn't
take
I
a
see
look
it?
at
You
Ken
did?
Here, this quote. I think I want to meet RRQ Hoshi
me see.
we are good friends. At MSC 2022, RRQ said they wanted to meet us in the grand finals, but it didn't happen. So now I
Yo,
want to
Facebook
beat
is
them,
trolling me. I
right?
didn't get a
So,
notification.
Strong words from Ken.
You did send some stars, though. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, my man.
Now we have to see, will he get
Making it rain on me, big dog.
This really benefits him. It is
I don't know. Normally it makes the sound to tell me, but I appreciate the stars. Thank you so much. God bless your soul.
And now with the Kaja,
That's
there's a
deep. God bless your
potential
soul,
for
man, you know?
so much more early game.
As deep as it gets.
RRQ, once again, going for that Lunox very
Zipic's a
early
rising
on,
gold laner.
can still be flexed
For me,
out.
not too much
Falcon
of
also
his
has
gameplay, but I like his
on
fiery
that
attitude.
is
That
a
boy's a
lot more
competitor. You
dynamic,
see him
a
after
lot
matches
more
when they win.
AoE and burst damage compared to a Clint.
But keep my eye on Zipix.
I think I'm wondering with this hair.
Yeah, Hoon had
Honestly, I just feel like it's going to the gold lane.
an infected tooth and got food poisoning as well at the same time. And he's still sick, but he was able to take medicine and kind of hang in there to be able to still compete in person. So I think he's going to do the same thing again. Food poisoning sucks though, man. That's not something that you can easily get rid of. I have food poisoning. Man, I hate that. I watched your stream almost the whole night yesterday. I appreciate you, Mark Anthony. Thank you so much, my man. God bless.
Now, the Lunox pick, right?
Probably
Up
Diggy.
front, they don't waste any time. They pick it up. They had a great game with it last time. How do you feel about it?
Nah, I don't think Diggy.
Lunox is, I mean, the damage, the burst potential is always there. One thing that I like most about it, and I feel like it's a little underappreciated, is just the brilliance relationship with a lot of.
Is this
the
Kaja
way that
Ronin?
you can have that advantage in terms of those early skirmishes, those fights. I mean, a lot of the times you can bait out.
Could it be could it be Benedetta
going
here?
Back to macro playstyle and even on the micro level, that's usually what we.
They need a
see
mage,
here, I
though.
mean, from
They need a
teams
mage.
At this point in the knockout stage, so Lunox still a solid choice. but
Lilia.
even more so. I mean, you've got Glue, you've got Grok,
Lilia
you've got
and
that
Claude.
front line, pretty much
Oh, is Claude
under control,
banned?
not to
I might be
mention
tripping. No, he's not.
you're
Lilia and
missing
Claude.
some crazy things just to
Might be a
load
good
from
pickup
Grok,
for
the wild charge
Falcon.
setups, or even the split from Glue. So already the first three choices are solid.
That's
here for
yeah.
RRQ,
It
whereas
could
I feel
work.
like,
I think
again,
Lily and Cloud
Falcon
would be okay.
specifically, you
But I don't know if
rely on
Naomi's
the
running
Kaja.
that Kaja roam.
You're relying on that pick potential, that divine judgment, and
Could be
and
flexed.
if you have to use it defensively for a peel, then you don't have that advantage anymore. So you want to be able to match that up right now. If this is that Harith, most likely going in the hands of ZipX. We've seen Harith.
Weezy,
fall
what's your
off really
prediction?
early on if you can't get
Onik
those
versus the
kills,
Valley?
And then you're just left with pretty much Zaman Force, you know, bouncing.
Not gonna do it.
Back and forth, and your damage
I
just
want the
isn't
Valley to
there.
win. So my prediction is the Valley wins, and then they beat whoever out of these two teams wins this series, and then they get a chance to beat Blacklist. Because I think Blacklist might lose to Echo, maybe. If Blacklist doesn't lose to Echo, it's gonna be a tough road for the Valley. But if the Valley beats Echo and Onik, oh man, nobody can say anything, bro.
Three bans onto Justin, the main playmaker, and you have to wonder right now. In
But I honestly, it's gonna be a lot of votes toward Onik over the Valley. Of course, they got a bigger fan base. I wouldn't say not necessarily a bigger fan base, because honestly, well, maybe, I don't know, bro. Zane got almost 1 million subs. That man's got a fan base of a whole team, just himself.
What does Justin go for here? The Kadita.
But you know, there's a whole region behind
Farza, the
Kyrie. So I mean, it's Kyrie, bro.
I don't think
You know.
there's any more like zone area heroes. Of course, the Harith.
That's fair. What's up, Neil?
Over, but definitely limiting down there onto his hero pool.
I think the only thing that I'm thinking of is maybe Lilia, right? But
That's what I said, Lilia and Claude.
I guess
It's going to be Lilia and Claude. But they're going to take Claude away from him. Oh, no, they can't do Lilia and Claude. I'm tripping, bro. Xyp9x has Harith. It can still be Lilia, though.
Between baiting out ultimates from RRQ, because that's what we talked about with Brilliance from Lunox. So if you have the Lilia, you have that Black Shoes, you can hopefully, if you can, juke
this is hard.
Advantage, because then you fall back on that Kaja pick for the Divine Judgment. Still, a lot of it relies
I definitely
on
think Lilia will be
what else do
picked
you
up,
have?
though.
You know, can you, because it's great if
But
you
roam-wise, I don't know if
but you don't have
Naomi's going to lock that
follow-up
in as the
damage
roam.
to actually get those kills. That's where you struggle. So even more so, RQ goes again with this durability route. Not only do they have Glue and Grok, but now they have Frederick.
Now this is a bit troublesome for Falcon, because previously RRQ, they don't really have the strongest of front lines.
Harith can, this would be good for Harith possibly, though.
With full defensive items. And now it's a complete contrast. They are the ones with 3 heroes, and Falcon will be the ones trying to attempt to actually crack through the front line, and that seems to be their exact approach. Having the Harith, Granger, and Lilia, a strong mix of burst and DPS from multiple sources, right? Physical and magical.
So,
and in the late game with items,
Granger jungle?
Justin can definitely melt down multiple heroes at the same time. That is the
Yellow
power
Flash gonna swap.
of the quote-unquote DPS of the Lilia. But for RRQ, there you go.
Yeah.
Three solid frontline heroes, 2 very solid backline characters. It's gonna be a front to back.
I will say the problem though with Falcon when I look at it is very all or nothing here. High risk, high reward. Yes, lots of damage in your jungle. They're gonna flex that Martis over to the EXP lane, but also a little bit squishy. I feel like in the early game with the Lilia, they will have nice wave clear. We've seen how
Lilia would be nice, the Harith would be nice, the Granger can get the damage, but it might be the same story we saw with the Valley when they try to pull out Granger. The neutral objectives is when it becomes a little harder for Granger to rush in and close in on these objectives. But if they can pull it off, man, I don't know.
It had a great start, but eventually it fell off, and same thing went.
It's just because he couldn't find a way to the objectives. I want to see how they play this one, though.
Do we see it being used during the RRQ Blacklist game? Perhaps.
We might have. But
There's
anyway,
so happening.
we're going to load into the land of Dawn here and just see how this game unfolds. Again, RRQ up 1 point in this best of 5. Can Falcon even the odds here?
There's gonna be a killing spree on Ken with that Granger. I mean,
I like
he's used it
RQ's
before.
draft a
We've
little
seen that
better,
he
though.
is very good at kiting back, in particular, using this Granger. So considering that they're up against 3 very tanky frontline heroes, that DPS is definitely going to be coming in handy. But the Purifiers, you can see from the side of Falcon, will be critical in ensuring that Xyp9x and Justin...
Lilia might not have free mid lane Prowl. Lunox plus Grok. Swipe beats Lilia is clear. So their early might get snuffed.
So this is something that they have to keep
That's a
in
good
mind
point. Ooh.
No. Well, I was wondering about that matchup, you know, the Martis versus Glue matchup.
It can
and how that
easily
would,
work, but I don't know
pretty
what
much
the...
play out. But, I mean, he's going to have the advantage. But look at the rotation here. Naomi and Ken making their way to the bottom side for
Martis,
R7.
I don't know.
Gets the information. Now,
That Glue just... R7 is a god, though. R7 is a god.
We've seen some amazing gameplay from the hero
There you
alone
go.
in different hands here. But what we have... what we've seen.
He's gonna have to get radiant armor, bro. And dominance.
Good start. Granger kind of falls off a little bit to the point where even the ultimate it's either you get that last killing blow or it just does no damage.
What do y'all think Martis is gonna go?
Tanky
Tank?
boys from RRQ.
Do you think he'll go Cursed Helmet? Or do you think he'll go like BOD?
Yeah, but Ken doing nice
Or sustainability with endless battle and full tank items. I really want to see.
Falcon needs to at least wait for that, or at least wait for Justin to hit level 4 till they can really push the aggression.
I'd beat the brakes off of Vidairoth with Martis.
That's definitely something they can try and attempt. They can be a lot more risky.
Because as soon as Martis rushes in, you just skill to him. 3-piece combo, get out.
It's a very ability.
But if you get ganked, you're pretty much done zone.
It's dangerous, and in the mid game, it's going to be very strong. But in the late game, Skylar on this Beatrix will be out damaging him quite a bit. But in the early game, though, that is where it's dangerous for RRQ. You can see.
Oh! Does he have flicker? Oh, he doesn't have flicker.
R7 able to get away,
Yeah,
and that
forced
is
it out.
Very important for RQ. As long as they don't let Ken pick up these early game kills, it'll be very good for them.
Yeah, right now, first turtle of the game going to be up here. Both teams just trying to get that advantage. R7's going to make his way here as it ensues, but Yellow Flash looking for an opening as well. Ken waiting patiently, a lot of poking going on. Here they go.
Nice retribution onto R7. R7 gonna get dragged back in. Vin trying to find it, just can't. Justin picks up Vin and R7. That is huge. Albert, though, walks in and takes the turtle with ease. No sweat off his back.
That is 2 kills traded for the turtle.
They needed that turtle,
In a
too.
way, it's not the
Evened
worst
it
of
out.
trades,
It
but
evened it out.
definitely, I think, gonna be a bit of an advantage for Falcon in the early game, man. These heroes, the Lilia in particular, is just so strong. Building towards an enchanted talisman, not quite there just yet, but the cooldown boots you can see, Falcon is gonna be very ability reliant, and the longer the game goes towards that mid game, RRQ, they cannot be as reckless as they were in game number 1, because if Falcon gets snowballing, this team comp is a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the aggression from RRQ right now, trying to get into the jungle. This is the nest, right? Back to the keys to victory. They are trying to invade the nest here of Falcon and work around it because, honestly, Falcon has to also pay attention to Skylar. If they can find picks up there, give that little bit of advantage to ZipX, that's best case scenario for Falcon, especially mid-game, because you want to allow this Harith to get online as fast as possible, has that mystery shop too, so you can really play around those power spikes, those timings, and anything here, Arashi, that sticks out to you in terms of emblem.
Festival of Blood.
As usual, it's no real surprise.
Trying to
Everyone
spell
wants
vamp
to go
Martis.
for a bit more movement, but afterwards you can see an Avarice emblem being used by R7.
I run high and drive
You know
Martis,
that
and then I
lane
put
is gonna
on
be
I put on
scrappy. He will
Bloodlust
have
Axe for the spell
opportunities to
vamp,
try
but
and just whittle down the
I guess
HP
it saves.
bars of
He's
Yellow
not gonna
Flash.
build the
So making
Bloodlust
full
then.
use of
It's
that.
probably gonna go
So it's gonna be,
BOD.
a faster power spike as far as items is concerned for R7, and quick note, he has a sprint instead of the Vengeance, so this is why he was able to be taken down so fast in the previous fight. But this also
But the
means
weak
that
point
later
of
on,
Martis, if
he
we
can
build
stick
Blade
to
Armor
wherever
and
he wants.
Antic
Glue on
Kira's
his
shield, the
split
damage will
Literally
reduce
stick to them.
taken to
Exactly.
Martyr Staroth, have a higher
Right?
chance of a
that's
life
usually
steal.
what we see with just glues in general, but still.
I mean, you could just build
It's a good
Dreadnought.
point because,
You build
honestly,
Dreadnought and then
your
get
whole
dominance.
objective here for R7 is to basically do the same thing we saw him do with Joy, right?
Just depends,
Be
honestly.
just that annoying
Martis' basic
nuisance
his
for Falcon.
attack speed's
But
pretty
right
cracked
now,
in the
they're gonna
beginning,
go ahead
though.
and fight for the second turtle of the game, half health.
Naomi able to lock on to Vin once again. Yellow Flash finds that kill. R7 trying to get into the back line with the split. Albert does
That's
take
the
the
second
turtle,
turtle
though.
Albert took.
Naomi taking a bit of damage. Ken goes down. Naomi and
Not
Yellow
looking good
Flash
for
now
Falcon.
on the run. RQ responding fiercely.
That is quite catastrophic, man. Ken, the jungler, was the one that fell from Falcon, traded for Vin. This is the same thing we saw. Falcon, fearing the engage coming from Vin, targets him instead to ensure
Ken
that
getting a
there
hard
won't
time
be
on these
a big
objectives,
wild
though.
charge, but
And
in
he needs to
exchange,
translate it into
right,
kills,
they
I
leave
guess.
their members
He's got 3 assists, though,
vulnerable
so.
and out of cooldowns for RRQ to just punish afterwards. This is something that RRQ just really enjoys doing, and they're in Falcon.
Look
they
at
just
Glue, though.
adjust and do something differently. man.
Harassing Red.
Vin is ready to take the
I've been
ball
playing
from
Mobile
stage.
Legends since Benedetta came out. I'm not sure what
Looking for an
season that
angle
was,
here.
though.
Not sure if he's going to commit, but
But that is the
pressure
month I
alone
started playing, about
is
2 years.
Exactly what's working here for RRQ. I mean,
A little
even
over
around
2
the
years,
purple buff.
actually.
A lot of damage does come on to Albert, but he is a tanky boy along with Vin. Clay also being some kill threat. ZipX does drop the Zaman's force, trying to lock on to Vin here.
So I started the year with it when obviously M3 was out, and then now we're in
Also here
M4.
as well, but the disengage does happen.
So, I mean, this is the thing,
Like
right?
November?
Going back to that
November 2 years
Granger
ago?
pick,
What about
wanna
you?
have
How
it
long you
for
been
that
playing Neil
early
since
game
launch?
advantage. The burst should be there even in mid-game. But when you have this kind of a start, it's really tough here. And yes, these two are going to go at it here.
Oh, he
I don't
went
think
Hunter
anyone's
Strike.
gonna Go down, but still, it's a struggle for Ken at this point, especially because Albert now picking up that Radiant Armor. I mean, he's having a great game so far. Let's take a look at the items real quick here, Arashi.
Well, as you mentioned, Ken with the Hunter Strike, attempting to just get a lot more value, more chase, more slowdowns, and Justin now with the Enchanted Talisman, that's a lot of clear, a lot of DPS still. It only depends if RRQ actually stick around and crowd together for the damage to come through. And especially with the Radiant Armor completed for Albert, he's gonna be a lot more comfortable just staying in the pit, contesting those neutral objectives. It's what we've seen happening since the first turtle.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that Zipex is just getting pushed in right now in his own lane, it is very, very bad, especially for this next neutral objective, because Skylar can now rotate down. And with that sniper, going to bring Justin down to about half health. Vin with the conceal play, but mainly just opening up space, drops a wall. Ken does a nice amount of damage with Vin with a wild charge. Albert takes the turtle, and down goes Ken. Clay comes in, trying to do some damage. We do see Zipex drop some on force, but it's still not enough. RQ
That was a
taking
huge
flames
wild charge.
over the land of Dawn.
It's been traded again for Ken, and that is just such a sad situation. Trading the roamer for the jungle again and again. And as Nice mentioned, the mid game is where Ken
Mark is
needs to
stirring up
shine
trouble.
and show the power of this Granger. But
Aw,
if he
get
keeps
out of here.
up
Quit
like
trolling
this,
me. You
this
should have
is
seen my
not
fanny
going
cabling, man. It's getting
well.
good, Marcus.
RRQ finally increases the lead up to 1.6k gold.
Versus Fanny, next
In
on
the
my
midst
list is
of all
Ling.
that, they are still the ones able to find structures, turrets in the top and bottom lane. Falcon will slowly but surely lose control, and that is where RRQ shines, where they can set traps for their opponents in the bushes, and especially if you take a look at the items here, Skylar with the BOD, that's a lot of burst damage coming in from the Bandit's Rage or the Nibiru's Passion, so Falcon now needs to be very careful where
Oh, yeah, Choke TV, Chokes TV.
engaged on by Albert or Vin.
I've heard a lot about him.
Okay, hold on, Vin.
Very famous person.
Wild charge does come down. Vin, though, will fall. Ken now moving on to Albert. Albert getting stunned up, getting slowed down. Will get knocked up, able to dash through the wall, though. Naomi now trying to lock onto Skylar, but they find the distance. R7 with a huge stun onto 3 members. Snipe shot comes out, just misses. And now Falcon under the tower. No kills on the board other than Vin.
So that could have gone way worse for RRQ, but because of this lack of damage from Falcon, they weren't able to continue to follow up there. Now it's great. Ken was able to get a kill, right? Helps him a little bit in the itemization because earlier, before that, he was about 1,000 gold behind of Albert, plus about 2 levels. So, like you said, like we've been saying, he needs to be able to shine. There's the damage.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the Death Sonata
Naomi.
right now. Naomi trying to come into the backside. Justin as well, diving under the tower. Skylar tries, hits above, but cannot weave. Albert now moving on to Naomi. Naomi will fall. Albert, look for Justin. Death Sonata comes out, but still not enough damage.
Oh,
Justin
what?
Doesn't have the black shoes. Needs to try to walk away from this.
How did
He walks
Albert
right
not
into
hit
R7,
him?
Though. He's able to move, but he goes down. It's a 2-for-2 trade on the map.
That is so unfortunate. RRQ, they're trying to just make an outplay happen, but Skylar, as well as Vin, they preemptively use a lot of their resources.
They swap lanes
including
now.
The wild charge, and
Marcus
that is
on
just
top side.
patience being shown by Falcon, just juking it out, showing them different looks in order to just bait out those spells before going in. It paid off for them. They closed in the gold gap by about 1k, but now it's back to square one. RRQ contesting the Lord now without the presence of Zipex to try and benefit Falcon in this fight.
And they are going to hold down. We got to watch for Naomi hiding out in this mid push. One other thing, Falcon has taken a few towers across the map. Now they're all going to try to group up here. Vin brings in the wild charge. Naomi annihilated. Now RQ wants to move in. Albert able to take the Lord. R7 into the backside, but Falcon needs to try to retreat. Maybe they want to push in though. Zipex does dash in, drops the Bonds Force. Instantly deleted. The Redder takes him out. Yellow Flash will be next. Ken though does find Clay. 2 for 3 on the map currently as Ken and Justin
Not
need
bad
to
over
get
there for
away
Ken.
from this. It's a well fight, but RQ comes out on top.
Okay, they grab a couple kills there again on both sides, but you gotta be cautious here for Skylar. He's getting to the point where he's gonna start carrying the damage department for RQ. They've got that nice goal lead here. Naomi has
Skylar's a really good marksman too. I didn't even mention him.
The mid lane still. They also have to deal with this Lord marching on the top side.
On that point, Naisu, as you
he
can
went brute
see,
force.
Hunter Strike as well as a Malefic
Or
Roar.
Mortis.
So any kind of physical defense being built by Falcon right now is going to start getting shredded through. You saw the damage come through in the previous fight, and now with the Lord coming in, you can see that RRQ, they're sieging, but Vin also looking for a play.
Big wild charge with the flicker. Justin taken down. Samon's Force does drop. Albert on the front side.
That's Sonata.
It's a good play. R7 going to come back in. Yellow Flash wants to lock him up. Fresh comes in and R7 goes down. Falcon able to defend that push.
That's a 2-for-1 for Falcon, but RRQ with the Lord and the empowered waves pushing in, they were able to get so many turrets. So in a way, not the worst situation, but of course ideally when they're so far ahead, I say so far, but when they're 2k gold ahead against a team like Falcon, as much as possible, they want to reduce the amount of kills, the amount of gold they let go into the hands of Ken. Because we saw in that fight, that Death Sonata, especially to the squishier targets on the side of RRQ, it still does quite a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, it does quite a bit here. And right, this is your time if you're Falcon to step on the gas if you can, right? This starts with Naomi, find a pickoff, get that numbers advantage. You're still working against a gold lead here. Now you're able to get a couple more items like we take a look, you know, on the proper people here for Falcon. But at the same time, you still have to worry about Vin, R7, Albert just taking the brunt of that damage. And even if you focus on Clay, you still have to get past that brilliance. You still have to get past everyone to get to Skylar. If they can get Skylar off the board here, they lose a big impact on damage for RRQ. Now still, it's gonna be pretty much a stalemate until things transition in about 30 seconds for that next Lord here. But Falcon's gonna have to get more space on the map. They've got only 2 turrets. So right now, RRQ with a huge advantage in terms of space.
And with that space, look at ZipX.
I don't know. I feel like on Lilia, I probably would have went like arcane boots.
One more item. Well, at least 2 more items, actually, to get a full inventory slot. He is not too far.
Well, there's the
behind
Divine
Skylar.
Blade.
Exactly. That's a lot of damage still. This is a quote-unquote late-game Harith. He has the
I guess it's
items
full
available
CDR.
to be an actual threat to the tankier members, because remember, he does have a good amount of true damage in his kit. And
What
along
do
with
I have
that,
on my Lilia?
Lilia
I thought
with
I'd-
a Ice Cream Swan and a glowing one. That is a nightmare for these beefy
Yeah,
fighters.
that's
that
pretty
have
nuts.
Close distance that will take a lot more damage from the burn, the percentage HP damage coming in from the glowing wand.
And it's a very well amount of damage distribution as well. You have a decent amount of magic damage, a decent amount of physical damage with Ken. So RQ has to decide how they want to build throughout this mid phase. Vin is going to miss that wild charge. Actually, he does land on to Naomi, but Naomi able to get away. Albert holding down. ZipX goes down though. Albert finds it. Justin will fall
that's
back.
huge for RQ.
R7 gonna keep on moving.
Huge.
Skylar picking up a double kill, a 3-for-0 trade, and a Lord over to the side of RRQ.
It's the same thing that happens to the Valley.
Very tough situation to
These
be
neutral
in for the
objectives
South
is where it gets a little
Falcon.
tricky.
RRQ is very good at this. They know you have your death timers still on cooldown. They will push and try and get as much as possible. And even once Falcon members respawn, they still have to contend with the Lord coming in. And with a Beatrix on the side of RRQ, they can just very slowly but surely siege down these turrets, and they have already begun to do so.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and lose that mid inhibitor turret here. Also the top one being whittled down. They've got to deal with the Lord as well. Falcon in full defense positions here as RRQ gonna put their eyes on the bottom lane as well. Still a back and forth between both teams. Falcon looking at Naomi here. Can he find anything?
Oh, Vin will get suppressed here. Yellow Flash comes in, gets a few knockouts, but Naomi's deleted along with ZipX. Ken with the Death Sonata able to find Albert, but they locked onto the base. They need to do something quick, trying to defend with all they can. Push the minions back, get them away because RQ's trying to end this. RQ gonna readjust the situation. Skylar able to clear waves. They have another wave of minions coming from the top side. Do they want to re-engage here? Skylar still at full health. Ken, Yellow Flash, and Justin all alone. Yellow Flash gonna try to move in. RQ with the dash and the darkness. Ken will go down. Now the base is gonna get focused in. Skylar shredding through, but no minions there. Vin finds a wild charge. Naomi does get knocked up, but Yellow Flash is here as well. Skylar forced to finally retreat, but another
He missed the decimation. Yellow Flash took out Clay.
Misses, and Falcon lives to see another day.
RRQ, they just stayed a bit too long. They want to try and end the game right there and then, but unfortunately, the waves have been cleared by Falcon. They knew what they have to do, and soon we'll take a look at a replay. That was a very chaotic chain of events. It all began with RRQ going for a good fight. They got the pickoff, they get the members low, and that was an insane snipe. And off the bat, Falcons are already on the back foot, but afterwards, right, despite how dangerous it looks, RRQ understand that the members of Falcon have a lot of burst damage, so Skylar was unable to actually move forward and end that game, and now they are back to just waiting for the next Lord, because of course for both these teams, that comeback is still a very serious possibility.
Smartest staying near full
Well, I
tank.
mean, even looking at the items, right, you just need a little bit more time for Falcon to at least have the full items they need, right? At least across the board here. Now still, there was a great defense coming out from Falcon in the base. I mean, even Ken able to grab a couple kills. At this point, again, like Granger's damage is kind of, is it there? You know, unless you hit the right targets, but still, you can see this from RRQ. They're pressing every situation they can. And a lot of it is, again, Skylar and Clay able to just freely be in the backside. And even Clay making those decisive decisions to flicker in, get those Chaos Bolts off. it shows just how strong RRQ is right now. Now that this Lord is for the taking, Falcon has to contest this if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, they have no inhibitors right now, so they definitely have to contest, but R7 comes in with a big stun. Finn gonna get that wild charge off. Falcon now on the run. Zipbax drops Blon's force with a
Yeah, they're
little
about to close this out.
misplaced
They can't.
there.
This is the
R7
problem when I have a
distracts
Granger when it
RRQ.
gets to these objectives. You can never close the distance.
Oh, Ken, very low. Ken goes down. Vin
Goes Granger.
with the immortality, but Falcon now on the ropes. All of them low health, and a Lord coming soon.
Just like the joy, R7 does it on the glue in the same fashion. And
Send
it
them
works
back to the
so
base
good.
for the Renner's empathy.
RRQ. You understand that the main damage threat is going to be Ken on the Granger. They sent R7 after him, and during that split when he was mounted onto Ken, he preemptively placed the Slam to ensure that he can pull Ken back, and now RRQ are going for the kill.
Yeah, the Lord's gonna come in. They're gonna try to defend Yellow Flash, getting a couple decent knockups there. Black Shoes does pop for Justin. R7 trying to defend. Lord is locked on. Base getting chunked. Trying to defend, but this will be it. RQ takes game number 2.
Wow.
Match point. RRQ here. What a performance. Still a pendulum between these two teams, but this time, RRQ again just coming
That's
out
pretty fire
stronger.
game.
I think their composition is just
RRQ
so
got
much
2
stronger in
on the
late
board
game.
so far,
It's a
man.
bit of the
Nuts.
same situation. There
Literally
are moments
nuts.
where Falcon were able to get an advantage, but afterwards, RRQ just find that single moment, they get 3 kills onto Skylar, and just like that, that Beatrix damage in the mid-game, that was insane, man. 2 hits with the Nibiru, and you're just so low already.
Yeah, and Zipx had to get so close to be able to try to put up a fight. And by the time he went in there, Skylar readjusts positions and wipes him off the map. Look at them, another clean win for RRQ.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what other adjustments have to be made here for Falcon, but even that Harith pick in the gold lane, it just struggled because
Bye-bye. It's not over yet, Marcus. Best of 5.
Advantage. You know, you want that early kill.
Best of 5. They need one more. They need to take one more.
Didn't work out for Falcon.
It did.
Now they're facing match
That'll be
point
bye-bye.
for RRQ. But before we have it breaking down further, we got to mention again that M4 Battle Night, it goes live this January 21st. Expect
Marcus,
loads of
why you
events
pinned that
and
comment?
awards
What
for
you doing?
grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like most from the chest, and aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches, and you'll get Team Star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP.
I need to make a video on how much that Dairos
Free
skin
access
costs.
to all heroes, and loads of epic skins will also
Yeah,
be
that was CZA
available
Moon's
that
comment.
every day. Save the date, log in the game on January 21st.
It's all
Enjoy
good,
the
though.
match,
I
and
unpinned
tons
it.
of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including
My Mar
with your
team needs
friends.
to be
I know around
eliminated.
the world right now, there's
We
a
went
lot of
Onyx
watch
versus the
parties
Valley.
going on.
Yeah, and
We're
then we went
getting
Blacklist
down
versus Echo,
to
bro.
the final
You know the
few
vibes,
days
baby.
here, right? This
You know
is-
the vibes,
stakes
baby.
are high at this point, and even more so if you're a
That's your
Falcon
next
fan
baby
out there.
mama.
This
CZA Moon.
possibly going into game 3.
Okay,
could
Marcus.
possibly be the last game. They have to be
Good
able
luck
to
with that, man.
adjust, and they don't have much time to do it, right? They've got to be able to adjust and get ready.
You
for
gonna
that
give me a,
next
oh, well,
match
you
ahead
said
of
baby
them.
mama. I'm thinking you said wife.
Hopefully not
So send me
the
invitations to the
final
wedding,
match
man. I'll
for
be your best
Falcon.
man, all right?
I'm really hoping they at least bring us to a game 4, maybe even stretch it out and bring us all the way to a game 5. I mean, I think they really just need to change up the strategy. I would have liked the Martis in the jungle personally. I think they tried to switch it up and be different, but it ended up working against them there.
Well, also on your screen right now, there's a QR code. We would love your guys' feedback, right? The satisfaction survey, as Trex, that nice close-up there as well.
Yes.
Let them know where that QR is. There it is.
Right here.
There it is. Go ahead and scan it and let us know what you guys are feeling, how you're enjoying this whole M4 experience here, because it's been amazing up to this point. I mean, again, I think even as us as casters, we collectively agree that this is probably the most exciting M series that we've had. I mean, all of these teams coming out swinging.
My D,
and when it
Weezy,
really
Marcus,
comes
hopefully we'll
down
be able to play with
the
you guys next time.
nitty-gritty,
Invite me whenever you go.
see it
Okay.
in the drafts and the gameplay and how everyone is adjusted. I mean,
Oh,
what we
yeah,
saw in
trash
the group
talking. Oh,
stages
man, what is
up to
going
now,
on
it's been
today?
Simply amazing.
I mean, even talking about the adjustments, you can see that
Ooh, music.
Falcon was doing some interesting things, and maybe our friends at the analyst segment can do better at explaining it. So guys, take it away.
We'll take it away right here on the Analyst Stand. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mirko, Assassin Dave, and Ulf here back on the Analyst Stands for the second game of this series. And man, we have a lot to say. I think starting with the draft, I think it was a bit too non-flexible. It was too solid.
Yeah, it feels like Falcon set up the game plan before the game even started, right? Like they wanted to pick the Granger, and you can see.
I think the Granger is just a little hard. The Granger's kind of hard to close in on these neutral objectives. When you go up against the beefier composition, when you have double tank, you have a glue, you have a grok. They're already closing the way for you to be able to find a way into this objective. Not to mention you're going up against a Fredrin jungle as well, who's not only beefy but has disruption. And I think it's just too much. It's too much for the Granger to get in there, and if they do go to the Granger, they need to have something that provides a way in for the neutral objectives. If not, take the side lanes, maybe trade off these neutrals for turrets and get an early finish, and then it could work out. But when you let it go to the late game and it starts becoming a neutral objective battle for these lures to close it out, sync lanes, and end, every time I'm going to give it over the beefier composition than the Granger jungle.
Side of the map. Even when this is like their comfortable picks,
you know,
they just can't win against the sheer firepower of RRQ HOSHI.
I think the main problem for Falcon was, again, they wanted to pick the Granger. They really set up for the Granger, even though they knew they were up against a Grok. A Luna,
right.
Two heroes, they could really just smash that back line, and on top of that, the glue, right?
So the Fredrin too.
I mean, in the game itself as well. There was no way you were gonna melt those members down on a Granger. Maybe early to mid, but once it got to mid to late, no.
Hey, I gotta give credit to Ken.
Like we just said this, right?
This guy was popping off, despite all the difficulties, all the die potential come up.
Oh yeah. I mean, typically Grok, you're running high and dry side lane Grok, but not when you're roam. I think roam's you're still running support emblem. But you can run weapon mastery. If you're not trying to be quick bursty, but you want to be that sustainable XP laner, a lot of people are running the weapon mastery Grok too.
He's very active.
But Granger pick as jungle, not bad though. But the RQ lineup, it's a bad idea. Yeah, it doesn't. It works if they had a way for him to get in. What was their way for him to get in? A freaking Kaja who can grab one person? The Martis, you relying on the Martis to use his mortal coils to keep everybody at bay? It's just not enough. Not enough. They didn't have a pathway into the neutral objectives. And like I said, glue with the split, easy way to get back. Pressure Ken, he can get the split on him, and like you have a glue, you definitely don't want a Granger, bro. Definitely don't want a Granger. What's up, Infamous? How you doing, brother?
Any influence at all during those team fights.
Which is interesting, right? Because the way they drafted their composition is for that gold lane pressure and also the mid lane. Remember, they had the Lilia, they had the Kaja. Wave clear is not an issue for them. And especially with the Herod later on, you would expect him to get a lot more pressure done. But unfortunately, like Wolf said,
I gotta get my caster's glasses, you know what I'm saying?
But here it is, the MVP for game number 2. It's
Skylar! Boom, 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 boom! Hoss-Claws. Beatrix Hoss-Claws, baby. Sustainability, baby.
1 and 4 on the Beatrix.
Man, I had it all.
One thing that maybe we cannot see through the stats that you're looking at is his accuracy with the render shots. Yes. The ultimate was nerfed, by the way.
No more tomorrow. Blacklist is the second feat champion M4. Oh, you think they're getting back-to-back, huh? Two-time champ.
Why not taking out a Vengeance? You know, because when you go against someone like Beatrix, Vengeance is a must-have. You know, in the late game, he doesn't even have the sustain to go to the backline to pose any threat to this marksman, which allows Skylar to even shine brighter and better in this particular game.
You know what? That was actually pretty interesting, right? The Vengeance. That's an option that they can go for, especially in the lane matchup. I think he's still opting to go for the Purify because of how much CC there was on the map. But here we're going to see the heat map for Skylar, the gold laner, who is so active.
Yeah, he's a good marksman too. You guys asked earlier some of the top marksmen for M4. I still think Benny Cutie is the best, in my opinion. Oheb pretty nuts too. Oheb and Benny Cutie top 2. CW. Skylar. Panda. Basic. Oh man. Nah, I don't think Basic's above them. Any of them that I just named.
And this also reveals the downside of the composition of Team Falcon, right? I mean, they couldn't give Granger any vision at all, and you can see Skylar here is able to roam around with the entire team. I usually say when you see the heat map for the goal lane, that kind of reveals the goal lane, the heat map for the entire team because they roam together. The team here.
Carl TZ on Bryn Esports M2.
From this incredible
Champions.
I think main thing I want to highlight here isn't just Skylar just yet because he wasn't in that team fight, but again, I think it's what Wolf said, right? The Lord Dance is just not going in favor of Falcon at all because of their positioning. Because early on, even here, they were able to actually get a few good trades, but they were just not in the proper position to take the turtle.
That's correct. You can see that even when Falcon is like winning some of the pickups, RRQ still manages to control the area and then eventually just overwhelm Falcon. This is one of the closer Lord Dances, but it didn't even look close because RRQ Hoshi just duly punished Falcon in there. And you can see that Skylar was freely hitting. You can see the glue being a big problem for Falcon. Nobody from Falcon actually can stay in front of RRQ Hoshi for more than a second.
And that's the Harith I was talking about, right? If he had a vengeance,
I love your stream. Appreciate you, Raymar. Thanks so much.
To begin with, right? If he had a vengeance, would be a lot better. Twice in his highlights, you've seen that he jumped in, he got one shot of out of Beatrix SMG, and it was just too much damage for him to take.
So basically, when they actually found out how to properly Lord Dance, it was too late. 4,000 gold lead built up by RRQ Hoshi, and there was not much you can do up against such a massive lead for a composition that was built for the late game, right? But Assassin Dave, Wolf, or Ulf, and Mirko, we're done here on Analyst Stand, analyzing game number 2. We're gonna throw it over to Mara and Clara with an interview.
RRQ Hoshi fans, we got celebrities.
She just hit 500K on Facebook, Mara.
Yes, the actress.
Oh, we're about to hit 100K on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. 100,000!
Thank you.
It's awesome, man. I appreciate everybody that's been a part of that journey. We're almost there. We're almost at 99K. Almost at 99K.
Aku suka Albert.
Albert. Role di in-game jungler juga.
Aku jungler juga.
Oh, he's jungler.
Respect Indo teams.
Albert. So you play
RRQ and Onyx.
What rank?
Mythical Glory.
Mythical Glory. He's pretty good. Okay, if you could compare your style to any of the player and you feel like, you know what? If I go one-on-one, we're the same. Who is that?
Absolutely Albert.
Wes, Albert nih. Bukan kaleng-kaleng.
Ya semoga ya, tapi sepertinya teman-teman bilang seperti itu.
Kata temannya.
Congrats, Wheezy. I appreciate you, my man. Easy Wheezy. Man, I don't know if it was easy, but 2 years. 100K, I'm pretty proud, man.
So far for you, it's been a few days, and now they're battling to make it to the finals. What do you guys think about their performance so far?
Indo's great, been a fan for a long time.
Kesini juga, Kak Selin.
Actually, ini benar-benar tempat
You're an Onyx fan, huh,
apalagi untuk kita kayak pecinta games dan
RQ Black Echo,
acara-acara yang seperti ini tuh
but GG's to a mega team. Chaknu.
Kebersamaan bareng gitu, akhirnya bisa saling bertemu.
Chaknu's an XP laner, right?
Aku juga sering lihat YouTube kamu main game.
I remember Chaknu, bro.
Jadi malu ya.
I'm pretty sure he's XP.
I know. Pro troller ya. Oke. Tapi how about you? Gimana kamu ngelihat pertandingan dari RRQ, perjalanannya, the journey of RRQ?
Wah, seru banget ya. Sempat di lower bracket ya. Tapi aku yakin sih kekalahan itu salah satu.
Oh, he's a tank. Oh.
Jadi,
I'm starting to remember him now.
I think you know what?
I feel like he had a nasty Kufra.
So what's our message for them?
I remember Chaknu. This is,
So they can perform better for
yeah, this was like last year though. I didn't watch your guys' MPL, so.
Maybe you want to sing some song? Maybe
Yes, nyanyi buat Kak Selin nih.
Oh, he is a Kufra god. Yeah.
Boleh.
Now it's starting to ring a bell. M3, right? They were in M3, I believe.
Lagu aku spesial,
Yeah.
liriknya aku ganti buat RRQ.
Special lyrics.
I think so. Were they in M3? Maybe they weren't. Yeah, they were.
Belum siap aku kalau RRQ
Dang, he can sing.
kalah, karena aku yakin RRQ kan menang. Kita dukung Indonesia.
Little Tae Yang. Y'all know who that is? Hey, he's good.
Wow. For sure, that's going to motivate them. So let's get this game 3 started.
Wow.
Casters, please.
What a great voice right there. And again,
I always watch your live
we're
stream during
excited for
NACT,
this.
but my bad. This is my first day
If you're
to
just
follow your
joining
page. I
us
appreciate you,
again,
AJ.
join
Oh, you
us
caught us
at
casting then, huh?
Rashi and
Thanks for being here.
holy moly, it's a series, right? I think we're all collectively hoping that it's not a
Wasn't able to watch the
at least
M3
here on the
tournament.
desk, but Still, time will tell as Game 3 is upon us, but before that, the M4 Pass is also upon us, and it's available now. Complete all active tasks, and you should reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now, exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, and the M4 Beatrix figurine.
And the M4 Stellar Brilliance!
MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great. Also, M4 Battle Night goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in game. First off,
I think they're gonna get swept.
On January 21st.
You think this is the final one?
Chest.
You think Falcon's going home, bro?
Aside from that, battle bonus also awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. Not stopping there. There's also free access to
me and Marcus, this is your peoples, bro.
Also be available that very
This is
day.
your
So
peoples.
log into the game on January 21st.
You better represent.
And win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including with your friends. With that being said, this is a crucial match point. Falcon needs to adjust here, Arashi.
We saw that in the last stages of that previous game. Actually, Naomi was able to adjust and find the pick of the Divine Judgment onto Skylar. But at that point, they've lost so many turrets. They have so many waves pushing in against them. So they have to try and get that kind of adjustments, that kind of playmaking.
RRQ too dominant.
Earlier in the game, right?
Go for Hoshi too.
The source of damage, the source of the problems.
I never forget the Indocaster. They said black hole to blacklist. Oh no.
Because if you wait till 15 minutes,
look at that Beatrix figurine.
You know, I said it in the very beginning before these games started.
Can't wait to get mine.
Naomi and Vin are going to be important to their team's success. And right now, Vin is finding the sets more. Naomi having trouble finding the correct target. Once again, a lot of those Divine Judgments getting locked onto Vin. Things of that nature, not finding Skylar. And like you said, by the time they do, it's just a little bit too late.
I mean, looking here, the previous game, the hero pick recap, I mean, even looking at the damage, right? It was there for Justin, and even Ken was catching up. Again, he had a pretty bad or a rough start, I would say, and that's something you don't want on this Granger pick. And I believe, Trex, you even mentioned, you know, you would have rather seen that Martis in the jungle. At least you have that durability, that utility there.
Yeah, I say the same thing all the time.
If we see actually can adjust for this game number 3, does he go something more along the safer route where he can contest those objectives, those neutral turtles, especially early on, instead of giving them up here? Because what we saw from RRQ even across the board was just a lot of everything falling into place for them. But again, on R7, the fact that he played that glue like he
RQ can't win the blacklist even though they have Filipino coach Arcadia.
For that too, if you're Falcon Esports, you got
They're only your people on NA server? Oh, okay. Is that how it is, Marcus?
Either to that lane matchup to be in your favor with
your Myanmar below the belt, right?
Allow ZipX to shine like we've seen him do before in this tournament up to this point.
R7 really seems to be the kryptonite of Falcon Esports right here, because we saw that in game number 1, it was...
All right, guys, into the draft. Is this going to be the final game, or do we see Falcon Esports taking one and getting a reverse sweep? How likely y'all think that'll be? We've seen the teams of Malaysia kind of had that almost happen, so... Maybe Myanmar could do the same thing.
Find something, have a solution for that problem, because it's been the same thing again and again. And it's gonna suck if it's gonna be the same thing for the 3rd time.
Yeah, I mean, it's do or die right now for...
Whoa, no.
They need to...
Ain't nothing, what?
One, you get crazy.
Why would I do that?
You get wild, but this time I think get back to the basics, keep it simple.
Here we go.
Do what works.
We're gonna find out, see what works.
Marcus is wild.
As we load it into the
all right, here we go, into the draft.
Number 3. RRQ gonna be
trying to get me on a controversial statement. That's crazy. Theramis, Kadita, Kaja, Carry, 1-1, Glue still walks, Joy still walks.
Falcon taking out the Marksman, still focusing there, trying to limit the options here for Skylar.
But I mean, it feels like it's
comes to
Skylar's
Joy.
already shown that whatever he gets, yes, of course, you don't want to let the one
Eve's still available though.
Carry out, but at the same time, RQ is used to them banning that, and Skylar has shown that he can play the Beatrix, he can even play the Melissa well. Right now, it's ZipX who's having trouble in the gold lane, and on match point, was this the right choice, Arashi?
Well, I think only time will tell, but for RRQ, they understand the requirement to have a secondary DPS. Just
Joy or Glue?
Falcon goes for those beefier frontline composition, because you see that they banned now 2 very strong marksmen. And of course, this Grok ban though, seems to be quite interesting.
Grok's been
Has
messing the
been
game
just
up.
been so
You can still run
annoying
glue
with
X,
counter
XP though. I
so
think it's a strong
tanky
pickup
on
here.
that, Grok with the crowd control immunity that Falcons finally said.
I don't know if
"That
Joy
isn't
is
a
really
problem.
necessary.
Enough is enough."
Well, I think so, right? You take out the Grok, targeting Vin here. They might lock in. Maybe they decide to take the Joy for Falcon. You know, if they really want to park that in the XP lane, there's still glue
I think they're gonna pick
available
up
too,
glue.
which we saw here on screen. And it looks like, yeah, it's going to be glue locked in plus the Valentina.
I like it. I mean, I do like it, and I think, yes, Vin was a major problem on that Grok, and as we creep in,
They're gonna take Joy.
You have to get a bit more open.
Joy versus Yellow Flash. R7's gonna pick up Joy.
Maybe start targeting a bit more. Make Vin come at a different angle with a different
Fredrin?
hero.
Joy and Fredrin?
Be the kink in the armor. Now, Justin wants
Nah, you need a mark. Probably good.
Game on that in game one. We still know he can
Oh,
be
I was
very
right.
good for it, but hold
Wow.
on.
Okay.
Because with that Grok being banned, you let the Joy through.
That is a. I don't know if
Scary.
I can say unfortunate situation for Falcon.
They planned
Claude.
it, but
Yeah,
still.
I guess they have calculated the risk.
the Claude up
to see
here.
if the math checks out. But
Only
with
problem is the
Joy, with
Lunox, but they'll
Fredrin,
still pick up
again,
Claude.
So flexible coming in from RRQ, and yet so strong. These heroes they have picked up, they can be considered trio picks as well as flash picks.
Oh.
So definitely not
Franco.
something Falcon want to go
Okay.
up against without preparation. But Naomi decides, okay, let's go with the Franco yet again. Given the right situation,
I feel like they still
it
could have
can
last
work
picked
out.
Franco. I don't think they
You
should have
just
picked
to,
Franco right there.
again, make
They
sure that
wouldn't
you
have been
understand
banned out.
There's a lot of DPS. There's going to be a very mobile hero in that Joy in the back line. What is the solution? Can they get enough stuns, enough burst damage, something to deter R7 just walking all over the
Oh, they're trying to go Ling.
I'm wondering if this
They're
is
trying to go an
almost
assassin.
too risky of a game to see Ken on the Fanny, right? Because I feel like, again, you have a Franco picked up, you've got Glue and Valentina. Valentina's going to be looking for the ultimates to take here and utilize well, but still, even if you land those hooks from Naomi, you need that follow-up damage because that's what
I don't
they
know if
lacked
Ling would be good
previously,
here,
right?
though,
You need
honestly.
to be able to get that kill and finish someone off because they've, up to this point, the past 2 games, they've really struggled with that. And so this also is going to be a big portion for ZipX specifically. The portion of the game where he needs to get the advantage in lane, transition to mid to late game, and really just kind of pop off here. So you can already see too, right? They do take out the Harith from RRQ, decides to take out the Harith.
Claude's
They don't
still
wanna allow
open,
that to happen because, I mean, in most cases, if Harith can get early advantage, get those kills needed.
They're gonna
on
ban
those
Claude.
shots, she's usually the one to just kind of, or he's usually the one to just
Or
pop
Beatrix.
off, but Melissa even banning out. So I'm wondering, with all these
Probably
marksman
Claude.
bans coming out,
Yeah.
what is ZipX gonna play here?
He's gonna pick up the Beatrix here, I think, unless the
They're gonna
side of
ban Claude, he's
RRQ
gonna get Bia.
decides to ban it. I feel like there's the plan, right? We ban out all these.
Oh,
marksmen,
Haya.
We pick up the Beatrix.
You have
first
Fredrin.
Here, possibly, that's my guess. And then what do you leave with Skylar? Yes, there is the Beatrix, and it's honestly a very clean draft because RQ almost worked against themselves, banning out that Harith, and Falcon called their bluff.
I wonder if Falcon's plan is to use the Wesker as a deterrent for all this dive coming in from RRQ. But RRQ also saw that with the
You can
Hilda
still
being
use
banned
Claude,
out,
though.
with the Melissa being banned out, that usually means that they want to go for maybe an assassin, right? Someone that can get pushed away by the go away and get really destroyed in the early game by a Hilda. But for RRQ, it's going to be a Kufra as well as a Claude. Skylar does play a very mean Claude, but we haven't seen Vin on the Kufra
Kufra.
that often. The final pick for the side of Falcon will be that Marcus though, and I think according to Trex's will, it might just be going to the jungle.
Good. I like it. I like it. I'm happy. Good job, Falcon. I definitely like it. I think the thing they're going to need to be careful, though, is that Joy, right? R7. He's a monster, and maybe they need to use Naomi as more of a peel for him instead of an engage.
Weezy, what
And
was your
they
job
need
before you
to
became a
keep
live
tight
streamer?
once again in last
I was in the
game.
army. I was a
Zipx
soldier.
would go in alone.
For
The rest
6
of the team
years,
isn't even at the
fresh
lower
out of high
yet.
school.
They get a little too split up.
And then as
If
soon
they
as I
can
got
stay
out of that,
together, then it doesn't
I
matter
became a
Joy.
live streamer full time.
I mean, not only
I'm
that,
still,
but
I
we
work
saw
with the
this
Marines down
previously, right? Same
as a
pickup.
civilian, but
the Joy and the Lunox complement
outside of that, I'm a
complement
full-time
each
live
other, especially
streamer.
when that Genius Wand is locked in here. The burst is almost too much to handle, so you've got to work around that. Falcon, they're going to be looking to get those.
It was the
hooks,
cook?
get the
Nah,
advantage
I was
into
the IT guy. I
fights,
work on
and
computers.
really just allow this time, hopefully, for ZipX to shine on this Beatrix. But again, it's match point here for RRQ. Can Falcon Esports extend the series as we load into the Land of Dawn?
Oof. Early on, let's take a look at a bit of the matchups here, as well as the emblems. Of course, R7 with the Mystery Shop and the Vengeance, already going to be such a nuisance. But you can see that in the early game, of course, it's going to be jungling as usual for Albert and Ken. But now,
all right, this match point.
We'll see if Ken.
Question is, can they close it out? And Skylar and RRQ close us out with the sweep.
Naomi has that extra bit of cooldown.
I like their draft better too. I'm not gonna lie.
Going with that Avarice emblem as well, trying to get a bit more of an early lead.
I do like the way Naomi's playing here as well. He's being a little bit more aggressive. He's not just following Justin.
I don't really
around.
see
He's
Justin being too much of a threat here.
That's what they need to do.
Well, they already get the flicker.
Oh, R7 taking a bit of damage there.
Can imagine you going to this content creator events. Let's go. I was in Vegas for NACTs, but I'll be in M5. I'll be there. I'm trying to manifest it all year, man. You know.
Right. I mean, already starting.
Believe in you. I appreciate you, Neil.
Falcon gonna be able to play around that.
RQ all day. Steven full endoed out, huh?
For early game.
Ooh, that is good.
You like Indo MPL more than Philippines MPL, Steven?
Yeah, he has like literally an invisible amount of HP. Only one. That's crazy. He has the Vengeance though, that saved his life, but he needs to be a bit more careful. Glue is a very strong laner, so he needs to keep that in mind when he's contesting. But I think right now, Falcon is having a better time.
Echo respect his potential playing using assassins.
Oh, Justin, Fraser comes in. Justin gets away, and these are the clutch moments that may pull Falcon through this early phase.
So they hold on to the lead here. I mean, that's twice now. Once for each team where someone got away with a sliver of health. So still, you can feel the tension here. Now, also, as we're taking a look at Vin, you know, this Kufra pick, man, from time after time on multiple teams has worked wonders. And so Falcon Esports definitely gonna keep an eye on that, but the fight for the turtle breaks out.
Yes, Albert getting a nice position over. Yellow Flash tries to get on the backside. Vin will get the Tyrant's revenge.
Something I respect about both of these teams is they're respecting freaking carry. A lot of teams like carry walk, and I never understand that.
Position. Albert goes down, and Naomi goes down. Ken as well, and Albert takes the turtle. I had a mislook at those health bars. It was Falcon that was getting melted. A double kill for R7. RRQ reclaiming the map.
It's like a 3-for-0 for RRQ plus the turtle. That is not how you want to have an early game.
Well, Naomi had Franco last time, and they still lost.
They just overestimate their capabilities, and RRQ,
we'll see though.
Again, with some very, I don't know, risky plays coming out on top yet again. This is insane, and they're already having a bit of an item lead, and they continue to pressure Falcon yet again.
That is not good, my dude, right? I mean, R7 getting that lead here, especially, they're still going.
Yeah, Ken very low. Albert finds him once again. That's 4-1, a 1,000 gold lead at only 3 minutes.
So remember, right? Okay, still going.
They're still going. Vin gonna get locked down. Zipx trying to find Skylar. Skylar hits that blazing duet and melts him down.
It's you know, it's crazy. They don't stop at all. And again, initially it looked like they were gonna lose, right? They lost the first blood, but it doesn't even matter. They just keep going at you. You just need to expect it. You cannot keep, I don't know, expecting something different. They just keep doing this. Nothing has changed in all 3 games they've been playing. And Albert right here on that Fredrin is just being more oppressive than ever onto Ken's jungle.
RQ Akira already got a really solid lead.
Learned maybe something in that matchup against Blacklist International here. He's playing phenomenally so far on this Fredrin, and I mean throughout the series as a whole. And that's the thing, right? You have Fredrin available to you, plus Vin on the Kufra. That front line and the pick-off potential, or the setup potential, rather, is really good here. R7, too, you know, the fact that he was able to get 2 early kills, even though he struggled in that first pretty much push in the bottom side, able to survive transition very well. And he's back to his comfort, right? This is what we saw from game 1.
Yeah, and R7 just going to continue to harass this back line, but a nice suppression does come down. Clay will be the
golly.
Rage. Yellow Flash and Ken now running for the hills as R7 locks on. The taunt comes on. Yellow Flash is going to land on top of him. Misses the dash. Going to have to jump off and get back to safety. R7 and Albert do not want to let that happen.
Oh! Naomi!
In his pocket, and now Falcon gonna try to make a move on to this turtle.
Amidst all that chaos, Naomi finds a chance to go for the flicker iron combo, and now R7 alone against 4 people getting taken out, and RRQ are still going for the turtle though.
Yeah, now Yellow Flash, Naomi, and Justin are going to try to make their move. Ken
battle.
is at half health, but Albert takes the turtle once again. Falcon having a lot of trouble claiming these neutral objectives.
Albert with the no there. You know, he's not going to lose that retribution battle here. But still, I mean, Falcon able to find a couple picks. That's crucial for them. They can still use that to their advantage, trying to get the pendulum swinging in their favor. Check out the M4 stats here. Falcon first blood rate, still, it's even higher now, right? It went up, 94.44%. But is it enough? I mean, again, when we looked at the team head-to-head, the fact that they had that statistic, does it transition into winning games? That's the big question.
As Zipek's going to bring out the Navir's Passion. Vin taking a lot of damage. Ken will find him. Falcon not going to press their luck too much. Go back to the jungle, recalibrate, rethink out situations.
For RRQ, man, they have to slow down quite a bit.
Glue and Enjoy are really good picks for both sides. It's hard. You don't want them both on the same team, but you definitely see them go against each other all the time.
Justin with the Terrify, as well as the Navir's Passion that we saw earlier, just decimating them, especially.
But I would rather have the Joy than the Glue.
And for Skylar on the Claude, he needs one more item to just
no.
reach that optimum.
I'd rather have the Glue than the Joy.
And that is usually at 7 to
personally.
8 minutes. So for now, Falcon still has a chance to try and push the tempo.
Well, he's pushing the tempo there. R7 in the nest here, right? He go ahead, pretty much just leash that purple buff for Ken here. But now, I guess the big question is, where do they find their moments? If you're RRQ or even Falcon, it looks like it's going to be reliant on Vin again.
Yeah, big stun. Get melted down. Skylar.
Now that's a set
in this game, putting him a little bit ahead of Zipex here.
You see the difference in, I don't know, the solutions? Because with the, oh, wait, never mind.
R7 getting deleted. Oh, Naomi misses the hook. I got a feeling it's going to be a disengage here. Back to you, Arashi.
Well, once it's back to me, the fight.
And able to get its own MPL. Well, I kind of, we have a thing called the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy, which is the closest thing to it right now. When we go every Monday through Thursday, we have teams compete practicing.
Yellow Flash cannot be as oppressive as R7, but now the engage opens up again.
Comes in, a lot of damage coming in. Vin getting melted low, but Naomi will be the first to fall. It's Yellow Flash on top of him, but they want to lock on to Justin. Justin using the Brilliant Assist to try to get away. Ken looking for something, trying to just escape, but Justin will fall. Skylar picks it up. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Wait a second, Zipex. Skylar doesn't use the dash. Yellow Flash does get the stun though. Vin with Tyrant's Rage knocks Yellow Flash up against the wall. Yellow Flash is a bulky boy. He should be able to walk away from this safely. Overall, the turtle does go to the side of RRQ once again, but it's still a 2-for-2 trade.
It's a small victory, but again, you have to wonder who does it benefit? Who has a stronger late game when they keep trading kills like this?
Still very close.
Especially because R7, look at him. It's the same story from game number 1.
The later this goes, though, the better and better it'll get for RRQ. You have that Claude winding up the later this game gets, and you're relying a lot on Zipex as Martis is going to fall off. Valentina's not really going to be too much of a threat. Glue's not going to be, it's going to really be this Claude that shuts them down. And then Lunox on top of that to burst down the Glue. They need to end this faster for the side of Falcon, and they're not. They found some answers, but
they are in a position. They have the tools they need to turn this
I definitely think the later this goes, the more in favor of RRQ it'll be.
You have Zipex picking up Malefic Roar. The damage is going to be there, so that follow-up from the Iron Hook, when it lands from Naomi, Zipex has to make sure he's there, meanwhile avoiding, especially Vin. You see him jumping around all over the map here. So at this point, 9 minutes in, Lord's going to be up here shortly. Falcon has to hold on the best they can, and it's going to come down to either that hook or Justin, but here comes Vin.
Ooh.
Vin wastes a lot, getting shredded down.
How did he not hit him?
Oh,
Naomi.
He'll go down finally. Zipex finds it. The seal play comes out.
Man, yanked him right back into the fight.
Keep an eye on Albert coming to the backside. Suppression does land down. Clay goes down as well. Albert now up against Yellow Flash. Justin holding the back. Zipex keeping his distance, trying to lock on R7. Dashing around like a maniac. Hits the ultimate. Zipex goes down with the 1-for-1. A beautiful trade. 3-for-1 currently on the map. Falcon finally winning out in a team fight, but Albert doesn't want to let it go down stale. Skylar also here. Albert will take the Lord pit, but he's going to back off. A nice win for Falcon.
Everyone's so low from Falcon, but the only casualty is ZipX, and that is taken at
That's not a. That's a win for.
life. So for now, Falcon is still getting a bit of an advantage. If RRQ cannot deal with ZipX,
They lost their marksman. How is that a good?
Quite a problem for them.
And that was a better trade for RRQ in my opinion. Yeah, look.
Doesn't land the hook. Will be the first to fall.
That was a RRQ. RRQ won that engagement. They took down their marksman.
Yellow Flash on the run. Zipex with the snipe shot lands on a Skylar, but he's still not down. Vin very low. The rest of them come in. Takes the first objective of the past 2 games. Able to take it a big win there.
Wait, who?
At what cost? 2 members down.
Wow, they stole Lord. Nice, Falcon.
Now with 2 members down, what can RRQ find in exchange for that? Because otherwise, that is still a very good situation for Falcon. They've equalized on the gold
That was a good
difference.
turtle. Lord still.
ZipX is scaling further.
Not the amount of
further into
players.
the late game.
The only
And of
majority
course,
of NA
RRQ can
people
very
are playing
easily
Mobile
dive
Legends and
towards
Magic
it,
good players that'll
using the
compete in the
joy,
pro scene.
using
Only
the
reason
quad as well.
PH is always at
But
the
there's
top
a
because
lot more
80% of the people are
problems
playing
right
in
now
ML.
with the crowd control being used
It's also been
more
out longer over there.
Falcon
Not
is
out
aggressive,
longer
and
over there,
they're
but
going
they've
for
had a stronger structure. We are getting a structure now though. It's starting to grow. It's starting to glow up for sure.
Will they keep going?
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We might be going into a 4th game.
Falcon now gonna move, take another tower away from
Possibly even extend it to a game 5.
Is red, boys.
They made a huge shift here in momentum.
Yeah, they did.
From that Lord taker
The
game,
tides have definitely
the work
shifted
you
into the
saw
favors of
earlier, I mean, even when
Falcon.
they grabbed and secured that
With that
the
Lord still over there
celebration
with
from
Beatrix
Naomi,
Numir's
they knew
passion.
that this would give them the lead they were looking for throughout the
Now the question
game.
is, how
But
do they
again,
hold
you're
on to
seeing
it? Like,
right?
can they maintain it?
Naomi
Because,
landing
like I said, the later this game
and
goes,
follow-up
the
from
better it'll be
Zipex
for
is
RRQ,
the
especially with that
damage is
Claude.
there, right? He's got, what, 3,
With
almost
Clay,
4
and
items
you're relying a lot on
this
Zipex to get the
Vantage
job
Ring.
done.
So as they continue to siege down the base of RRQ,
And once it's that 16-minute mark, I feel like you're going to see the tempo be shifted a little bit more for RRQ again. So I want to see Falcon kind of close this out now. They need to sink the lanes, take this neutral objective, be aggressive, and get the win. If they don't do that and they keep choking on ending this from here on out, RRQ is going to come back. I think the second option is what's going to happen. I think RRQ is going to come back.
So they can't lose Vin here, and R7, as much as he's been trying.
Vin does get the Tyrant's Rage, McKenna's there to help out. Yellow Flash will be able to back off. Skylar down very, very low. Zipex has great positioning on this team fight. Albert forced to try to walk away, able to hit the dash, but gets pulled back to the team. A lot of damage. R7 not able to invade the back line as usual. Albert falls. Ken picks up the
They
kill.
focused all that utility on glue. That's where they messed up at.
He's keeping his distance, misses the hook, but Falcon is
Focus
not
the tank.
letting up. This could be the tilt.
There's Albert is still not back on the land of Dawn, so Falcon goes for the siege right here. Conceal is being used, so it does seem like RRQ want to try and do something, but they gotta stop doing this, man. The whole shift in momentum happened because RRQ took a essentially 3 versus 5 earlier before taking the Lord. So RRQ need to understand that at this point, if you are down 1 member, or if one of your members get picked off, cannot just go with your initial instinct of just going back in against the full roster of Falcon, because right now, as you mentioned, Naisu,
They can't stop Beatrix now.
doing so much damage, and he has a lot more range.
Well,
compared
Claude's
to
gonna be.
Skylar.
I think
So
Claude will
he's
be
having
more of a
lot
threat.
success in this front-to-back team fights, because Skylar is not allowed to dive towards the back line.
They can't get to Beatrix though, and I think that's a good point. It's a good point made, man. They can't get to Bia. Yeah, Bia is definitely a problem.
So really, it comes down again to how does this play down to the micro decisions for this Lord dance. You're gonna see Yellow Flash do his best.
Look, they use all that utility, and then the split he just gets out. He's baiting them for their ults. Then needs to stop setting Yellow Flash.
Move on to Albert here, push him away, try to get some position. Ken will go down. That's retribution off the field for Falcon. RQ now going to try to make their advance.
Man.
Chip down this Lord. Conceal play does come in. Zipex
Iron
has
Hook.
to snipe out.
Bloody Hunt. Albert stole it though. Oh, that's game. Well, that's not game. Marksman got taken out. Oh no, it's Skylar's still in though. They're gonna take a lot of real estate. A lot of real estate. It's only Franco in. Nami about to, or Albert and Skylar about to eat this turret alive.
But somehow, some way, RRQ find a way to just turn it around.
These teams are gonna get destroyed by Blacklist and Echo.
And all was done due to the different maneuvers back and forth by RRQ. And now, with
Onyx would give them a run for their money too. It's just a little bit of slight mistakes. Like, I don't know why Vin needs to stop setting up Kufra, or not Kufra, Blue.
Skylar, right? He has that. He just picked up the Malefic Roar, but he had the Corrosion Scythe already. So
It's not over yet, though. They still can. There's a lot of real estate that's about to get claimed on the map from RRQ right now, but Falcon still has a chance to defend. That Lord's not going to be able to end the game.
It was too late. They got whittled down. They got picked off, and now they've got to defend.
But it is a shift in tide in terms of the tempo, leaning more into the favor of RRQ going forward. It's going to require one more Lord push or one of the sides being overly aggressive and getting a single pick off, which will give them either team the numbers to close it out. Zipix needs to be protected at all costs. Naomi, if you can get if you somehow, some way can get Albert, lock him down and take him down, or Skylar, then Falcon will be able to end this.
The whole time, RRQ has
But
one single method of approach. Jump on yellow flash.
If Zipix gets taken out, if Ken gets taken out, either way, it's kind of even for both sides right now. But Claude's about to start hitting like a truck. Here we go, 16 minutes in. This is what I'm saying. Watch. Naomi has to get Bloody Hunt on Claude. If he flickers in while he's doing Blazing Duet, I don't know, something crazy, stop that in its tracks and they burst him down, you'll have a free marksman, no marks from the enemy side, and that's how they're going to close it out. Either side can close it out like that, though.
Amazing team fights, and really, who can get the resources, or even, as Gideon likes to call it, the battle spell economy, right?
Yeah, Blacklist will definitely destroy both of these teams.
The flicker plays, even from Vin, when he pairs it up with the conceal, it's really tough for Falcon to respond here. And they're going to lose the purple buff as it's invaded, and right now, again, backs against the wall for Falcon.
Immortality picked up by Yellow Flash. Who else got Immortality? Franco.
And honestly, I do think that in a straight front-to-back fight, Falcon has found so much more success compared to RRQ. It's only
Claude's online now. He got everything he needs. Watch. Just watch Claude.
The front line of Falcon, where they can,
Both marksmen have Window Nature.
Make them think twice about using their ultimates, their battle spells, because the threats are coming from so many different directions. So for now, if RRQ can maintain this aggression, can continue to just confuse Falcon, they can just keep doing the same thing, and it might just pay off. But of course, this next Lord will be pivotal in deciding who comes out on top.
This could be a game.
Do not set the tank, Vin. That is what's going to mess him up. If Vin keeps doing that.
Know that they've got to stay alive here. Justin holding on to the Lunox ultimate as now Lord half health.
Watch Franco. Namo's going to Bloody Hunt Albert. He's not going to be able to retreat. Watch. Watch Naomi. It's going to go in on Albert. Oh, no. Who'd he get? Oh, he got Vin.
Justin able to take him out. This looks bad for Yellow Flash, though, brought very low. Zipix does find Clay. It's a battle for the Lord, and the heat is on. Albert very low. Lord very low. Yellow Flash finds it. A game-winning moment at that. Can they take it here?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game. Look at it. We're going to game 4.
They're going to push down the mid, send someone back.
They choked.
And the death counters
They choked, bro.
are blocking down.
What's up, Daniela? Going for Echo too? Okay, that's one of my favorite teams too.
Falcon marching into the base.
GG's. We're going to a game 4, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready. Whew. Falcon, man. When the fight goes in their favor, when it's a front to back, when Zipex is able to just constantly just output
They
that
choked.
damage, basic attacking again,
They choked that.
and again, that is where Falcon comes out on top. They show it again in a decisive manner, wiping out RRQ.
Come on, man, we just want to watch the
Game
Valley.
You know what? I love
Come on, RQ.
I freaking love Mobile Legends.
I mean, I just want to go back to the turn, the tempo, the pendulum here.
Bro,
At one
Vin
point,
was
as we
selling.
indicated, RRQ was up, what,
Kept
2K
setting the
goals
wrong
towards the end
people.
there, and the Falcons don't go down without fighting, right? They stick in it. They throw their best at RRQ. And you saw that team fight one after another. They fell apart, right? And it was those decisive actions from Falcon again, and that's what I like to see from Zipex, right? Give him a marksman where he can do exactly that. He had an amazing game on this Beatrix, and I'm glad. I know collectively here again on the desk, we were hoping for Game 4, Game 5. I can't wait to see what unfolds here, but we've got to have this game broken down even further by the boys on the analyst desk. Stan, take it away.
What a game. Oh man, we're getting a Game 4, and here on Analyst Stand, we're gonna break down game number 3. How was Falcon able to come back after RRQ came back from the comeback of Falcon?
I want to start with the draft, right? Obviously, the first thing you see different is this time, instead of having a Clint, we have a Franco and Beatrix. You saw the very last team fight when Ben jumped in by himself. He got two-shotted by the SMG.
Yeah, bro. No, Vin was the reason he lost that.
So this time, with the
Definitely Vin.
reflex and the body hunt and the ultimate, they turn the fight around.
You know, RRQ already had like the control of the game the first few minutes, even with the control of the turtle. You can see it. There was a big blunder, however, from their side when they tried.
I do need to watch Onyx, Indonesia versus Echo Philippines. I didn't get to watch it because it was so late, man. I had to get some rest. I caught the game before it, but I'm definitely gonna need to watch that one. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Live on YouTube. It's gonna be a YouTube exclusive one though. So everybody on YouTube, we do watch all of these matches for M4. So definitely tune in. Anything that we miss, we will recap. The only reason is because we are in NA and the time differences is super harsh sometimes. Especially when they put those 70-minute timers in between each series. It gets you when it's like 4 in the morning, you know?
Even after losing 2 games in a row, they're still respected that, you know what, we have Naomi, we have this playmaker. This time, why not draft around that playmaking skill with more burst to help him when he does go for the catches? Because I think in Game 1 and 2, whenever Naomi finds these crazy playmaking or crazy flashy plays, it never works out in the end because there's never enough damage to really burst him down and capitalize on that fact. But we are going to be taking a look at the items very shortly to dissect this game because there's probably going to be a lot of surprising items here considering it's 18 minutes and there was so much action.
Let's take a look from Beatrix perspective, right? You have the Blitz Spirit, the Hunter Strike, the Malefic Roar, and the last but not
You'll be wild in that series. So many legendary plays. Oh, dude, don't. You're already getting me hyped.
Anti-heal you have with the SMG.
You're already getting me hyped.
Never dies unless you just avoid all the damage like the Wintertron, like Wind of Nature, right? But when you don't have that on the quad, this guy will shred everybody and go back to full HP.
What I noticed from RRQ, as well as Falcon,
honestly, Vin choked that up for the team. I was not impressed with those last sets in the late game. Man, set glue like twice for the team, and everybody used all their utility just for glue to split, heal up, and get out. Like, literally twice in a row. I know, RQ needs to quit playing. We're trying to watch the Valley, baby. Come on. Come on!
So even when it's attacked, you can shred him through because he's away from his teammates, which meant that RRQ will lose a very integral part of their composition right at the get-go.
And looking at both of the teams right here, right, we saw the items. It feels like both teams have, oh my, wait. Everything going to Falcon, Rich Guy, the carry, Sandbag, and Forgotten One. But back to my point, it feels like it was the allocation of damage that was just better for the side of Falcon, especially in these team fights around the
it was just the
sets
sets.
in the later stage of the game. RRQ early on, how do they find so much success? The targeting from R7, Clay and Skylar. When they dove together onto the enemy back line. But
yeah, I know, Deku. I knew you see that. I was like, yeah,
and it didn't work
that's
out.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually Falcon who played it front to back a lot.
Whole Iron Hook was missed and everything. But we'll see, man. Next year, we got a whole year to come. Excited to see what it brings. We're only getting better, baby. Honest prediction on Valley versus Onyx. Onyx is a better team than them. But if Valley is one thing, they're definitely a team that makes the impossible possible, and they're a team that proves everybody wrong when they count them out. And that is what they're known for, and that is why it's very hard to say which way it's going to go. Because every time you don't bet the Valley takes over and they triumph. Which is why they're always going to be known as the wild card team, in my opinion.
cleanup coming up from the Martins from Ken.
Well, honestly, here we
But
gotta give the
on paper,
shout out to the MVP for game number 3. Justin
obviously
on
Onyx a little bit
Valentina.
better.
We actually doubted this.
Not a little bit. I mean,
Valentina.
Onyx is better on paper.
Ultimate steal away from the enemy team, but they picked it early.
I mean, CW is definitely a better marksman than Basic. Kyrie's obviously a better jungler than Zane.
Surprisingly, did so much damage.
Got a higher hero
This, I
pool
think,
than
is
Zane.
The main weakness point for Valentina in this patch, right? Doesn't feel like he does enough damage.
You know?
Right, absolutely. He doesn't have that much burst compared to some other mages.
Just how I
But look
see
at
it.
This guy, 90.3% kill participation. The biggest thing about Valentina is a lot of mobility.
But like I said,
It's
the Valley
self-efficiency,
makes
right?
things
This guy
happen,
can
man. They
spare
can pull
himself
things
while
out. So,
because he has mobility on top of the fact he has the flicker.
I wanna see how it
and
goes.
He has a lot of quad control that builds into it, right? If he goes on quad, it can kind of disrupt him from using that ultimate properly. So with that being said, let's take a look at the highlight, or actually the heat map of Justin here to see how this mid lane rotates. You can see a lot of focuses on the EXP lane in the early game.
honestly, Onyx is a strong team, but the Valley has to do the same as what Echo did. Ban Kyrie's heroes and it's GG. I hope the Valley wins. Actually plays against RRQ and King Kings.
Falcon is that first turtle? Yeah, let's give that to our opponents. RRQ, they have Fredrin, we have Martis. We don't have the best chance,
Yeah, Kyrie's a
best
problem.
shot at the first turtle.
Hayabusa, Fanny, Ling, you name it.
That's why they prioritize looking at the XP lane first before going back to the mid lane. Good adjustment coming from
That's one thing like a lot of teams don't have to worry about with Zane is they don't ever have to worry about a Fanny pick, a Ling pick. You know what I'm saying? He's a little more of a predictable jungle. And when he's backs against the wall, he's picking something crazy. Like he's known for the Barats, the Fredrin, the Karina,
Naomi always
the Akai,
everywhere on the map, but I think here in the highlights
the
we can actually use this to talk about
the
neutral
Granger.
control and mainly the turtle dance / lord dances, right? Because that's the main weakness for Falcon Esports, where they're very uncoordinated. You know, they're very messy when it comes down to those turtle neutral objective takes, and RRQ are able to punish them there. But
I have a bad feeling about focusing too much on Kyrie in the Valley, and Echo is a different team.
here, right? You're seeing it. The main mistake for Falcon was we're just not in position.
Well, really the Valley shines is from Chicken getting online. I think everybody else is normally has really good synergy, but it's Chicken that kind of determines how well the team will play on what he does in his XP lane. He needs to create that opportunity for the team. If he can do that, that's when the Valley skyrockets. If Chicken has a bad game, 9 times out of 10 they lose.
Now, I just want to go back to the focus of this combo, right? I mean,
That's a Blacklist? Bro, they're freaking scary, bro.
Absolutely insane. You saw
Kidding me?
how quickly every target
Most
was
impressive
hit
drafts.
after Franco issued the ultimate.
Venus on all the supports.
Are we gonna let Franco out again for Falcon? That's gonna be the win condition.
Wise going all the tankier jungles to counteract with it.
Right? They don't need to ban it. They can pick it away. Vin is a good Franco
Bro,
player
they're scary, bro.
But right
Oheb,
now, ladies
top
and gentlemen,
marksman.
it seems like we are
Edward,
at our end here in the analyst panel. We're gonna throw it
master
back
of his
over to
craft,
Dr.
great
Take it away.
Benedetta, great XP laner. There's nothing they don't have. Not to mention they have some of the best freaking coaches and analysts in the world.
And we're in a heated series here. It is now 2-1. It's
Got
still
freaking
technically
master the
match point
basics
for
on their team,
RRQ,
bro.
But can Falcon even the odds again and take us to game of 5? That is the big question here. And we all know it starts in the draft, right? You guys made a good point there on the analyst stand. The relationship between that Franco pick, having the Beatrix there, it's very similar to what we've seen with Kaja and Lunox, right? That's what we were talking about before. And so now
I didn't get to watch it. I didn't get to watch Echo versus Onyx yet. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. It was too late. It was at like 5 in the morning my time.
But at the same time, when it comes to play,
But I am gonna catch up on it tomorrow. But we watch all matches on our YouTube channel, so definitely feel free to tune in with us, man.
Does that first blood really matter?
I'm definitely excited to watch it. It's one of the most. That's honestly the best game I wanted to see was those two teams go against each other.
RRQ, First Blood alone isn't enough.
I'm more of an Echo fan
than
than Onyx though, but
3K gold lead. That
still
is
nice.
almost significant, and we've seen
Echo
them
did good, though.
use Such a gold lead,
Now they got to go up
try
against
and
Blacklist, man.
strangle their
Ooh, that's
opponents,
gonna be a
right?
good game
Burmese
too.
Pythons, we call them. But I mean, honestly, against
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
RRQ,
it tomorrow.
You see that even when they have
Live
a
on
gold
YouTube.
disadvantage, when they have a numbers disadvantage, they find
Make
ways
sure you
to
guys join my
find a
Discord
good
server,
fight.
man. So anytime we go live, you guys get the notifications. I appreciate all the subs, all the new subscribers on YouTube too, man. God bless you guys. All the followers on Facebook, thank you so much. Almost at 100,000 followers for Facebook. We're gonna have to do something crazy, man. For sure.
Stay protected, and if the Beatrix survives, you saw that in that final fight, he just kept hitting and hitting, and there was no real solution. So if they can try and find something similar,
The
right?
rematch
If,
Echo versus
solutions that
Blacklist.
works, and solutions to
Oh, you talking about from MPL?
I think they can very
They're gonna make them pay
convincingly win
for losing
against
MPL
Another
Philippines.
important thing you talked about the Franco is Naomi this time came online.
Yeah.
Right? Was actually landing the hooks onto the right people, able to catch Albert off, able to keep the tempo at at least even.
I would love to see you there on the panel. I had a chance, man. I was close. I was definitely top 4. They reached out to me. Trex got it. Honestly, Trex, for 2022, he did a lot more to get things started initially for the professional scene at MLBB&A, and that's why he's sitting at that table right now. And I do pay homage to it, and I respect it. I think he deserved it more than anybody, just for what he kind of did to kind of pave that way with the NASL and everything. But I was reached out to be on the panel for sure. But they could only pick one person outside of Assassin Dave, and that was Trex. So next year, you're gonna see me there. I am on the MPLs for NA, like NACT. I am a caster. Now I have my own kind of league, or I host a league. Multiple people that host it with me. Coach Deku, you guys seen, snuck up in here, is a part of that amazing team that we've created, and we create the opportunity for teams to compete. We cast it. It's called the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy. It's on YouTube. It's been doing really great. We even cast teams in the Philippines too, man. We're about to do something for Europe. It's super awesome, man. So definitely check that out too, guys, if you want to catch us casting on the MLSA. I would drop the link. Let's see.
Those are a lot of these little interactions between these hero picks and why they matter so much here, because Falcon kind of figured that out. Now, do they have another game?
I'll drop the link in the comments for everybody. But yeah, man, the show doesn't just stop here. So Facebook primarily, for everybody that's watching us on Facebook, usually I'm live on here to just play Mobile Legends, grind up and rank. I am creating a brand new team. My last team, we were top 32 in North America. We got taken down by Zia, prior BTK member, his team, in our MPL. But I did compete. I was a caster in that as well. In the MPL right around the corner, in MLSA live in the flesh every Monday through Thursday, and now we're gonna have events on the weekends as well that are cross region, which is super cool. But check it out, man. Our casting's on there. You'll see me in there. You'll see Coach Deku in there as well. You'll see a lot of we got the full 9 on there, man. Some amazing creators, casters, and individuals that make up the entire staff.
When Arch7 chases him all the way under that tier 3 tower.
But like I said, next year, nah, not next year, this year, baby. We are going to M5. I'm gonna say it every single day, manifest it. I'm gonna start buying my suits now. That's how dedicated I am, you know? I'm gonna start buying my suits now. Every month I'm gonna buy a suit for M4 or M5.
They have a lot of ways that can actually work out in this game. So
You think RRQ is still a powerhouse team?
Trying to adjust, try and find something different. And this is the scary part, right? Are they gonna try and go for?
I respect the way they draft.
Game, something a bit more consistent.
I think they're really good. Albert's pretty nasty.
The early game, because RRQ has shown that they can do both.
But
and right now, the draft
they make too many mistakes to be a powerhouse team past top. I don't think they'll be a top 4 team. They make too many mistakes.
Well, draft already upon us here.
Top 4 teams is Echo, Blacklist, Onyx, and RRQ has a chance to be top 4. It's either going to be RRQ or the Valley. That's my opinion on it.
This is kind of what we've seen, right? There's the
That's my opinion on it. But obviously, it can't be Valley and Onyx since they're going against each other. So I think honestly, RRQ got lucky going up against RRQ or Falcon Esports. I feel like this one was like the easiest lineups you can go against because like Onyx, Echo, and Blacklist are obviously the 3 strongest teams that you don't want to go against super early, right? So I think the way the brackets works for RRQ right now and Falcon, it's not bad.
They want that magic burst damage to deal with these tanks, man. Lunok is one of.
Let me move my camera though. That way we can see the draft.
And we saw them try that strategy again and again, almost desperately in game number 3. So it's definitely a core part of their pickoff gameplay, having enough burst damage to.
That's why I said this is kind of like the pre-show, because like, I mean, honestly, like, does anybody here think that RRQ HOSHI is going to win M4? Anybody here?
do the exact same thing. We saw it happen, and that's why the Franco...
Vin is, yeah, he's good at protecting. I do agree with that, but like the initiations is where his issue is, and that's why they lost. That's why they lost that game.
So something similar, right? And
you know,
a massive game previously from Justin here on that Valentina. So they lock it in. If it's not broke, you know, don't fix it. They can work around.
Yeah, McDonald, you don't think so? Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think. This is the farthest RRQ Hoshi is gonna go. They're not gonna win the next match. Actually surprised us. They RRQ didn't ban Estes at all. Maybe that is one of the reasons they lose. Oh snap! That's the Queen throwing shots.
Hold on a second. A little quote from Oh My Venus.
Yeah, pretty much. RRQ didn't ban the Estes, right? At all. Maybe that is one of the reasons they lose. That's some heated.
Yawi is the #1 initiator.
Yeah,
that Cho is sliding. Okay.
But, going back to these picks,
that's why it's gonna be a hard game for the Valley. And that's next, bro. Oh my God. That's why I was hoping they just got the sweep. Be real with you.
On those objectives, looking for that clean sweep of Turtles early game, and hopefully this time, R7 has an easier time on this Joy like he did, what, game 1?
Depends on the draft coming in from Falcon here. If they have enough damage to just threaten him in their early game, we saw that even all the way to the late game, R7 on this Joy wasn't able to just stand in the front, and with Naomi on the Franco again, that is a very threatening bloody hunt that can be used to shut down R7's movement.
I mean, I think this is literally the same exact draft
so far,
of last game. It's coming down to who's going to call the bluff, right? Are we going to just do both teams believe that it was just a skill diff, that it was just RQ feels
yeah,
like
I'm from America, if you're asking me, yeah.
Switch out the composition?
I've lived in Europe, though. My little sister was born in Europe. I lived in Germany for 5 years.
To just hint at the fact that there's a possibility that Falcon can go for an assassin.
How about the meta? Do you think Philippines is still dictating the meta this season?
So denying that potential lead game coming in from Zip.
It's
but honestly, we saw that
for World Series, yes, I guess, yeah.
And for Falcon, it's gonna be that Melissa yet again.
But when it's just regional, no.
With a similar ban they did previous game, because still what's left open.
World Series, yeah. I feel like I don't know, man. It's a hard question.
They could just be going for a
I mean, it's
pretty much the same draft.
like Philippines meta is not just like one thing, you know. Like you'll have a blacklist strat where you go with the support. You go with the support. You go with a tankier jungle, possibly a tanky XP, or then you'll have like a Cartesi type strat, an Echo strat, where they go just pure assassin, traditional tank. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe flex the XP tank and go like a support roam. Like it's not just one thing. I think you guys are very diversified. You're very diversified at what you guys do, and that's the thing. That's why like your meta is so strong. It's just so much creativity to it. Whereas like North America, for the most part, we're very standard, right? Like we pretty much pick the same freaking things the entire time until you get to a certain point in rank where like those assassins are gonna probably prevail a little bit more. These top teams like the Valley.
Talked about this draft last time.
I don't know, man. I just think y'all have more creativity so far.
We'll just fast forward to the Landodon, but no.
But I don't know. I gotta watch your guys' MPL. I can't really speak too much on it because I'm a little newer on the scene to the professional standpoint. I'm watching World Series and also watching MPLs. And that's what my plan for my YouTube is going to be going forward for all of 2023 is I'm going to watch every single MPL. So I know February you got Indonesia, February 1st, and you got the Philippines, and you got MDL all starting at the same freaking time. So we're going to try and attempt to some way catch every single match. But they're all at the same time, bro.
And I think still even in the jungle, right?
You know?
Where does that fall in place? Who grabs this first?
That way I can figure out which MPL I like the most. I think I like the Philippines the most though, just because Echo's there.
So many moments and movements that's gonna look so similar, so familiar to us, and it's gonna be very confusing, man.
Well, confusing or not, it's the same draft for the next game.
Do you think MLBB can have a properly competitive scene in America? We already do. We had one, which is the NASLs. That's why Trex is here. because he spearheaded that one. And now, from that, we have the NACT, which is our roadmap to M4, which is how the Valley got to where they're at. We have those twice a year, but now I think we're going to have them quarterly. So it'll be a little bit more often. I am a caster on those, which is super awesome. Shoot, maybe one day I might be able to do production on it. Knock on wood. But we definitely are getting it. We didn't have it 2 years ago, and now what we've had this year compared to what we used to have is insane. It's insane. So yes, to answer that question, it is finally there. But we had our first in-person event in Las Vegas. They spent over $1 million for Mobile Legends to create. The owner of Mobile Legends came out, bro. The creator. I got to talk to him and everything. It was pretty cool.
I think the biggest thing here for Vin specifically is
I call myself Brody, and I got to take a picture with the cosplay Wanwan and Selena. It was hilarious. I said the best MLBB trio. 2 marksmans and a mage. It's on my Facebook. You should check it out. It's pretty funny.
Notice the difference too. Yellow Flash running with a flicker instead of the sprint like we saw previously. He makes it work, right? But I do think that Falcon has this draft figured
Yeah, I've met Mobazane in person too. We've had a long talk, man. We hung out for a decent amount of time in Vegas and had some good conversations about like the progression of North America. He even personally asked me like what I thought he should do, if he should stay in NA or if he should go to the C server. He told me some of the teams that were asking to pick him up, and I gave him my input on that as well.
As far as the turtle fight is considered, right? Because for both these teams, they definitely want to go aggressive towards that turtle, and I think that's where we're gonna see.
NA scene major tournament before M series comes. Oh, we'll have it. We'll have it. Bro, that's why I want the Valley to win M4. Honestly, that's the thing. Like a lot of people want to see Echo win. They want to see Blacklist win again. They want to see Onyx win. But I'm like, bro, that's not really going to do much for you guys as a region because you already have all the resources, right? If we win M4, that opens up a whole league in MPL for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we would just get more. It would benefit our region more for us to win it than it would for the Philippines. You guys just get bragging rights. But there, you're just going to have, you already have the whole structure. We need the win to prove that the talent is there for the game to invest more into it. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody should be voting for NA to win this, just for the fact. You know? Could you imagine more teams from NA? Like, it's crazy, bro. It has to start somewhere, and if the Valley can win, that is a huge spike to get that going a lot faster.
Spend more time and resources to ensure that Skylar is the one snowballing instead.
Like even like if you watch the NACT, like our MPL was pretty lit, bro. Like that, we had like a Rolls Royce, like we had a lot of cool production into it, man.
I mean, everybody knows at this point Albert is.
And people loved it. Even people from the Philippines, Indonesia, they loved watching it. And that's my point. Is it's like that's a whole nother MPL y'all could watch. Now y'all can start watching MPL NA. Who wouldn't want to watch that? You know, that's a whole nother MPL on the board. That's 8 new teams. You know what I'm saying? You might even forget about Mobazane down the line and be seeing teams smoking him. Well, we can never get that if we don't get that far in this. So.
Vin goes down. They're gonna look for Naomi in the tower. Nice hook, and they find him. That's 2 kills.
It all starts from here.
Kills, and RRQ has no real answer. The early game from Falcon yet again showing to be very, very strong. The Beatrix and the Franco being a very deadly combo.
Facts that the Valley wins more and more. We'll play in the NA region. Exactly.
Waiting for the next neutral objective. Albert,
they'll have to give a good series with Onyx. They don't even have to win. Yeah, I mean, they've already done a lot, but if they beat Onyx, oh my god, man. I might cry.
Wow, look at that.
Tournaments get boring if one team will always dominate the scene. Yeah. Happy 98K Facebook followers, Wheezy. Appreciate you, Daniela. Almost at 99, baby.
Albert's gonna take his time this time, along with our.
Salute, my man. I appreciate you, Mark. Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully we can get it. Yeah, I'm just saying it would benefit us all, every region, if MPL NA came out. It would improve Mobile Legends. It's more content, more stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
The final moments of that fight. RQ takes the advantage.
That's a 3-4.
Plus, that would change my life, inevitably. Honestly, like I'm a caster, so if we got MPL, I'd be a main caster on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, we might even be able to get some more NA casters out there for the World Series. So like it just personally, it would. I hope they win, because that directly would affect my life. But I feel like it would directly affect anybody who's a fan of MLBB, especially on a pro level scene.
Albert got that, right? And I mean, even
Push for NA MPL with no franchise base. MPL, that's MPL Philippines before we have franchise. Yeah. We do got Coda Shop North America, though. That's one franchise. I was actually sponsored by Coda Shop.
It's so strong here with his Fredrin pick, especially when things kind of just fall into place and that burst potential is there with Clay.
I know, bro.
Damage over time.
You're right.
From Skylar when he gets the blazing
It's because it's a mobile game, right? And mobile games in North America are not looked at a lot.
You can't count Zipex out.
But it definitely has growth.
He hasn't died. He's done a pretty good job farming up, and he's got the 4 assists. So weapon mastery, Beatrix here is going to be scary as the game goes on.
I hope Moonshot can be brave and spin some in the NA server or any other server outside of C, because not gonna lie, you guys have some wild meta and strategies there. I always remember Mobile Zane Saber decimating big teams. Yeah. You talking about M3.
And remember, in the late game, AoE will be favoring the side of Falcon, right? Justin going up against Clay. Lunos has a lot of damage.
Yeah, we just gotta. We're taking steps every day, man. We work very freaking hard to get it done, you know. Heck, we're even in the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy doing stuff for the Philippines now. Soon for Europe, like. And imagine if we had some more firepower behind NA. It just a little would go a long way. It already has gone a long way. Look at the Valley. Top 4.
So 2 for 1 currently. Make that a 3 for 1. Justin wants to try to lock on to R7, but R7's very slippery.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Some of our matches in the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy were more lit than half of the matches in M4.
Wow.
Half of them. Bro, you should have seen. Oh, man. We had these 2 Philippines teams playing like crazy. Nefarious versus Team Chubby was definitely one of the top ones that we've seen. Oh, man. I'm so much. Stuff makes me want to play when I see people playing that well. You know what I'm saying? Gets the caster's blood boiling. Wants me to jump in the land of Dawn and get in the action. Actually, it did make me get in the land of Dawn and want to get some more action in again. I do miss it, man.
Head-to-head, trying to go mechanics against mechanics. But honestly, if Falcon has set up so successfully to give themselves a huge one-man advantage and denying the Blazing Duet from that big team fight, RRQ at some point need to understand that there are some fights.
Yeah, but to have 8 franchise teams for a fresh MPL NA is a bit hard in my opinion.
Some of the ultimates and then go in when Falcon is not expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, big Tyrant's rage. They're gonna capitalize.
I mean, you got to start somewhere though, you know.
Into the pocket of Skylar. Try to get a little bit of chip damage onto that.
I mean, we have big companies out here. They just need to invest in Mobile Legends.
Zipex claims more ground, taking away a tower on the top side.
Falcons basically just making wins.
We need a better. I think we just need a stronger ambassador on the North American side that can connect us to big brands like Secret Labs for North America. Like, it's not like we don't get the views. We don't break millions, but we do break hundreds of thousands.
So right now, Falcon still having that little bit of lead in terms of gold. Zipex now picking up the Malefic Roar here. That's going to be massive in terms of damage department. So RRQ.
Heck, bro, I'm from North America, and I have streams that break 100K. I have streams that, I have reels that hit 1 million. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and that's just one player in North America, and I'm not even pro. So that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if we just had a franchise to invest in, man. Like, for real.
Shut down. No Tyrant's rage for RRQ. Wait a second. R7 into the backside with the Blazing Duet. It's enough chip damage to take down Apex and Naomi.
I think we have an MPO right around the corner, though. They're waiting to say anything until after M4. But I think it's going to happen. Valley, Ackerman, Bloodhounds, Chubby, beat the odds. Yeah, I would say Nefarious, Novacore if they were still in there.
R7 takes the purple, which is, again, another insult to injury for the side of Falcon. Unfortunate for them, this is what we'll be talking about. R7 was able to go in towards that back line.
Vendetta, but them boys disbanded. What's up, Eunice? How you doing? Speaking of casters, this is a good caster right there. This is the MLSA team.
Members getting low. R7 R7 found by Naomi.
I hope
Beautiful.
RRQ closes out because I'm really trying to watch the Valley.
From Zipex is beautiful. Ken now gonna try to move on to Skylar here. Push him back. RRQ against the ropes.
That's a weird back and forth coming in from RRQ.
We don't talk about Nefarious. Man, y'all are too good to not talk about.
Zipex, it just wasn't working out. Unfortunately, as Naisu mentioned.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. 100%, Theo. It's not, I mean, it's up to them. If Muton deployed me, of course. But they gotta do it, you know?
A different method of fighting aside from just picking off.
No, it's all good. I'm not in VC, Eunice. I'm just doing it on YouTube.
That DPS will work. I mean, we saw that successfully play out in the previous team fight.
Well, right now,
we are casting this weekend, though. We got an event if you want to pop in that. I don't know if you've seen it, but we got the Faction Cup going on this weekend. You're welcome to join us.
To get that numbers advantage, the tier 2 in the mid lane is going to go down here.
We can get our casting back going, man. Get the show back on.
4K gold lead.
It's gonna. So, guys, we are gonna be live on the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time. So, definitely check up on it. It's gonna be a Mobile Legends North American Discord collaboration, where we're gonna be hosting the Faction Cup events with teams competing. 8 teams competing, and the first bracket for the first day is going to be brackets 1 through 4, and a best of 1, so 4 matches. We're gonna be doing an Elgin event coming up, 5 versus 5 event for Elgin on Sunday. So we got 2 big events going on, the Faction Cup and the Elgin event this Saturday and Sunday for the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy. It won't be on my YouTube channel. It'll be on our Mobile Legends Scrim Academy channel, so make sure you guys subscribe over there, check it out. Like I said, we don't only do things for the NA region, we do things across the board, man. You know?
Right now, Falcon, you can say the same about them, right? I mean, they work really well with this gold lead, and they've been doing an amazing job at just protecting Zipex. And this
you think we're going to Game 5? Yeah, I don't know, dude. Falcon, stop it!
Now, Game 4, right?
Golly!
Had a great time farming up. He's protected well.
Yeah, Elgin in the Philippines, yes, sir.
And they're going to push it down to the bottom side.
Naomi lands a hook on Skylar. That's a big pick. Falcon now with the numbers advantage. Gonna try to push this lead.
Yo, Vince Kufra is not it. I'm sorry.
R7 won't be able to do much against this lineup without someone else coming in. Minions now encroaching in onto the mid side. It does have a defense.
Did they really pick the exact same draft?
Gonna get stunned, immobilized, but Albert does find the taunt onto Justin, but Zipex brings out the Beer's passion. R7 will fall. Ken able to still rise up, gets a double kill on.
And this is why I said RRQ or Falcon. Neither of them are gonna get further than this.
In that push.
Justin still alive after doing.
They're about to win this one. I don't even think it's very realistic that Falcon wins this one.
They might just go for the end here. They have the tools to make it happen.
They're definitely gonna try it. Brilliance comes out to dodge the
They can get the lore. They can just split the top, take the lore.
Even though he's behind, he still packs a punch. Lord back on the field.
This might be a Holy Mary play from Albert. He's trying to get in position to even take this, but he's gonna get locked down.
Ooh, Zipex melting down Albert. Albert force dash, no Hail Mary play.
Albert can't even go in now. He's too low. Oh, he's gonna go around.
Oh! Boom! This is huge for Falcon.
I was waiting for a boom goes the
This might be it.
But just like
We're going to Game 5.
Falcon securing another Lord, furthering that gold lead. And they are prepped and ready to go for this march into the base that could
Mobile
bring
Legends
us
sent me this really
to
cool
a Game 5 here.
It's really cool.
Right now because even if
pendant.
wants to go in the blazing duet towards that back line,
I thought it was really cool. It's an M4 pendant. I actually wanted to try it on. Tell me this is not sick though. Pretty cool, right? Kind of hard to see on the back. It has all the emblems. It has the jungle emblem, the assassin, mage, fighter, physical, magic. Those ones we don't talk about, right?
A double kill for Clay. Justin still looking for something. It's 2 for 2 currently, but Falcon.
It's really weird how this pendant is, though.
Flash needs to be careful here. R7 and Skylar onto it, and that is a pause.
Whoa.
Well, okay.
It's a weird time to pause.
Not expecting that either, but
that's the first pause I've seen.
This heated match. And I gotta say, man, I was watching Yellow Flash.
Bro, I don't even know how to take this pendant off. I don't want to break it.
2 for 2 trade.
Oh, here it is.
They were holding on there, and it's, I mean, down to this moment, right? It looked like Falcon, like you mentioned, overstayed a little bit. So
a little bit.
That around. You're still working.
Bro, they overstayed a lot.
Here for Falcon, space advantage, item advantage. It's going to be a big blunder if something happens to Falcon.
Yeah, I gotta be careful how I put this on.
Let this one slip out of their hands.
Yeah, that was a very desperate pause, bro. You should watch Echo versus Blacklist tonight. I still gotta watch our Echo versus Onyx, bro. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Would you rather have the kills in the hands of Clay or the hands of Skylar? Because right now both of them have, I don't know, they are having an equally difficult time trying to get to that back line. And even R7, you see that Falcon has adjusted and they're using all their crowd control to ensure that R7 cannot get an easy dive in. At this point, if RRQ wants to try and get someone in the back
I think it's gonna be 3-2 in favor of Falcon if RRQ's playing like, I don't know what's wrong with them right now, bro. And you know what it is? Actually, I do know what's wrong. It's Vin on the freaking Kufra. He needs to let it go. This Kufra is causing them too many issues. They literally did a mirror matchup. They just lost like this and decided to do it again.
RQ, as we can see, there is
What sense does that make, you know?
Not the greatest time for that to happen, but it is still a heated match, as Nice said. And honestly, I don't care who wins out in the best of 5 of this. I do hope that Falcon wins this one, because after these games, I want a full 5.
Well, we're jumping back in after that little break here. And as we catch up, it is Falcon going to go ahead and retreat, regenerate, and get ready for the next objective push. Still, it was a 2-for-2 trade. Falcon having quite a bit of immortalities available to them as well. But still, like
yeah, what if RRQ comes back from the pause meta?
The issue of ZipX, take out that impactful damage, and meanwhile, even avoid all those iron hooks that have been on point so far from Naomi.
On that note, we saw that play in the bottom side where Naomi was able to hook Skylar despite everyone being in the same spot. RRQ need to coordinate and again decide who needs to take the iron hook. Worst case scenario if it cannot be dodged. But if you look at the items right here, R7 already adapting his build, going for the blade armor instead.
When did you want me casting for MLSA? Tomorrow 7 p.m. Central Time is when we'll be casting. If you want to be a part of that, I would say just be ready by like 6:30. We can hop in our Discord. And then we're going to all be meeting on the MLBB NA Discord to cast for the Faction Cup.
Skylar picking up the corrosive scythe. That's going to be a key pickup for this Claude as they try to figure out how to get the back.
It's not going to be a long one. It's going to be four matches, best of 1. And then we got an event Sunday, which is the Elgin tournament. And then we got Sunday will be a little bit more busy. We'll have 2 things back to back Sunday if you want to join both of those. Elgin collaboration and then also the continuation of what we do on Saturday. Blacklist City is lit? No, I'm trying to catch some merch over there from Trex, the guy casting right now. I've been talking to him about it. All right, don't you fall asleep, Eunice. Don't you fall asleep on me. Nah, it'll be during the day, so I don't think it'll be that. The Saturday will be during the day. Sunday, one of them is in the morning time. Check our, so Eunice, if you go on the MLSA, click the events on the top. All of those things, you're more than welcome to join us on casting. You click on it. If you click on events on the MLSA, it'll show all the times of things that we're casting, and you're more than welcome to join every single one of them. Just let us know. We did that so that you guys can, anybody can look and see what's going on for the month if you want to cast. Just click events on the top of the server.
Skylar, if you notice, he couldn't even join that fight because he was half health.
So far, it's just going to be me and Deku, but if you want to jump on, that'd be awesome.
Attach himself to Skylar, forcing him even further back to heal up. And just like that, again, Falcon grabs themselves a Lord, looking to siege the base of RRQ.
Most definitely, Falcon gonna move in onto this inhibitor. They break it down. Play Vin. Vin's gonna get hooked. Can't finish the Tyrant's revenge. Will go down. Zipbex picking it up. Skylar with the blazing duet though. Naomi brought low, able to get away with sliver of health. R7 trying to help out, but Ken is now.
Oh no! They can't. No, they're about to win. RQ's about to come back. RQ's about to come back. Skylar, they're overstaying their welcome. Watch.
Finally on the field.
They're too low, bro. They can't end. They cannot end like that.
Slowly but surely, And that range advantage is just so
Now,
enormous.
Zipix is full
You can
health,
see
though.
that Skylar, he can't even go in full towards the back line. He just has to try
Oh,
and dance around and use
actually,
the max range of the waves
nah,
to
that's
win.
it.
And Clay gets chucked down, and Falcon makes their move.
Good, Albert trying to push this forward a little bit to the bottom side. Ken comes in. Albert, R7, very, very low. Albert goes down first. Lord onto the base. Falcon closing the distance, bridging the gap, and taking us to game number 5.
RQ through, bro.
Any other way.
Them boys is throwing. How are they throwing so bad?
What we want here in this type of
Yes, Vin.
At the same time,
Bro,
it's a
leave the
triple
Kufra
header day.
alone.
Crucial game ahead of us, Sarashi.
I cannot believe my eyes right now. This should have been over 2 games ago.
And that is a scary prospect for RRQ. The momentum right now is on.
They don't want the Valley to play. They just want to take it all the way to game 5.
And we know for a fact
Now I
that
hope Falcon wins.
occasionally they do struggle
Just
in that
for
mental aspect.
RRQ
That is
putting
the
us
big
through this
question
pain.
that
I'd
a
rather
lot
see
of fans
Falcon
had
play.
in mind for RRQ 4 and 4. We have to see, can they adapt? Can they find something different? And will they repeat the same draft?
I mean, why not, right? It worked for them. It worked. Both teams rolled with the same draft.
Armor
but
coming
you
through.
can See how excited Falcon was there. Even Naomi having a massive game.
It's always
again on
Vin, bro.
I don't
Man,
think
throwing.
RRQ wants to give this Franco up, or possibly even the Beatrix a sign, because that's twice in a row.
It's
now.
not even them. It's just the freaking
just
Vin on the
stopped.
dang Kufra.
Definitely just did a wonderful job.
Man, it's feeding. He's not getting sets.
Catching their tempo, but I'm sure some of the big
He's
brains
setting
over there can
tanks,
break this
not
down
getting to
better.
the
So
back line.
over to our beautiful analysis.
The Burmese Python strikes back. It's equal 2-2 currently. Back at it again on the analyst panel. It's me, Mirko, Assassin Dave, and we have Ulf from the Philippines. But Assassin Dave, start us off. Falcon, what an incredible performance here in Game 4.
Absolutely. Feels deja vu.
I want
right?
Falcon
Did
to
this
win
in
now.
Indio.
I'm disappointed.
Can they do the same thing again today? RRQ is ready
Reverse
for
sweep.
challenge. No,
This
I
is
gotta
literally
say,
a reverse sweep. Y'all realize that, right?
Exact same draft compared to the previous game, and it's working out for them.
It's the complete reverse for RRQ HOSHI, right? It's literally the same draft from both teams. But the thing is,
Yeah, literally the same exact draft, and they won the same exact way twice. Nothing changed.
Anything from their playstyle. They wanted to go and pierce through the front to back composition.
Bro.
Falcon, it didn't work in game number 3.
Who was their coach?
Game number 4.
It feels like in game number 4, it's literally for both of the teams very similar drafts, but for Falcon, they made those proper adaptations to get the early game a bit more smooth.
This makes me want to just go practice my fanny. I can't believe they're doing this to us.
Pretty smoothly with their front to back, but for RRQ,
This sucks because the later this goes, the harder it is for us in North America to stay up because it's so freaking late.
Now, no improvements made.
It's already 1 in the morning.
Gotta give credit to Naomi. This guy's an absolute monster.
Bro, what the heck?
How can he be so decisive?
Oh, get out of here! No, Shark don't do stuff like that. Shark don't miss, bro.
Stuff like that. But when you play Franco, it's
Vin
like,
just be doing, I don't know what Vin's doing.
there's a chance I might miss.
He ain't coming back.
And he just got in the miss.
What makes it more impressive is he's up against Vin, a Franco player. So he knows how Francos think, and Naomi's able to outthink the Franco player. But now we're going to take a look at the item builds here for game number 4 to see what they went for.
He's just not a good initiator,
in terms
man.
of the play style, they didn't change.
At least not in these 2 matches. He hasn't had any good initiations.
The standard for both teams, and you can expect the same result because of that. I mean,
Expect the
Albert,
Franco.
You can,
Yeah.
Give
In line.
credit where credit's due. He played well at the early stages. They played well when he's controlling the Lord dance as well as Turtle dance. But it kind of felt like this particular game number 4.
He didn't
Falcon
warm up them
already
fingers.
had, what, 4
I need to
games or
start
3
playing
games
Kufra, man.
Of troubleshooting
One of the tanks I haven't really played.
Understanding how RRQ operates around the turtle area as well as the Lord area.
They didn't change
So this
anything in
means
their
that
draft
the
either.
main strength of RRQ in this
They didn't change anything in the playstyle. They literally lost 2 times in a row the same exact way. Same band, same everything, bro. Almost the same bands.
You can take a look at total towers taken and total objectives taken, right? So heavily leaning towards Falcon's favor. That just shows you they come in with a clear, crystal game plan. They know exactly what they
Should I
want.
practice the fanny cables again, fellas, while we wait?
Actual execution to make it happen. Let's take a look at the actual.
I'm telling you, man, I'm almost there, bro. Like, I'm almost comfortable pulling my fanny in ranked now.
Got taken over by Falcon Esports.
Man, look at this. Rich guy, the carry, Zipix, and Yellow Flash taking the sandbag and the Forgotten One. These 2 side laners have been, the key factors in their victories in Game 3 and even Game 4 now. And, we might as well be looking at this at a reverse sweep. The way Falcon.
Yeah, this is a reverse sweep for sure.
Small ones, even
I think so.
The Lord dances that we've been criticizing from game 1 and 2. Instantly, we saw such.
I think it's a reverse sweep.
Progression from them.
I would say because of the fact that they also read through what RQ is doing. R7 has been playing splendid Joy. He went game number 1, he was the MVP. Game number 3 was phenomenal as well. And in this game, but then again, you kind of read through what he's trying to do. He wants to go to the backlines where the Beatrix is. Surely you know that already. That's why they were able to nullify that. While Yellow Flash was very creative on how he plays the glue. Very difficult for RQ to deal with.
It was about the cover, the peel. Perfect this time from Falcon, but MVP here. We're gonna give it over to Yellow Flash, the man who did both.
Bro, this match is. I can't believe this is even happening.
To his own.
This guy acted as a bait, right? You see the very last team fight. He was in the mid lane, distracting the entire RRQ, and just when they saw, okay, this is.
I think it's better if they pick Lolita instead of Cooper. Shoot, yeah, anything.
You know, clean this up first, throw it in the trash. But just when
the
they
Cooper's just not making sense to me.
Falcon collapsed, right? Especially with led by Naomi with a Franco, and that just turned everything around. I like the way how Falcon plays. I think going to the next game, what do you think RQ need to do to disrupt this?
Oh my goodness, well ban it, number 1, or maybe just take it for themselves. Surely you are very comfortable with the glue. I'm pretty sure that R7 can do
I don't
this
know.
as well. Like, he plays a lot of glue. We know that he controls it well. Even his playstyle on trying to make the plays.
Alright, we're gonna practice these fanny cables while we wait. Maybe I'll pull it up on I won't make it so big though. Little mini series while we're waiting for them to play.
Again, still very active, still staying though mostly on the XP.
I've been working on my fanny cables though.
He needs to constantly be, you know, micromanaging these waves in the side lanes, but also providing that frontline pressure that the team needs. And I think he just does it really well.
I'm starting to get the tempo of the way the cables work. I'm on 60 MS though. I don't know why my MS is so bad.
Kill participation is so high. Even in the beginning, when we do the team-to-team comparison, Yellow Flash kill participation or team fight participation is a little bit higher, right, compared to the counterpart R7. To show you, like, the entire side of the Falcon, they play more of a unit. They play 5-man team fights. They like to take advantage of
I need to work on like traversing through the lanes though.
Let's take a look at highlight for our MVP today, Yellow Flash.
A very important kill on R7 with, again, glue being activated earlier on. And come the 4-minute mark, this will be the Lord Dance. Normally RQ Hoshi wins this, especially if Albert holds the front row. But this time,
those 60 MS is killing me.
Falcon again securing that turtle and the kill afterwards. That was very much the deal breaker for Falcon in this game.
We need to give credit to Ken, man, because the amount of turtles he was able to steal in this game was absolutely amazing. It was crucial to the comeback that Falcon was able to amount to.
And also, you got to see the positioning from the entire side of Falcon, right? It's so hard to get to Zipix. And RRQ knows this better than anyone else. They're in the game. They have to get to Zipix. They have to somehow get to the
Yeah, I don't know how I can do it on this. I don't know why I have 60 MS though.
And I think because
so weird.
Kind of give RRQ a confusion of what do we do? Do we even
it's default?
Do we not initiate? And Falcon took advantage of that and played really decisive, finding whatever hook they can. Every target they find is exactly like last game. The history repeats itself, which is a 2-shot annihilation.
So, again, for me personally, I feel like the Kufra pick just hasn't worked out, right? Up against a Franco, and honestly, up against so much.
Tried to do it. Reverse a couple of times.
Pull off that Kufra, and it was even harder earlier.
And maybe just don't let the Falcon just play their very comfortable style as you saw in back-to-back games.
We're gonna throw it to our host, Mara and Clara. Take it away.
Mara and Clara.
Lord Breaker, the song indents, and here we are, Clara and Mara, with 5 beautiful Indonesian girls, pro player, girlfriends, and of course, they will say something about this match, Mara. Yeah, I'm actually curious. Whose girlfriend? Tell us who your partner is. Pacarnya siapa aja? Orang udah pada tahu sih ya. Ini Ayang Babesnya dari Bogor nih. Esa from Bogor. Esa.
When I try fan, it's almost 60 MS. I have 60 MS in practice all the time also. Oh, maybe it is default then. I never noticed. So you don't, I probably won't have it in matches then.
Skylar, okay. Lippy.
I need to learn if there's pre-routed ways to get through.
Albert, and
I'm here just to accompany her.
Supportive friend. Pro player. Okay, now, for sure you know the situation right now being pro players. They were up by 2. They needed 1 more to do a sweep. Falcon made a comeback.
Weezy, what's your Mobile Legends ID? You can just search Steph Weezy. No spaces, capital S. I should be the only one.
Tiba-tiba kebalik. Kira-kira mereka ngerasain apa sih?
What's going through their mind right now? You know them.
It has my logo.
I don't know. Maybe in the backstage he's just calming
It should be like a
himself
picture that
down
looks like
and
Brody.
preset for
No, I'm
the
kidding.
game.
It's my gamer logo.
Ya, jadi dibikin santai aja dan harus reset. Pokoknya karena ini tinggal 1 game lagi ya. Oke, kalau dari Lipi, kira-kira
How does he deal with stress in this situation?
Oh, how am I missing that?
Mungkin bakal cuci muka dulu, terus ya bakal reset, nenangin satu sama lain. Yang penting tetap percaya satu sama lain.
Okay, washing their face first.
Oh, he washes his face.
Refresh the mood and then cheering up each
Freestyle on
other.
enemy
That's
side.
the secret that Finn will do.
Refresh, wash the face. I wonder who their facial sponsor is.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Queenie?
Halo?
Freestyle on enemy side. What do you mean by that?
Smoking.
Like just cable through?
Ya mungkin mereka
Oh, like this?
Menenangkan diri.
See if I can do it. I've never tried it right here.
Gimana mereka kalau sebat itu kayak relaxnya mereka lah.
Okay.
Oh, probably easier here. It's so weird doing it this way.
Gimana ini?
Ya mungkin saling.
Oh, that's hard.
Terus saling semangat.
Oh, that is hard.
Ngobrol-ngobrol terus reset.
You gotta go this wall, this wall. Oh my god, I can't aim the turret.
And cheering for its
Bro, why is it so hard this way?
He's the one that usually does the pep talk.
Ah, almost.
Biasanya yang paling suka nyemangatin siapa sih kalau di antara anak-anak RRQ HOSI?
Oh, dude, almost had it.
Finn ya.
Finn is the one that's vocal. And you know what? We're gonna
Almost.
take a look to see if that pep talk worked because we're gonna go to game number 5 and determine who the winner is. Casters.
We are on the verge of a possible reverse sweep here by Falcon. Can RRQ and the Kingdom hold on here? It's a best of 5 going 5 games. That's how we want it here to start the day. Again, I'm Naisu, joined here on the desk with Trex, Arashi. Boys, how we feeling?
I'm ecstatic right now. I mean, this is what we asked for.
Harry Chase style.
We want some great games, and so
Custom?
far, the past few days have not disappointed, but this one especially.
I gotta leave this.
2-2, and not
2-2.
just that, but RRQ takes the first 2, brings them to match point, and now Falcon trying to contest for the reverse sweep.
Question, Arashi, what if it's the same exact draft? Are we gonna expect that?
Dude, if it's the
from
same
both
draft,
teams?
I'm
Or is
literally
it
gonna
be
lose it.
something different? Is this the time that we see possibly maybe Albert doesn't play the Fredrin, pulls out one of those assassin picks?
I feel like the logical approach is to try and do something different, man. They tried it twice. It played out more or less the same way, so I think
Eunice, did you
something
add
needs
me?
to change for sure. I mean, Jay said it, right? 60 to 70% of the game all relies on the initial draft already. So I
Yeah, it's
think
hard. It's
something
definitely
can
hard. I
improve
tried to.
there, and the
Just feels
execution
weird, like when
can
you're
get a
going
bit of
straight
work
up
as
with the
well.
cable.
Man, I'm excited.
Trying to
but
hook
I'm
onto
also
that
a bit,
turret.
You know, a bit anxious about the whole thing, being an Indonesian.
Well,
can't blame me.
Hey, that's okay,
can't blame
man.
you.
I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but also too, I mean, we talked about a lot of things here in the draft, and even with game 3 and 4 being very similar drafts, exactly the same, I gotta say, the fact that
Dang.
it's weird because
I had an
a lot of
AFK.
times we've seen it work wonders, and other times it's like the damage isn't there. And I feel like if you
Legend just
look
caught
back
me.
at the previous game, there was a lot of moments where, you know, you're waiting for that big blazing duet mode.
What are you running? Fanny?
But then it just fizzles out. It wasn't there at all. And I mean, when you have those tanky boys across from you that Falcon had, you know, the Franco, the Glue, and everything else, and even the Martins, how do you even get to the back line here?
Philippines
And
versus Philippines
Zipx
Grand Finals. That's what you're rooting on?
or pretty much his team allowing him to get to that point where he can freely farm up, get to, what, maybe 1 or 2 items, running that weapon mastery on the Beatrix. I would be surprised if he even gets his hands on this pick again because, I mean, Arashi, break down this hero pick recap here from the previous game, even though same picks from game 3.
Even the same picks, you see a bit of contrast, but point still stands. Right now, R7 and Skylar, they're doing a lot of damage still, but it's just not enough. Skylar does a lot of damage to everyone, but it's not to the right targets, right? He just is forced to use the Blazing Duet.
All right,
just
guys, we're about to
barely
get
on
into the
max
draft.
range, and that's doing a lot of damage to the Martis, to the Franco, to the Glue. But the Valentina as well as the Beatrix are relatively untouched. And in fact, if when Skylar goes in, it's almost a reverse. They're the ones getting bursted down instead.
Again, I think that's the picture was painted there.
I got
The
16
damage
MS
for
now.
Both of those gold laners previous
So it
games
is
was
only
very
in the
similar.
practice thing.
But Skylar with the Blazing Duet, it's spread across multiple members of Falcon, and they're quite tanky. They just heal it back up. Whereas ZipX was really able to concentrate that damage on the targets they needed. A lot of the times, again, being Naomi, whoever he lands the Iron Hook on. So if you're RRQ, you really want to approach this draft with a different mindset here and not maybe even allowing the Beatrix or the Franco to go in the hands of Falcon here. Play around. Again, the headline of this matchup is the tempo. Who will start that tempo? Who maintains it? And better yet, if they can keep it on their side.
I mean, to maintain that tempo for RRQ, they require a lot of pick-off damage as well. They've been trying to utilize the Lunos as much as possible, but clearly so far it has not been working.
Ha! Alright, you this GG's. I was like, hold on, where you at?
We see that is where they're able to get
That was
control.
funny.
That is where they're able
You were
to
low
get
'cause the
getting
creep.
pickoffs and turn the game around. They need crowd control and they need damage.
Well, we're going to find out here as we have the draft of the final game.
You just need that blue buff
and
now.
there is a difference. Already, the Franco is banned out. The respect is there from RRQ.
But will it make the difference? There is a difference, but will it make the difference? I do like the Franco ban. You know, Falcon learned at Game 3 that they needed to ban out Vin's Grok. And now in Game 5, RRQ making an important decision here, banning out that Franco. Now, this is gonna now leave the Kaja possibly open, or it's gonna force Falcon to not ban out the carry either way. So now, Kaja open. We saw
I was just chasing for the kill.
Kaja, or do you
Benchmarking the gold laner now. Benny Cutie's positioning macro's pretty good. It's a god.
All right, so they felt like it was too tanky, it's too annoying. We saw that R7 was able to use it very well in the game number 2. So I think they go for it again. But as we mentioned, the Kaja is available, and if Falcon really values that DPS, that damage, single target damage, they can just deal with tanks. They can pick up a gold laner early on as well. So much potential here. The Jeeve, as we mentioned, is available if they want to go for more utility and maybe a bit more of healing reduction with the Necklace of Durance as well. So it's so insane that we can't really predict because we have no idea. We've seen the same draft twice, and now that we're in the final game, we have no idea what to expect.
True, but I mean, this is definitely throwing a little bit of a wrench into things, and hold on a second. Now, with the Kaja pick, that's not the one I want to focus on because Falcon picking up the Lunox, don't want to give that to the hands of players.
Yes,
honestly,
sir!
Just like RQ is picking it so much, it's still a great pick for Falcon because it can be the deciding factor in
You didn't see me?
down this glue, bursting down R7 when it tries to
R7 takes the glue, okay.
ZX has played the Lunos in the gold lane as well, so again, multiple possibilities coming in from Falcon, and they are the ones now with the good crowd control, with the good source of burst damage, but RRQ counters with the Beatrix and the Fredrin, and that is Skylar on his quote-unquote signature hero.
I like this, right? Already a couple changes going here. RRQ able to secure that Beatrix pick like we've been talking about a lot, not going in the hands of ZX. And then you still have Albert. Most likely,
My Fetty ain't that bad, huh?
Is a
No
solid
energy.
choice, a hero to just
Yeah,
go in for
GG's.
the
I think that's 3
objective,
kills
have
anyway.
utility. You've got the CC. And the best thing too is
About
if
to
you
get
can
into the
land
game.
on multiple members. Now you have the Beatrix there to unleash. Like you guys mentioned, AoE damage is going to be big in this fight. Again, the final game between these two teams.
Here we
Last
go,
pick up
fellas!
From Falcon will be that Valentina once again.
Now, finally, we can say this is the last game of the series. Godly.
Into the gold lane. Yes, a little bit of flexibility. We see maybe the Valentina go into the jungle ever so slightly, but I don't think that's going to happen here. This is going to mean ZipX gold lane up against Skylar with that Beatrix. The table has definitely been flipped.
And now that's a lot of magic damage coming in from the side of Falcon. So most likely with the Hilda ban, they're trying to go for, I guess, an assassin, a physical damage assassin makes sense here. They have 3 heroes that does magical damage already. So more one-dimensional compared to
Ban
RRQ.
Fanny.
They recognize the threat, the potential of an assassin. They ban away that Fanny, and the final ban is gonna be the Eve.
Well, already, right? Last couple choices here. Go ahead and dealing with the Fanny. They don't want. I mean, they don't want to go against that matchup, right? The assassin matchup.
Franco finally
We've already
taken
got
out.
Fredrin here on the
Way
board.
too late.
Eve was a great last ban as well from Falcon. They take that utility out. It's going to force something here on Clay to respond, especially to that Valentina again, and be cautious of exactly what ultimates you're providing here. Because right now,
Too early for a Valentina pick.
great choices, right, for Justin to take.
Yeah,
Lilia,
could be.
Farza come to mind, right? A possibility there for Clay. Of course, I think at this point you just kind of have to give up the fact that, like, yes, they're going to steal our ultimate. We just have to use it better here. My question is, I'm sure you have a thought on the mage, but also, what do we see in the jungle from Ken?
What we see in the jungle, considering it's a lot of burst damage, something a bit more aggressive. The Martis is still a possibility.
Lane?
If he wants to go for the Granger, that can still be used as well. If they want to
Nah,
just
not Ling.
go all in the early game, that's what they seem to.
They
be
could
really
actually
good
pull
at
out Ling
doing.
because they have Kaja on their side.
You remember, with such a composition, they need a solid late game long range mage as well.
I like the Uranus on Glue.
This is a little risky, right?
Yes.
Uranus is not, I mean, there was once upon a time, but this was a very high priority pick for the XP lane. But now, people kind of like to debate, is it a good choice still to park in that lane?
They did the
Yes,
same thing with
you're
Esme.
pretty much
Esme
at some
dominated
point, you're kind of
with the Valley,
unkillable.
so.
You have a lot of sustain, a lot of durability. But really, what do you provide for your team here in comparison to what you're going to see across from you, which is that glue? There's the Farsa pick, like you guys mentioned, and it's rounded out with the Lolita.
I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, yes, the Uranus used to be a decent pick, but right now with the standing of marksmans and these DHS builds, these speed builds, it's not going to be easy for him. And he doesn't have, I mean, right now, I don't think he has sustainability against Glue. Maybe he will be able to stalemate R7, and if Falcon can just focus into the gold lane, maybe they can catch a win that way. But the final question is, once again, what does Ken pick up here for the jungle? He's sitting looking at that marksman page right now. I was thinking something more in the lines of the assassins, but Granger?
It makes sense, man. It's a lot of burst damage in the early game. It's the long-range kill secure Death Sonata. It will be that Granger, and this is a complete flip, right? This is Falcon going all in the early game, maybe banking on a split push Uranus in the late game, but for RRQ...
Shout out for the Philippines. What's up, my man? Picking Lolita against Valentina is dumb. Give her the Numenon Blast.
It makes sense, but will it work?
I don't know. So much is on the line right now. And the Granger failed in game 1. If Falcon wins it in game 5, it's going to be a statement.
That's
There you
gonna
go.
be a redemption arc for Ken
Bro, I
Allen
want
here.
Falcon to win this.
Falcon, though, I mean, both team compositions, they've got their win conditions.
Just the fact that RRQ Kira, or not Kira, RRQ Indo threw so hard.
Story, the narrative between these two teams here.
Yeah, Myanmar auto win.
To that final match, as we just wait to load up here. Again, two teams, the lives are on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 5. Will the kingdom thrive or the Falcons soar on? We're about to find out.
Here we go.
Just like that, we're into the game. Looking at the emblems, nothing too crazy. Killing spree yet again in the hands of Ken on the Granger, trying to make sure that he can go as aggressive
Yo,
as
Weezy, who do you think is stronger,
And remember,
BTK or the
from
Valley?
So far away, this roster, this composition coming in from Falcon can just instantly pick someone off.
It's
So
a
in the
hard,
early game,
hard
it's
choice, man.
definitely a safe play coming in from
I would say the Valley just because they already had they took what BTK had and they improved upon it. So I will say the Valley. There's a reason why they revamped. And they've been working all year.
You can see, right? They need to.
They got a higher hero pool now. So yeah, I would say the Valley.
To get an advantage here in that gold lane matchup. Skylar needs to be able to come online as fast as possible as well. And
They really went Granger?
Game is going to be up.
Granger's okay. Granger's not the worst here, but on a Lolita?
On this Granger pick.
Uh,
That is going to be crucial for him as the fight for even the purple buff. The tension is here.
it's too squishy. They don't have a strong front line. Wow. Nah, that's GG's.
Claimed that position. Ken maybe gonna try to pull something here. Big stun on Justin. Justin able to flicker away. Yellow flash also coming in. But the appraisal's grab deletes Ken.
That's tough.
First blood to the side of RRQ.
It's first blood for RRQ, and that is Ken shut down again in the early game. We're seeing glimpses from game number 2 right here. That is not the start that a Granger wants in this game. And with that pressure, they're already trying to translate that to the other side lanes. Clay on this Farsa has been very actively roaming around. This is what they need to do. Abuse that mobility from the Wings by Wings.
Yeah, I think biggest thing here, you use that mobility to your advantage. You find picks if you can. If not, secure the objectives, right? That's exactly what RRQ is going to do here with this first turtle. Just going to go cleanly in their hands, able to continue to build on this tempo.
Whoa! And trying to get the play.
Oh! 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 Whoa!
Tries to help out, but not fast enough. That's 2 deaths.
That was explosive.
In only 2.5 minutes.
It's a death for Ken, but in
He's
on the
died
right
twice,
side,
though.
We're able to take Skylar out.
He's losing
but they
so
use
hard in the
much
jungle.
Time and resources to ensure that result.
Echo or
In the
Blacklist?
mid lane, both are trying to build for a club of
Oh
destiny.
man,
The burst
I'm
out
hoping
from
Echo.
mid lane,
I'm going for
definitely
Echo.
favors Clay in the
I want
early
to see new
stage.
champs
This
for
range
M4
coming
or
from better
M4.
airstrike is something that Falcon hasn't been dealing with in the past few games.
Yeah, and at the
Vin
same
is
time,
mad,
you know,
yeah.
Naomi being on this
Finally,
concept,
take him off
it's
the
a little bit
Kufra.
different here, right? Instead of that Franco, you've got to put yourself in a position to be able to get that divine judgment off, and finding the right target as well is going to be difficult with 3 tanky boys here. Look at the pressure on the purple buff.
Albert just continues to come in, Clay creating space for his team to claim this buff. Vin about to use that Nona blast. Ken finds R7. A nice play. The
Not
stun
bad.
does land down on a Falcon, so they can't push the objective too much. So they trade
Somehow
the
Ken's
purple
still
buff.
hanging in there.
Oh, Zipex.
Skylar, what's going on?
As well. Falcon trying to keep the tempo.
Early game Lunox damage. If you're a squishy mage, you do not.
They don't
want
have
to
a
deal
strong
with that.
frontline presence
This is
though,
showing again
and the
that
later
they're
this
looking
game
at
goes,
Zipex, and
the harder it's
you're
gonna be, I
feeding
feel,
when you're
for
trying to shut down
Falcon.
Ken.
That's why I don't
RRQ
like
is
the
spending so
Granger.
much time, but they're allowing Zipex, the man who was carrying the past 2 games, to actually have a good time in the lane.
Same as well, that's what I'm talking about, right, Mark?
At the same time, I'm wondering here, right? With Zipex having that lead now. Again, Skylar's died twice. So that already puts you in a good position. If you're Zipex here, a little action in the mid lane, not going to convert into anything just yet, but still, transitioning mid-game, you've got to be careful of that damage from this Lunox pick. Has the mystery shop, will be able to scale quite quickly, especially if more kills go in favor of Zipex. You can see already attention being put there on the top side. Turtle now up here. The turtle dance going to ensue.
If Echo will win, M4 Cartesian will have 2 world championships. Yeah, M2 with Bryn. Yeah.
With the moon on blast, trying to create space. Watch Zipex comes in, gets some nice damage. Skylar takes a turtle. Albert finds Naomi. Now Ken with a lot of range, dropping that Destinata, but yellow flash a little bit too deep. Will get deleted once again. Albert with a double kill. Justin tries to flicker, but Skylar finds him. Zipex trying to dodge. Nice flicker, but R7 is here along with the rest of the team. RRQ wants suppression coming down, and Zipex along with the rest of the team fall. The crowd is wild, and RRQ reigns supreme in the early game.
It's effectively a wipeout for RRQ, man. Every single member of Falcon fall, and this is what RRQ is able to do. Once they smell blood in the water, they just keep going. They don't
They're
let
just
them
hard to retro,
escape
yeah.
With that huge play.
Falls off too, like, if he doesn't have a strong
Having that
frontline
POV
presence, he's
right
not going to be
now,
able to get
it's a
neutral
lot of burst
objectives.
damage, and Ken is just in such a tough situation.
And you got R7 on the
Only a
glue
punch
again,
fight,
who's going to grab
and he's
him
supposed to be the main carry
when it
in
comes
the
to these
mid-game
lords,
for the
these
side of
turtles.
Falcon. It's just catastrophic as R7 has a reading armor, so even if Justin wants to
Not
step
just a
in,
glue, you have
Zipex wants to
R7
try
on
and
glue.
press him down,
Even
it's gonna be very
scarier.
difficult, and Albert follows with a radiant armor of his own.
Not only that, but the whole fact that, you know, Skylar was struggling a little bit, but that whole interaction just put him in a great position. And at the same time, now Albert being even tankier with this lead here, he's 1,000 gold ahead of Ken. It's even going to be more difficult to get past Albert, get to the objectives. Conceal play coming out. They're still putting pressure here on the nest of the Falcons.
Yeah, it's looking very rough for Falcons right now, with already it being almost 4,000 gold deficit for them. Another turtle's going to be up in 20 seconds.
Oh, no.
Watch out. Ken almost gets stunned. A nice dash away, though. Now Naomi's going to hold the front side. Nice runner shot onto Zipex, and the range of RRQ right now is too much for the Falcons to handle.
Keep in mind, later on in the game, there is a Lolita in the hands of Vin. That bulwark is going to block a lot of damage, but look at that.
That's going to be it. A nice pick. R7, though, doing a great job of surviving.
What?
It's not.
Oh,
Zipex
I was about to
comes out
say.
clutch and finds him. But is this enough for Falcons to redeem themselves?
He bought so much time, right? R7 able to cause the distraction.
It took the
secures
top
the
too.
turtle. Clean sweep now for RRQ. And it's a 3.5K gold lead. This is massive at 7 minutes into the game.
And they're still not stopping anytime soon.
Oh
man. This
my
is what
God,
they do.
Skylar.
Just press on the tempo, and they have to be careful though. Naomi can still very easily go for a pickoff, but for now, they are in the jungle of Falcon, taking control of the Falcon's nest.
I mean, at this point, I don't even think Naomi can go for the pickoff.
Yeah, there's a dumb draft by Falcon. They did all this to make us go to a Game 5 to draft like this. Come on. What is going on?
So much material on the map, it's looking very, very grim.
Here's the thing you have to do if you're Falcon, right?
How did they
It's a
take 2 wins in a row and then draft like this?
For the team, you're gonna have to wait. Most likely, it might even be better just to give up that first Lord. Let RRQ take it, do your best to defend. You need to allow yourself for Ken to catch up a little bit here, and as well as Zipex. That's your main damage
So
dealer.
clutch.
This is the downside of having a major gold lane, right? Oh, charge up though. They get the flicker out from, actually no, Justin just dashed out of that. So they get the new one blast out, but still, by the time the Lord comes up here, they're gonna have it available. Conceal though.
Oh, Naomi uses it to get away though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they picked the Granger.
Falcon, they're seen. They're trying to bait, but RQ is not biting.
Bro, every team that picks Granger and M4 is lost. You realize that?
And honestly,
Every team.
If you're RRQ, you don't have to do anything too crazy. You have all
No
the
team
ways
has
to
won
work
with Granger
the snipe
and
coming
M4.
in. You can usually use the feather airstrike to just chip away at the HP bars of Falcon. As long as you get the right target. I mean, Ken, Justin, and Zipex are all vulnerable to just getting bursted down. And if Yellow Flash or Naomi wants to try and do anything about it, there's DPS as well. This is why the balanced composition of RRQ is just so much more dangerous in the mid game unless Falcon got ahead.
Well, right now they're gonna focus here. Bottom side, putting pressure where they can. Looks like they are just gonna go ahead and give up this first Lord as RRQ is just gonna go ahead and freely work on it. So Falcon just trying to find any type of win they can across the map, and right now there has to be space. That's their first turret of the game here. Now they're gonna have to defend against that Lord push. It is only the first one, should be fine, but still, Falcon trying to buy time here. And even if Naomi grabs any member of RRQ, they're gonna get claps down on. Again, whether it's Vin, R7, or even Albert, can Falcon actually respond to that and actually react to that clash down from RRQ, Arashi?
I feel like the only real solution here is to try and take out Skylar and then try and win out by way of DPS, because they do have a quote-unquote marksman in the jungle and they have a solid gold lane in the form of Zipex, so they can still try and do that.
Bro, they are destroying them right now.
Damage though.
That is insane, and this is the range. This is the problem. Right now, even Justin can't dash in to get Clay's ultimate, right? Can't dash in. The only one he's been able to take right now is Vin. He just
You're gonna pick Granger and lose, and you should just play Bomb in our fan favorite.
Now the Lord is coming in, gonna crash in on that inhibitor. The concealed
Oh
blade
my
down.
goodness!
There goes Granger.
Clay finds him, Ken goes down. RQ reigning supreme.
What the heck is that damage? And this is what happens when you get this lead, this tempo in your favor. They're assaulting the base of Falcon.
When they destroyed Ken without even using the feather airstrike. That's just so much damage coming in from both the feather airstrike and the snipe coming in from Skylar. This combo is devastating, and it just comes from so far away, you don't really have time to react to it.
I don't know if there's a way out of this, guys. I feel like Falcon is... They're sitting in the nest right now. They're sitting in the nest, and it is about to come crashing down. RQ is not taking their foot off the pedal.
Well, real quick, look at this stat here. M4 stats. RRQ is ranked first in team damage dealt per minute with 13,981. That's basically big damn, right? I mean, that's a lot to deal with. And you're seeing it here in the game. Falcon can't respond right now to it. Look at that.
Huge burst coming in from Clay. He has the Divine Glaive as well right now, and you can see 2 vaults, that's all it takes. Look at the damage, man. 4 items already complete, and that's before you even factor in everyone else. So here's the same strategy. Long range, magic, and physical damage. 3 very beefy members with a ton of crowd control. Falcon has no assassin, no way to get behind the members of RRQ.
I mean, taking a look at some of these items, it's just Ken is so far behind right now. All he's got is the Malefic Roar, the Hunter's Strike. It's becoming a problem.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing, too, is you just don't have, even if you find a pick, you have the follow-up damage. And let's say you do get one member of RRQ down. You still have to deal with everybody else. I mean, at this point,
that's where it gets a little tricky.
Can they turn it around? It would be a Holy Mary play, possibly from Justin. He's holding on to the
Valley versus Onyx, the true test could be the most anticipated match today. Could be going for either 3-1, 3-2. This might even be their last if they're not careful. Yeah, no. Gonna give them a run for their money.
Albert continuing to work on it.
Vin with the flicker! Down goes Zipex. Ken will get stunned. R7 gonna try to capitalize on this. The rest of RQ has found the blood. They smell it.
This might be it.
Hang out by this Lord, but Vin with the outplay.
This might be it.
He just predicts the position coming in from Falcon and gets a massive Luminous Blast, completely shutting down any kind of contest. And now without Zipex in the picture, it does seem like RRQ are trying to get some more, but the wave clear is still not that bad coming in from Falcon. Of course, if Naomi makes a play, it's still possible.
300 pick at its finest. It always loses, bro.
Come in, make sure that they manage the waves properly, and just, again, wait for the right moment to burst down the members of Falcon from so far away, completely out of range.
Well, right now, Falcon, this could very well be their last opportunity here. Lord on the top side. Feathered Airstrike gonna come down.
There's no build up for this one. No time to set the map.
Oh, Grange is already out. They sold, bro. They sold in the draft.
But not enough damage. Ken, Lord finally connecting. RQ guiding their time.
Hit the turret, hit the turret, hit the turret, hit the turret, turret. Oh.
Trying to keep them at bay. Minions are gone, so RQ must back.
Oh!
Beautiful render shot. Zipex goes down. Craig dropping the bombs from the air, and RQ wants this game. That is it. RQ has clipped the wings of the Falcons. Tonight they fall. The kingdom is proud, and RQ reigns supreme.
Reverse sweep denied. RRQ with a dominant fashion for game 5.
They clipped the wings of the Falcon, and RQ reigns supreme.
They showed us two same exact drafts, and in the third game that can potentially go to Falcon.
That's upsetting. I think it's time to rank. We got a little bit of time before the Valley plays anyway, so we'll probably jump in some rank.
Almost a stomp coming in from RRQ.
GG's
We hit up Alfred.
I gotta give it up to Falcon though. What an amazing performance. I love Zipex. I love this, going over, giving them all dabs, showing the respect.
Well, guys, everybody on YouTube, I appreciate y'all. That is going to be RRQ Hoshi going up against Falcon. RRQ Hoshi reigning supreme, clipping the wings off of the Falcon and taking the game and remaining the kings of kings. So shout out to them. Definitely a long series all the way to game 5, which we didn't expect, but hey, it happened. So I am going to end it on YouTube, as every single stream is specifically for each series. So the next one will be watching the Valley go up against Own It, which is going to be exciting. So guys, thanks so much for spending your time with us. Hopefully you enjoyed today's content, and we will be live again to watch the Valley here in the next few hours when they are ready to compete. But until then, we'll be live on Facebook still, but we'll be running rank instead of watching the 70-minute timer that's about to come up. So appreciate y'all on YouTube. Appreciate all the subscribes. Definitely tune in when we do go live when the Valley starts up against Own It. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time in the draft for M4. Peace, YouTube.
Same. I mean, I completely